Basically, this is Knuckle Pancake Squad. We are invading Infinite Galaxies today. It's an RPG made by Rory over here. Say hello, Rory.
Hi.
I was really hoping you were going to go with the hello,
Hello,
Rory.
Rory. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Rory.
Yeah.
Hello.
Rory. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
I have to make sure
Rory.
you can't.
You don't.
Yeah.
You're awful.
I don't know what that is.
Hello, Rory.
Like, say hello, Rory, and then you say,
Say
oh,
hello, Rory.
hello, Rory. Yeah.
Oh, like that. I see.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm just saying in a ridiculous voice.
Anyway, so what we're going to do today, I have not played before. Elliot has played before. I believe everyone else has played.
Yeah.
And this is the creator. So what we really wanted to do today is basically show how me, someone who doesn't really give a shit about RPGs and is more of a casual player of RPGs and has a very little, what's the word for it, attention span, so to speak. Basically how good it is and how casual and how light it could be and how someone can kind of pick it up, start it up. So that's the main idea of this video. It's going to be posted on YouTube later on. Right now we're just streaming it. We're not going to have too much interaction with chat right now. Maybe we'll have a Q&A at the end if anyone's still around. But for now we're basically just going to be focusing on a little bit of a playthrough. But I do think I explained Infinite Galaxies a little bit, so I'm going to ask you just to like give a little brief overview of what it is, even how you came up with it first.
Sure. Okay.
How you came up with it, and just give a little introduction.
And I don't mind answering chat questions. I can't see them, so.
I don't think I can't. I can only see them if I have it open on my phone.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind answering them, but I can't see them. So
we can't answer them.
My eyes are too old.
Is it open?
No, it's not open.
Oh,
well, I need two monitors and stuff like that. And
okay.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. So so let's go into a little bit of the history of this game. So the genesis of Infinite Galaxies. Excuse me.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. The genesis of Infinite Galaxies was originally it was a Star Trek hack of another game called Dungeon World. So before Infinite Galaxies, there were many other games that used the same mechanics that we're going to talk about today. This is a game system known as Powered by the Apocalypse. It started with a game called Apocalypse World, which was created by Vincent Baker. Is a post-apocalyptic game. There is also a version of that called Dungeon World, which was created by some other folks. And that was a fantasy version, basically, of Apocalypse World. So I had just started playing Dungeon World, and I really liked the system. Some friends of mine were playing a Star Trek RPG, which was awful. And so I had realized that, I could make them a Star Trek game that uses the same mechanics as Dungeon World, and it would be a lot better than what they were playing. So I believe they had also played Dungeon World once at that time, those same people, so I knew they'd be up for it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I started making this hack of Dungeon World, make a sci-fi, a Star Trek version of it. And, after I'd been doing it for maybe a week or two, I realized that at the time there weren't any other sci-fi versions of this game. There weren't any science fiction RPGs that used Powered by the Apocalypse. So I thought, well, why don't I make a more universal game that I could market, right, without having a Star Trek license, but also, that other people could take this tool set in this game and run their own sci-fi games and maybe have like a Dune game or a Starship Troopers or an Aliens or, whatever flavor of sci-fi you like, or even your own, right? So that's how the game started. So that was back in 2015.
Okay, so it's only 2 years old. 2 or 3.
Well, right, but it's not done. I mean, it's done-ish, but yeah. So the Kickstarter is going to be in January. We'll talk about that, I guess, at the end. But so it is going to come out this coming year at some point. My goal is to have it come out around July or maybe August. We'll see. It's kind of aggressive, but we'll see.
So why don't you take us through a little bit of what you kind of had planned out for us today?
Okay, so this is going to be a typical game session. We probably won't play a full game session, but we'll play enough to where you guys get the idea of how the game works. We'll start off with an explanation of the game mechanics. Then we'll create characters, and as the characters are being created, we'll also talk about game mechanics. So it'll be infused in some of that. So I'll go over the very basics at first, then we'll make characters. I'll answer your guys' questions about the characters, and then we'll jump into the gameplay. So
should I be able to write on this, or do you want to keep?
Yes, no, go ahead. Okay. No. The game mechanics are pretty simple. So the same basic resolution mechanic is used for everything in the game. What you do is you roll 2 d6s. A d6 is the cube die like you'd find in a Monopoly game or Risk or something like that. So you need
craps.
Or craps, correct. So you need 2 of those. You may need some other dice depending on certain factors in the game, but you'll definitely need the 2d6s at least. I would probably grab a D8 and a D10 and a D4. So those are all polyhedral dice. You can find them at game stores and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Chessex has some pretty nice ones.
yeah, there's Koplo, Chessex. There's a bunch of companies that make them.
So
buy yourself a pound of dice.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on eBay. I did that a couple of times.
Same here.
So just to make sure, if you were to run a game, let's say a good starting point would be obviously all the printed materials, 2d6, a d8, a d10, and a d4.
Yeah.
Are there any other dice you'd say
No.
you probably should throw that in there? Or
You
is
don't
that,
know.
that's it?
No, that's about all you're going to need.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think you can get up to a D12 if you've got a really advanced character that's
Yes,
focused
that's true.
exclusively on
Yeah.
combat, but like that'd be
Yeah, the extra dice, other than the d6s, are mostly for damage. So unless you have a really combat-focused character, it's possible you might need a d12. So go ahead and throw that in there,
The
too.
d12 just in case. Okay.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So those are the dice that you would need. The other things I would recommend if you're going to run the game is obviously the download packet, which is currently available at infiniteGalaxies.net.
I have that. I have that linked on that.
Okay.
On the thing.
That includes a
website.
copy of all the playbooks, which are the characters. It includes the move sheet, which is the thing that you guys are looking at, that lists all the basic moves, and we'll talk about what those are. It lists the equipment that you can buy in the game, and there's a GM section that talks about how to run the game, and kind of very brief details, but it gives you some pointers. I think that's everything that's in the download packet. So you could download that. You'd have everything you need. There's another download that's 4 of these move packets all in one file. So quick print those out, and then you're good. That's usually enough for a group. So, and then some dice. I would also recommend some index cards. These are super handy because, as you'll see, I use these a lot for various things. You don't have to use index cards. You can use other things, but you'll see that these are pretty handy for the GM. So I would recommend grabbing some of those and a pen or something. That's pretty much it. You don't need a map. You don't need figures. You don't need
And what are the index cards for?
So the index cards are primarily for the GM. So what I'm
Okay.
going to do during the game is I'm going to use these for certain things, which I'll go into later.
Okay.
But yeah, I would recommend having some handy.
Okay.
So
Also, I'm just thinking maybe we should just introduce ourselves, just say
yeah.
our name or something like that right now.
Yeah. So I'm Rory McLeod. I'm the creator of Infinite Galaxies.
Dr. Eugene Holovac.
Elliot Doza, member of Knuckle Pancake Squad, along with Eugene.
I'm Max, and I like to play games.
You can probably look at the.
No,
Are you
no.
afraid?
No,
Are you
I'm
afraid?
Max, and I like to play games.
There we go.
All right. Hi, Max.
I'm Steve, and I'm also a game designer and helping Rory with Infinite Galaxies.
Yes.
Yeah, Kobolds.
Yeah,
Kobolds
no
for
country.
Christ.
Or,
No.
no,
Christ.
Kobolds
Is
for
that
Christ.
Yay!
Yes,
Yeah,
game
I-
has just been
Oh my
renamed for
God.
next edition.
Yeah, my game is No Country for Old Kobolds.
Okay.
And then I'm doing I'm writing another game right now for that's an expansion for my friend's game, The Sprawl,
Okay.
just
I know,
like a cyberpunk game.
I'm not putting you on the spot. I know we gave Rory an interview not too long ago, but I think maybe in the future we can probably work out an interview or something
Yeah,
like
totally.
that. And hopefully our production value gets a little better and no green screen because Rory's forehead, for some reason, there was a
Yeah,
dot.
that
There's
was-
like it
that
just
was
went
happening.
straight through.
Yeah, it was
just
really weird
the
looking,
green,
yeah.
just like the green hue and Rory's.
Yeah, the green hue in Roy's forehead.
I should also point out Steve is working on the Kickstarter with me for this game, and he'll have some kind of lofty title like business manager or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I kickstarted Kobolds 3 years ago.
Probably two.
2, yeah, about around 2, and that was successful. So
But his experience has helped me because he
because
made some
Kickstarters are a
errors.
huge pain, and I really did. Like I started or I kickstarted before the full manuscript was done, so it took forever to.
So he started having this huge guilt trip about finishing it, which I don't want to have. So
Yep.
yeah, I've already written the full first draft of the manuscript, and I'm working on the second draft here in the next couple months.
Is the manuscript part of the downloadable packet?
No,
Or is that
no,
different?
Not yet, yeah.
No, it's
That'll
not
be
in
the
a-
full
It's
text
not
of the
really in a
book.
form
Okay.
that I want people to. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
Pre-edits and
edited.
everything. And
Yeah.
It's really just raw text. There's no fancy anything right now.
It's got yellow highlighting throughout.
yeah.
Comments to yourself.
No, so we have an editor signed on, we have a cover artist signed on, we have a layout person signed on, and we'll be getting interior artists at some point soon. So, team's ready to go, and so all right. Excuse me.
Great.
All right, so let's talk about. So we talked about the dice. Okay, so the resolution mechanic is one of the selling points of this game because it's so easy to do. And it's easy to implement in just about every situation that you're going to run into in the game. So when you're going to do something that involves some risk, it's what's called a move. Okay, and a move a lot of the moves in the game are set up ahead of time. So you'll see on this purple sheet here the basic moves on the front. Okay. On the second page and the third page are some special moves. So the basic moves are things you're going to be doing probably quite a bit. The stuff on the other pages you won't do quite as much. I will point out on the second page at the very top are basic vessel moves, which are a little bit different. They're things you do when you're in a ship or some kind of speeder or something. So
When you're piloting, or just when
Yes.
you're in a when you're piloting?
Yeah,
Well,
because all of us can do
it
different
may
stuff
not
on
be
the ship.
piloting. It could be other things, but it's when you're in a ship.
Repairing the ship,
Okay,
or something like that.
Yeah,
Could be
screw
shooting
around with
guns.
Running the
sensors.
scanners,
Yeah.
shooting TIE fighters.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll
all
get
that
into that.
stuff.
We have an ace in the group, so we'll have a ship, so you guys will be able to play with the ship a bit. So those are the moves. So when you're going to go do one of those things, there is a triggering mechanism in the move. It'll say when you whatever when
Say
you
something
attack
from
When you
somebody.
attack an opponent with a ranged weapon, roll plus dex.
Right. So that's the triggering mechanism is you do this thing in the game. You say you're doing this, and then I tell you what to roll.
Okay.
So the move tells you too, but I mean usually, especially when you're new at this, I'll direct you to which move you're looking to do, and
Okay.
then you roll. So there's 6 abilities in the game. So there's strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Okay, just like in D&D, if you're familiar with that, they're also the same as in Dungeon World. And those abilities are rated from -1, which is the worst, to +3, which is the best. So when you roll this 2d6, you're going to modify it with one of those abilities. So when you shoot your laser pistol, it says roll plus dex. What that means is roll always means the 2d6. So roll, and then whatever you roll, you
11.
11. All right, so he would add his dex. We'll say he's got a +2 dex. That gives him a 13. So that's the result. Okay? So when you have a result, then there's 3 different possible outcomes. There's a failure, which is a 6 or less. There is a partial success, which is 7 through 9. And there's a complete success, which is 10 or better. I also put a little chart at the top of the basic moves that shows you
Okay.
those. So
Okay.
you'll get to know
And that's
those.
in the packet too.
Yeah, those will be second nature by the time you play a bit. But so on a failure, what happens is that you do not get whatever it is you're trying to do, and there's some dire consequence as a result. So, like in some games, like let's say you're playing D&D, and everyone's rolling perception checks. Well, there's no consequence for failure. You just don't see the thing. In this game, if you do that and you fail, a monster could appear, or the ceiling could tumble in on you, or things bad are going to happen. So you don't always want to just roll. Sometimes you want to be like, well,
You want to be conservative.
what's the safest course of action here? What am I really trying to do? So a lot of times you'll see, like when you guys suggest an action, maybe I'll ask you guys questions about what you're trying to accomplish. That may point us towards a different move than maybe one that you were thinking. That does happen occasionally.
So what do you think is one of the main reasons that you decided on that kind of like 3-part system?
Well, that's
Specifically,
actually,
that always something can happen.
yeah. So that's actually from the Powered by the Apocalypse mechanic. That's
Okay.
from back in Apocalypse World. I didn't create that. That's just part of Apocalypse World and part of Dungeon World. So.
And you just like that
Yeah.
mechanic and you want
And
Yeah.
it's an open source system too, so anyone can use it.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Like
That's
you could-
actually the same mechanic that gets used in Kobolds.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It's a Creative Commons license, which means that as long as you attribute it in your text, then you can use it for free.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, and there's lots of other games that use
so
it
that was
too.
the failure scenario.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's go
So
on.
yeah. Let's try to get back on track here.
Sorry.
So if you fail, what happens is the game master has the opportunity to do something negative or introduce something new that is potentially negative. So on a partial success, the move will usually tell you what happens on a partial success. Usually, what happens is you get some lesser form of success and you have some negative complication or consequence as a result. Sometimes you'll pick the negative consequence. Sometimes I'll pick it. The move will say which one it is.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say, the player takes it, but it'll specify whether the GM picks it or not. So that can be like you take damage. It could be that you lose a resource. It could be that there's some other kind of complication. Perhaps your character's put in danger, or there could be a million things. So the partial success is really where the game becomes interesting because you start having to make decisions about things. The complete success, you get what you're trying to get. There's no negative complication. Some moves will give you additional options when you get a complete success. For example, on fight, you hit somebody, if you get a complete success, you have the option to do more damage, but you're doing that in exchange for you're getting attacked by them. So,
Okay.
So, there's a lot of moves in the game like that where it's, okay, you can just get your success and you're good, otherwise you can, take on additional risk if you want to, but it's always your option to do that. So that's basically the system, and I should probably point out too, one thing that's maybe unusual to people that are used to traditional games is that the game master does not roll any dice. So I don't roll any dice during the course of the game at all. So what I do is I react to what your guys' moves and decisions are. So the GM's role is to set up the situation, to explain what's going on when the game starts, and then to improvise off of what you guys decide to do.
Okay.
So I don't tell you what to do. I don't roll dice and make attacks. So let's say in combat, what happens is you guys make your attack rolls, and as long as you keep rolling 10s or higher, nothing bad is ever going to happen to you guys.
Yeah.
But of course, that's not going to happen, right? So
Yeah.
when you get a partial success, you might take some damage or other things happen, and then so I jump in and make things happen. So that's my role. So my role is mostly to improvise, to set up an initial situation, and then off we go.
Well, there's
Just
also
double checking. Does that say recording underneath the streaming on the right hand side?
can I read it? I think so. I think it says stop recording.
Well, if it stop recording, that basically what it is recording. And you got to click
Yeah,
the stop.
stop recording.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So that basic resolution mechanic is applied to pretty much everything you're going to do in the game, which is nice. So once you learn how that works, then you just everything you do is like that. So space combat works that way. Exploration works that way. Trying to negotiate some deal with some underhanded, smuggler or something works that way. It all uses the same mechanic.
Cool.
So, and as you see, you'll look at the basic move sheets, and when we get to the characters, you'll see that they all have moves that are structured that way.
Okay.
So there's also custom moves in the game. So sometimes a situation will arise where there isn't really a good move for what you're trying to do. In that case, the game master will just come up with this basic structure of a move and just have you roll.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff is covered by the Defy Danger basic move. So that's kind of a default that we'll use when something doesn't really fit anywhere else. So usually that's a situation where someone is in danger and you're trying to get out of it, or you're trying to get someone else out of danger. So we'll use that quite a bit in place of if something doesn't exist to perfectly fit the situation. So, okay. Any questions about any of that stuff?
And basically everything for defined danger is like one of your strengths. Strength, dexterity, concentration. What's it called? Constitution, wisdom, and charisma.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one
Intelligence.
is really more of how you're trying to do it. So that move is interesting because it doesn't tell you which one to roll automatically. It's how you describe what you're trying to do. So, for example, if you're trying to run away from some bad guys, you're probably going to roll dex because that's moving quickly.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to climb away from them.
Right, which could be strength. Or, what's the best way for me to get across this dangerous area? Okay, well, that might be intelligence because you're trying to figure out
what
like
it
a
is.
strategy,
Okay.
right? So it kind of depends on, it's how you describe to me what you're trying to do.
And what's
I'll-
intelligence versus wisdom?
Wisdom is more like your experience or your, insight and stuff like that. So that'd be more of like, if someone's trying to trick you or something like that, and you'd be like,
Street smarts versus book smarts.
Something's
Yeah.
fishy over here. Let me
Yeah.
go rub my wisdom.
Wisdom, Defy Danger wisdom is usually used for mental, like when someone's trying to control you mentally with like psionics and stuff. That's
That's when you'd use wisdom.
usually, but there's other cases you might.
Okay.
I'd say of the ones that are there, that's probably the least used one, just because it's kind of a corner case of
Yeah.
stuff. But it does happen. Yeah, lots of that is. It's hard for me to talk about that.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
stop that. At least in your face.
Okay. So that's basically how it works. So
You want water?
no, I'm okay right now. Let's get into the character stuff first. So Max has already chosen a character. There's 8 playbooks in the game. A playbook is basically a set of parameters by which you create your character. So there's a lot of customization options right off the bat, and then as your character advances, you'll get more options to do cool stuff with your characters. But it's all on this one two-sided piece of paper. So everything you need with your character pretty much is on there. So
Yeah. It's analogous to a class if you've ever played D&D.
I just picked. I randomly picked the Jack then.
yeah, you don't have to pick that. That's just one of them.
What else?
You can look at it, but so there's 8 playbooks. There's the Ace, which is the one that Max has. The Ace is a expert pilot. He has a second playbook called the Ship, which is treated like a character in the game for the most part. So he's got a spaceship. There's the Explorer, which is good at like searching and investigating and stuff like that. There is the Jack, who is like a scoundrel sort of a character, Jack of all trades.
I picked the right one
Could
by
be a
accident.
spy or whatever.
Yep. Jack is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what you
There's
want to
the leader. The leader is a
Scientist.
kind of a support character. Depending on how you configure them, they can be a combat character, or they can be a healer, or
I'm gonna run a robot.
various things. So there's the leader. There's the Psy, who has psionic, mental abilities. They're pretty cool. Let's see, the scientist. Obviously they can build stuff. They can be a physician, so they could be a sort of a healer character. And soldier, and the robot, and then the soldier. So the robot, obviously a robot, they have a lot of customization options. And then the soldier, who is mostly a combat character, but they can be a healer or like a tactician or
Like a
various. What's that?
Like a Palladium.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. So
Paladin.
Paladin.
That's how you pronounce it, right?
Paladin.
That's Paladin.
Oh, if only you read that.
I know. Yeah.
It's Mimi's, right?
Yes.
Instead of
It's Mimi's, yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Okay, so those are the characters. As I said, each one of the playbooks has a number of customization options, which we'll go over. So it looks like you picked a
Yeah, I'm playing the scientist.
scientist. Okay, so we
Are you
have.
going to play your bug scientist again?
Yep, he's coming back.
All right, cool. So, so just to go around real quick. So Steve has chosen the robot.
Yeah.
Max has chosen the ace. Elliot has the scientist, and you picked the jack.
Yes.
Okay. So because there's an ace in the group, what that means is you guys will start with a ship.
Okay.
So,
So we're
assuming
going to take the small ship
you're going
translation
the
error.
personal starship.
The small ship, the translation error
Okay.
is the name of the
the
ship.
name of your ship.
Translation error.
Yep.
How many? That has 3 crew spots, right?
3 crew spots
Okay.
and
Okay.
6 capacity.
So we'll get
terms
into
of
that stuff, but
passengers.
3 crew spots means only 3 of you guys can do crew stuff. So that means one
Right.
person will not be able to.
I'm going to be a navigation robot, so.
There we go.
So probably the. Well, it's up to you guys.
I'm gonna be too busy swindling.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
To work on
there's
the
nothing
ship.
that stops you from both doing crew moves. It's just only 3 people can do a crew move at the same time, right?
Yeah, there are only
Correct,
3
yeah.
stations total on the
Right.
ship, right?
Right, because small.
Yeah.
So you
Bigger
can-
ships
You
have
can do
more.
other stuff, so you have access to all the other moves. You just won't be able to do vessels, but we'll get into that. That's
Yeah.
down the road.
And
All right.
I'm probably going to take the smuggling ship.
Okay,
with-
we'll get into that later. All right.
Yeah.
So the important thing about the characters, the first thing you want to do is look at the kind of packages that are available to you. So there's 3 packages of moves available to each playbook. So the name of it hopefully will be evocative enough for you to figure out what it does. And if not, I'll be happy to answer questions about it. But what you're going to do is you're going to get. So each class has a default move, which is up here,
Okay.
or sometimes it's more than one, and then you'll get all the moves underneath one of these boxes here.
Okay. So should we talk about like? I'm guessing at one point or another we may end up in some type of combat.
Sure.
So we probably want to have at least one person be able to do something.
Honestly, it really doesn't matter as much because
Everybody's going to have like a pistol and the
Yeah.
ability to roll dice. You don't roll like crap, and everybody takes at least +1 in dex. You're going to be good at shooting.
Okay.
And the interesting
I'm
thing
strong.
about the system is that even if we got into combat,
Insect strong.
we could figure out a way to get out without actually having to shoot somebody.
So the
if we
scoundrel's a
wanted to.
viable option.
Oh yeah, totally. If you want to be
Yeah.
the scoundrel version of it,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because we could talk our way out of it. I mean, we can just not get caught. That sort of thing. Like there's enough ways that we can get out of combat that we could easily go without
Even if you
getting
do get
into
into combat, it's not a situation where
Yeah, we don't have to have a super soldier.
you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. No, you don't.
That's good.
But
that
if you
being
wanted to
said,
make if you want to make a
super soldiers are
pistolier,
hilariously fun.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
if you want to make a pistolier, I mean, they're useful, definitely.
But he's gonna run scoundrel.
Okay,
He
that's
wanted
fine.
to. do that
Okay,
anyway,
that's fine.
Human cyborg relations by smashing heads into pancakes.
so. Yeah. My robot's name is Matt.
Nice.
Okay, so once you've looked at the packages and chosen one of them, what you may want to do is look at the moves that are in that package, because it will suggest certain of the abilities that you may want to be good at. So your default move is usually, like for your character, Eugene, the Jack, his default move is based on charisma.
Yeah.
But the moves under Scoundrel may not be. They may be other things. You may want to look at those moves and see what kind of abilities you need to be good at. Or that you might want to be good at.
What to say? Feint. Every time I mislead someone, I get plus charisma.
So that's charisma also.
So that adds up to that. Cause them to reveal secrets. Someone in danger swaps places with your target.
Yep.
So I do the switcheroo.
Yep.
They stand in the way of an attack meant for you. +1 armor forward. Okay. Thief. When you quickly take something from a target, name your intended price. Roll plus dexterity.
Right.
So it seems like I do want to look at dexterity as well.
Yeah. So probably those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So once you've made that decision,
And this says shaky over here. What is that?
well, I'll go with that. So,
Okay,
so what you're going to do next is these are your abilities. So you get an array of modifiers that are here. Might be kind of hard to see in this light, but
That's
I can
fine.
tell you what they are. And you're going to plug those into these boxes here.
In
So
any
here's your
order.
charisma, here's your dex, here's your other stuff.
And each one of these is a.
Right. So you've got a -1, 2 zeros, 2 +1s, and a +2.
So is that. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
And then probably for dexterity, 1 + 1.
Mm.
You have another +1 to stick somewhere.
Oh, I do have another +1.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have 2 +1s, 2 zeros, and a -1.
Okay, I'm going to put the -1.
So it's always good to have a +1 dex if you didn't choose that as your +2,
Yeah.
just so you're a competent shooter.
Yeah.
Being able to hit things on a 6 or better effectively gives you pretty strong math.
Yep.
So I have 2 +1s. Probably dexterity and intelligence. That makes sense to me. Wisdom and constitution. I'm going to give 0, and I'm going to give my strength -1.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
Yep.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
You have -1 strength as well?
Yes.
Do you have -1 strength?
I have +1.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
+1.
Beefy.
I have +1
+1
Beefy
strength.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Bruce Banner over here. He's going to Hulk out.
Mini Hulk.
Bug out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bug out.
He turned into a normal person.
What's
Goes
that?
from
dude?
willowy to normal.
What's
Mini
that?
Hulk.
Cronenberg.
Yeah. Way to Cronenberg up.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone gets that. The Fly?
Yeah.
Cronenberg?
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
just making sure.
All right.
People out there, Cronenberg.
Yep. All right. So once you've picked your abilities, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about your damage die. So you'll notice that you have a damage die listed right here. So yours is a D8, I believe.
Okay.
What happens is that when you roll damage for an attack, you're going to roll the D8. That's what that means. So you may modify it, you may add stuff for your weapon or things like that, but the
Armor.
main die is always going to be a D8. Armor is going to be based on your equipment, which we haven't gone over yet, so you can skip that for now. The only other thing right there you need to do is your vitality. So your vitality is some number plus your con. If you have a con of 0, then it's just whatever that number is.
Okay, it's a 12.
And you're going to want to put that number in there, yeah, because when you take damage, you'll be decrement that. Okay, and real quick, how the vitality and wound system works. So when you take damage in the game, you're going to subtract it from your vitality. If you have armor, you'll reduce the damage by that value unless there's some reason it bypasses your armor, which some things do. So when your vitality drops all the way to 0, the next time you take damage, you're going to mark one of those wound boxes. There's a special move in the game called Wounded, and when you mark one of those boxes, you have to roll this Wounded move, and it could knock you out just with one box. When you mark all 3 of those, you could die. So you're not going to die until a lot of stuff has happened to you, so it's pretty unusual.
I can die forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Burn to death.
probably not in this game, but I guess it's possible.
If we roll bad enough, we could all die.
I think I've only ever had one character actually die, and it was due to friendly fire. Somebody was shooting into this big crowd, and they failed, and told him, well, you hit your friend, and his friend was already almost dead anyway, so I'm like, well, sorry.
Sorry, that sucks.
Sorry, Charlie. So we'll talk about how the healing and stuff works. We don't have any actual healers, right?
No.
I don't think so. Okay,
No.
that's fine.
And
You
I
don't
did
need
not
to-
take the engineering bay to fix your robot.
Well, the
Sorry.
cool thing about the game is you don't have to.
I do have healing capacity. I have the improved life support system, which actually doesn't heal. It allows you to
Right. It doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Can I fool people
I
to
didn't take the
thinking
med
they're
pack.
healthier than what they are?
I suppose.
Yeah, you could talk them into it.
Yeah, but you don't need to have a dedicated healer in this game, unlike a lot of games where you need a healer. So you get vitality back at the end of a scene. So as long as you're not,
packs.
unconscious or something.
Cool.
Right, and there's healing devices in the game too, so you don't have to have a dedicated healer. All right, so the next steps here. Now there's a spot for your name and like your appearance and stuff that you can do whenever you want. I'm not going to belabor that point. Just whenever you want, you can describe that stuff. At the bottom of the sheet on the first page is the experience tracker. So you're going to, when you're directed to mark experience, you're going to mark those boxes down there. Once you have 9 marked, then you get an advance. So that means you level up, basically. There aren't levels in this game. There's just the number of advances that you have. Getting advances in the game does not make you super powerful. One character with 5 advances, another character with 1 advance, there is not a significant power difference. Typically, the person with more advances has more options, but they're not like, exponentially more powerful.
Yeah, it's not like a level 20 and a level 1 character.
Right. I mean, you're going to get maybe +1 or +2 more to your dice roll if you specialize in that, but the bigger thing is you have more special shticks to do.
Right.
Something that makes you...
Like you may learn how to hack a computer system, or you may learn how to damage robots better, or, it just diversifies your character.
Yeah, effectively, you have a lot of ways to change the narrative. In
Right.
The game,
Yep.
so.
Right. So it's not like a power jump. Okay, so and we'll talk about the experience system in a minute. So let's flip over to the backside. So on the backside, you have a couple things here to note. The first thing I would look at is the origins. This is kind of like a little backstory for your character. Each one of these gives you a benefit in the game. Usually it's some kind of situational +1 or some other option that you have based on your backstory. So it's not like a huge benefit, but it is something nice. The default assumption in the game is that you're a human. So if you pick the options there that doesn't say alien, then you're a human. You don't have to be a human. You can be something else. And it doesn't necessarily have any impact on the game. I mean, all you're going to get is whatever the benefit is there. So if you say I'm a creature made out of magma, that's fine. But it's just going to do whatever that says. So.
Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick Frodo, which is kind of like anyone else see a Deep Space Nine? Is that Frodo? Oh no, that's not Frodo.
Jesus
Odo?
Christ, dude.
Odo. My bad.
He can turn into.
I was gonna say, you're gonna be a hobbit.
That's cool.
I mean, that's
Odo.
cool and all, but that's Odo.
The shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But
there's a
pretty. I don't have milky face.
I guess I'll carry a bucket around you live in.
Yeah.
I do live in a bucket.
Yeah, he slept in that bucket. Yeah.
This is copyright.
So-
This is far enough from copyright.
So you don't have like a move that lets you shape change. So you
That
can
probably
look like him, but you won't be able to.
Knows that.
No, I
not-
mean, he can just work it into the
the only
narrative
insect.
of his other moves. It won't do
Like
It's
cool.
not
anything.
going to give you necessarily any benefits though.
No, but
Yeah.
but I think like at least that way I have a
Insectoids.
basis of like being able to beguile someone or something like that.
Bulls,
Is that
beetle.
possible? Or is that too far?
Well,
of a
you would
stretch?
need a move that
that actually lets me shape
supports that, right? Now there are items in the game that let you like have like a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it doesn't give him a benefit, it's just
Well,
a
he
narrative
wants it
thing.
to give him benefit. Though, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely.
He wants to really be able to shape change, which
Is a little too far away from.
Well, that's more than you would get from one of those benefits. So those benefits are situational bonuses. Like they're not something that's power. Now, could somebody make a custom alien that has that? Yes, it's totally possible. But the ones we have don't have those options.
Okay.
So
You can describe some of your moves
Yeah.
using shape
Yeah.
change, but
yeah,
Just
you totally could. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be narrative. It won't
Yeah,
be,
it
Okay.
can be a narrative function.
and
just
that's
not a-
and that's all it'll be.
That's
Specifically when gathering information, get +1, so I can like.
Do you have a thing that does that?
push up your cheek.
Yeah.
buttons.
My alien. When you are exclusively among your own kind, add +1. So that's basically it.
Right.
Okay.
Only when you're amongst
Only
your own
when amongst
kind.
myself.
So, like,
Okay.
I'm going to play an alien. I'm going to be of the same insectoid race as Elliot.
Yeah.
And that's going to be part of the fun. So if you play an alien and we're all 3 insects plus the robot, we can give this a little bit different personality than most sessions that we might otherwise run with a bunch of humans in human space. Now
But
we're
if-
a bunch of aliens, insect smugglers. Yeah.
But if you want to be a shapeshifter, it's still not narratively. You just include it
Yeah, I'll do
as
that.
part of the description.
Yeah, I'll
And
do that.
it doesn't give you a benefit.
And it won't go
it's
too
just-
far off. And
Yeah,
okay.
it's just flavor.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. So once you've picked an origin, the next step would be to do your equipment. So you'll see that you have on the left side, you'll see that there is
Your load.
some, that's like your encumbrance.
Snicker.
Yeah, I know. So you get some default equipment, and then on the right side, there are some options you're going to pick from. So when you go over that value for load, then you become encumbered and you take minuses
Okay.
to stuff. So
There's
you
also
want to
equipment.
keep that in mind.
So it says 8 plus strength, so my load is 7 then.
Is your strength
Yep.
-1? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And it's
So
just
you want to
how much crap you can carry.
Yeah, so you want to once you're done picking all your stuff, just total up your weight, and then if it goes over 7, then
Then be encumbered.
yes, which is not good.
Laser pistol +1 damage, near fear fire. A utility belt and 2 credit. Okay.
Now, if you want a ranged weapon, you have to actually choose.
Oh, metamorph disguise
laser
system.
pestle
That makes
that
sense.
most people
right?
start with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
do you
do.
have so that you need training to use that? So there's a move on the front that gives you training. I think it's the espionage package. If I'm not
I take a
mistaken.
repair module for a
Oh,
robot
I see what you're saying.
So you
okay.
could do
Nice.
it, but you'd have a -1 because you don't have the training. So you could still have it if you want. You'll just not be as good at it as somebody who had the training.
And Starship
And only can use the 3 use.
tools.
Oh, cool. I have the specialized starship tools as well.
Unfortunately, I must have a tour.
So if you get any
Take things apart instead.
if you get any
Break up my shit.
armor, if you get any armor in your equipment, then you'll
Yes.
want to put the armor value on the front to remind yourself
Yeah.
how much armor you have. Typically, it's going to be 1 or 2 at the most. I think
Yeah.
only the soldier can start with a 2.
No,
So.
I do too.
Oh, that's right. Robot automatically gets 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robots are awesome.
Robot,
Other than the once they get the self-healing module in, they are awesome.
Yeah, I don't-
And they are
Both my pods are currently empty because I don't have any inner.
Okay, I'm just gonna get another
the
laser.
chainsaw and the missile launcher
Yeah.
are fun. You didn't start with the gun? Doesn't it start with like the?
No,
the
he's a
little pulsar?
navigation robot. They don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add another laser pistol to me.
Got some
Okay.
credits.
So that +1 dexterity anyway. That usually.
Oh, that's
Chris.
true. I do
Well,
have
so the
credits.
second
Yeah.
laser pistol,
Yes.
right now it doesn't do anything for you. There is a move under the pistoler that adds damage when you have 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because when you attack, you
Actually,
make
I
1
think
roll.
it's-
It really doesn't matter if you have
I
2
don't think I
guns.
start with any.
It's good if you lose one of them. It's great to have a second
usually
one, right?
calls
I mean,
out if you start with
it's
the
cool.
credits.
Nah,
But
yeah, I don't
there
start
are
with
moves in
any.
the game that
Oh,
will take
yeah.
advantage of you having multiple weapons, but
Yeah.
you don't get those right away. So
So I'd probably go
But
for
I'm your personal
the
assistant.
credit
so-
and maybe the
Yeah.
leather vest,
Came
Sure,
with the
that's
ship.
just to make sure.
Actually, how much is a laser pistol? 2?
I
There
think
you
it's
go.
1 or 2.
And it's 1 armor and 1 weight, so I'm at 6. So how
Okay.
do I write down how much like crap I'm carrying.
That's right. He's right next to it. There's like a little
Yeah.
space there. Just put there,
I just put current 4.
like something out of 6 or whatever.
So how do you have current? Like how do you have 4 already?
So in terms of weight, so I start with a laser pistol and a utility belt, both of which have a weight of 1.
Okay.
And then on the right, for me, it says choose 2 of the following. I can
One
take
weight,
like a
okay.
credit, another pistol, and I ended up taking specialized tools for fixing my ship.
Yep.
'Cause
Yeah.
derp.
Good idea.
And some armor.
Now,
Because
do you have a move that lets you repair the ship?
yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
I'm taking the tech.
Engineering. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Yep.
I
Excellent.
picked the extra piece of armor because
Yeah.
in combat situations, armor is awesome from
Yep.
playing this before.
Yep. Yeah, you don't tend to get over a 2 or a 3, so having a 1 is better than nothing, certainly.
When you've got the robot,
If you're taking a
with 4
D6
armor,
damage
you're
or
taking-
D8, 1 is actually
basically,
pretty handy.
negative
so.
1.
Yep.
Your better weapon.
Okay, so you total up all your
Just
stuff
being
that you got?
healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I had
have
4, then the laser shields. It gave me 6 total.
what it
Like,
comes
you
with
could-
is laser pistols 1 weight, utility
lord.
belts 1 weight,
He's a
2
robot.
credits nothing, and the and
that was
the leather
in the final
vest
session.
is 1 armor, so I have 3 total.
right there when I bought
There you
the,
go.
And then
laser
you have
shields
2
and-
credits, so you can buy stuff.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you
Kept
want to
shooting
buy
me,
stuff,
like,
there's an equipment list.
Roll
There's
it.
also vessel equipment that you can buy. If you guys wanted to pool your money and buy something for the ship, you totally could. The ship stuff is fairly expensive, so
Yeah.
that probably would be all of your starting money if you wanted to buy
Yeah, I was
stuff.
gonna
Depends on what it
say,
is.
combined, we may have
4.
8.
Well, he has 0 because robots.
Yeah, I
don't
don't have any,
You
so
might have 1 or 2.
I have 2.
2, and you might have 2.
Yeah,
So, okay.
and I took the small ship. It's enough to fit all of us, which is
Thank goodness.
like the old and then
You
its
gotta ride
stats
on
are
top.
fairly bland.
When we
Like,
playing
it
Cats,
isn't
didn't
good-
he have
it isn't
a
bad at
personal?
running. It isn't good.
When we played Cats, the ace took a personal ship.
Could hold any of us.
no one
What the scratch? Well, no,
So you
it's
just had
got
a little-
crew 1, passenger 1.
Yeah,
so,
so 1 crewman, that's the
Yeah.
pilot, that's it.
plus 1 passenger.
Right, but
Yeah.
there was a group of 6 of us. So the rest of us are in a separate ship.
Cargo bay.
No, they're all in a
No,
separate
just
ship.
strap them all to
So they were
the...
all on a like an NPC ship, and then this
Yeah.
guy was in his own ship joyriding
Just flying
around.
around.
Yeah,
Whee!
yeah.
Dick.
The rest of us are just
was
robots
it?
hanging on.
Did you give him the move
Tony.
called Dick?
You met Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah, Pink Tony.
yeah.
Pink Tony.
He wears all pink.
Pink Taco. All right.
So I took cargo bay and improved life support system. So cargo bay just gives us more storage.
Yes.
And then I also have hidden compartments,
Yeah.
which,
Smugglers.
hey, look, we've got a cargo bay filled with food and all the good stuff hitting in the hidden compartments.
Yep.
'Cause-
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 smokes then.
We are some shady characters.
2 whats?
2
Two smokes.
Smoke
Two packs of
grenades?
smokes.
Shantari.
Oh, okay.
I
Sure.
have no idea how to pronounce that word.
Yeah, Shantari. Yeah, that's a So one of the alien species is called Shantari, and they're social.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. It lets you do like it gives you a bonus to certain social moves. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I take 2 Shantari smokes.
Yeah, that's like a smoke something. Pipe? No, it's not a pipe. What is it? Can't remember.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So once you've done that, and give your character a name and a basic description, and then what we'll do is go around, talk about our characters, and then we'll do the last step. So if you have a name, have you finished all your stuff?
Yeah.
Are we gonna start? Okay. So describe your character.
So my name is Map. I'm a navigation droid. I'm boxy. I have a boxy body. Exposed circuitry. I don't have any eyes. I do have a voice.
Yay.
And I have a laser tool.
Okay. And what is he good at?
So he's a navigation droid. So he came with the ship that...
The translation error.
Yeah, the translation error. I
Is
came
that
with
the name
it.
of the ship?
Yeah,
Yes.
I came with the translation error. I'm his personal assistant.
Okay.
So when he bought the ship, he bought me.
Okay.
I work for him.
Now, question: did you get the matter antimatter engine for the ship?
I did not.
So yeah. Okay. You wanna-
Should I get the Manti?
Well, if you have him in
much
Navigator,
is
that's
it?
one of his moves is being able to do that.
I assumed that we had the
How much
faster
is it?
than light
It's an
speed
option
travel
you can
for-
get on the
I
ship.
can-
Oh yeah, I have
I
better
can throw
other
my. I
nav.
can only throw. I can only
Yeah,
buy-
I saw the main mother nav is like 3 uses and it's gone.
Do you need money
Well,
for
not
that?
gone. You just have to replenish it.
Yeah, okay.
Do you need money for
how
that?
much
We just
is
chuck
the
it. Well,
main?
Well, he can get it for free if he just ditches.
Yeah,
something else.
I'm just trying to figure out
How much
pricing
is it?
wise
I don't
because I
remember
like
how much.
the
I remember it's kind of expensive,
It's gonna
Yeah.
be on a
like
different.
4
Oh,
maybe.
that's a
Or,
ship.
yeah because okay I can afford the cargo bay by itself, so I'll just do that and be out of money.
so the MAME does take up a one of the pods or
Yeah,
the
yeah. I have one free pod
not pod. What's it called? Not bay. What's it called?
module.
Module. There we go. Yeah. So you have 4 of those. So you've got
Yep.
you've got 1 left, right?
No, we
no,
have
I've used
3.
them all because I get
they're-
hidden compartments for free.
Hidden compartments, MAME.
Cargo bay, which I bought,
Cargo
and
bay,
the
okay.
improved life support
Okay,
system.
okay. So if you go to modify the ship, there is an advance that gives you an extra module. So you don't have to get rid of that stuff if you advance the ship.
Yep. that
Otherwise,
was the
you'll have
plan.
to switch something out. So
That was the
um,
plan.
yeah.
if we can
Okay,
keep
so
playing
there's
those
the robot.
characters.
All right,
yeah.
so let's go over. So what's Max? What's your character's name?
My name is Meffin. I am an alien ace, specializing in tech-related things. And our ship is a small ship called the Translation Error. Has default stats, which is 0 power, 0 speed, 1 sensors, and 0 weapon. Yeah. D6 damage die and shields.
Yep. So the ship has abilities just like a character does. They're different abilities, and there's only 4 of them. So there's power, speed, sensors, and weapon. And so they're rated the same way. So it starts -1 is the lowest, +3 is the highest.
And I chose the smuggling ship, so since I don't know anything about the campaign, I didn't want to go purely for speed. I wanted something that would blend in, would play off my high int stat, and smuggling.
Yeah.
Most of the moves are based off of int, so it works really nicely.
So, so the way that he built this ship, it's just like a character. So it has packages that you pick from. I believe the ship has 4 packages. Is that right?
Yeah.
So there's 4 packages.
Right. Speed, combat, science, and smuggling.
Yeah, and then on the back there's equipment that he can put on the ship and things like that. So it's customizable just like the characters are. The ship. So I talked about vitality and wounds. So the ship has a system like that too. It's called hull. So hull is the same as vitality for a character. And then it has a thing called critical, which is the same as wounds for a character. So it works the same way. When you run out of the hull, you take damage again, it marks a critical. There's a move called critical that you have to roll. It works just like wounded, in essence. So he has shields that work like armor. The difference is there's a move that allows you to raise shields. You can temporarily increase them. And then when you get hit, they go back down to normal.
So you're weak.
Yep. And I am also going to be playing an insectoid, same as Elliot.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Elliot, what's your character?
My character is a scientist. My name is actually impronounceable because I'm an insectoid beetle race. We identify each other by our chemical trails and our visuals.
Okay.
But you can call me Alfonso.
Alfonso.
Are you also? Are you the same race?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
and is
Beatles.
that why the name's a translation error? Because it just
Yes.
No, I picked that out for
Alright.
for sheer.
All right.
There wasn't actually a translation error.
Oh, okay.
I'm of a minor
Couldn't
noble
come up
house.
with a name.
Okay.
Are they merchant houses or no merchant houses?
It's up to you.
Oh, I was using
It's
the
your
same.
species, yeah.
I thought that was in your world there.
that was in mine.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
that's fine.
And I'll
Make-
just be a
make
smuggler
something
that
up,
works
doesn't
for your
matter,
merchant
yeah.
house or noble house.
But
Oh,
yes,
okay.
they were different noble houses.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we're of a minor noble house. I am a saboteur, so I specialize in taking things apart, which can be an issue because I have an obsessive personality.
Okay.
So sometimes I start taking the ship apart
Okay. Cool.
while we're flying about. I don't actually have any. I have a laser pistol, and I'm all black with orange markings everywhere.
Okay. Cool. All right. So what is a scientist good at? Like what packages you pick? You pick saboteur.
Saboteur.
You break shit.
So what are you good at? What are you good at doing?
I'm good at dismantling things and using those parts to make
Make stuff.
devices on the fly.
Cool. Okay.
So we have to buy him something, so he just has something.
Yeah,
to
here, take this
take care
toaster
of himself.
apart. Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to keep him occupied at all
He
times.
needs one of those spinner. Like a
Yeah,
spinner.
we'll fit
A
you
fidget spinner. I take
For
it
all
apart.
your arms.
All right. So
Just
Eugene,
on my
what's your,
back with a
what's
bunch
your
of fidget
character?
spinners.
I am the
Help me,
Jack.
I can't get up.
My name is Bugatti.
Bugatti.
I am Bugatti the Jack. I'm tall, pudgy, and handsome. My eyes are blue. My fashion is unparalleled. My hair is luxurious, and my weapon is the pistol.
Goats, no shoes.
What ended up happening is that I basically kind of heard these two kind of, I'm a little bit of a scoundrel, so I understand. I have the ability to sometimes understand foreign alien languages.
Sure.
Me being an alien myself, but I basically heard these two kind of cheering back and forth. He's got a smuggling ship going on, and I'm not going to give too much about my background because that might end up putting me in a. If I give out too much right now, maybe someone's not going to be too fond of me hanging around.
Okay.
But basically, I heard him. They got a smuggling ship. This dude knows how to like break stuff and put stuff together. I'm thinking this is a good match for me right now.
Sure.
For what I got to do on my own, and so hung out. Saw him at a bar. Bought some. We had that Chahardi smoke, and we kind of hit it off, and they allowed me into this mission.
Okay. Cool. All right. So are you like on the run from something or?
I'm not gonna.
You can tell me.
I can tell you. Okay.
Kind of
So
need to,
I'm a
otherwise
little.
it's not going to happen in the game.
Okay. Okay. So I would say.
They pretend like they don't know. That's part of the rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually about.
Let's write it down.
I'm very.
Copious notes.
So you're from a merchant class because I was gonna play off
Yeah,
that.
merchant
Like
household.
a merchant household. So the assumption is your family has money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basically trying to marry into his family through his sister and stuff like
Of
that.
Beatles.
Oh, Beatles, yeah.
Okay.
I like to get freaky.
I guess.
And
I guess.
a lot of orifices you can use. that
Yeah,
are
sure.
Very pleasurable.
All
Well,
the
you're
limbs.
viscous,
Very-
so it's
All the limbs.
Yeah.
Sporacles.
I can get in there.
It's a lot of limbs. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Not sure if you're aware, but the females eat the males after copulation.
Not if you're fast.
I'm
You're
gonna
in and out
drop
before
this
they even
subject
knew what
right now
happened.
before I keep
Not if
rolling
you're
with it.
fast and a goo-based life form.
yeah.
I do the smash and dash quite frequently. That's actually part of the reason too, is that I kind of like that danger.
All right.
And I'm trying to get into the
You have that
trying to get into the family.
tattooed in your shoulder, smash and dash.
A
Smash.
picture of him running. Like
SMSHDASH. Smash and dash.
All right. So.
Smash.
All right. So what is Bugatti good at doing?
Dash.
Bugatti is a scoundrel. So is that
Goddamn Scott.
Well, what are his moves like? Like, what is he good at doing? So, like, what do his moves allow him to do?
Let's
Um,
fuck Beatles.
are you talking about like the stuff that's over here? Or you
Yeah,
talking
or
about-
like any of your whatever you want to tell us about what your moves do.
Yeah, I think I'm really. It seems like I'm really good at beguiling people, so I can mislead them. I get plus charisma every time I try to do that, so I
Okay.
can basically sneak myself into situations. That's how I got into their thing in the first place.
Okay.
And if you're ever talking to anyone, like let's say we're on a smuggling ship right now. If we got to pass through something, or let's say there are some people who kind of go on our ship, kind of want to start some trouble, I can probably get us out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe make a deal or something like that. That'll be a little beneficial to us,
Okay.
or hopefully
How do you feel about
throw it on
that?
somebody else.
Meh.
Meh. Okay. That's fair. All right. So,
Brought
all
my
right.
emotions
So the
back
last piece of character creation is what's called relationships. So if you look at the back, you'll see a section called relationships, and you're going to have 6 different relationships to pick from. So for each one of the other characters in the group, so in this case, there's 3 other people other than yourself. You're going to pick one of those relationships and put their name in that blank spot. Not the drives; those are drives.
Oh, sorry.
These. So think about what the other characters do, and you want to make sure that this, whatever you pick, is something you can make happen in the game. So if it's something that you're not particularly good at, I wouldn't pick that option because you're going to want to ping these as often as you can
Or I make one secret relationship.
for each person.
You make one relationship. One is special.
Yeah, the SR means special relationship. That only affects one part of the game, so I'll explain that if it comes up. Don't worry about it for right now.
Right. And that's
You
a
get something
you
with
make
your SR, right?
yeah.
Because you're a robot thing. Don't you have a personal assistant?
And then what's your name again?
Methan.
I think if you have a...
I spell
no,
it
that works.
METHAN.
MEP.
Just anyone I have a relationship
Oh,
with.
no, okay, that'd be a special. Okay, all right. So
Or
yes.
I specifically choose the ally, which it'll be him.
Right, okay, yeah. Well, right, okay. So, so you're going to pick... So in this case, since there's 4 of them, four of us players, you're going to pick 3 of
What's your
those,
character's name again?
Matt.
and then put
Map.
them in those
I
blank
need
spots.
Matt to get me somewhere in a hurry.
I was gonna say I must take you to new places.
So there you go. And you can totally do that.
Right,
so
which is
if
great
you
because they
find,
play off each other.
Yeah, if you
What's
find
your
ones that
character's
work
name?
together, it's great. And I'll explain how these work real quick once you guys are done. But yeah, it's important. If you can find ones that work together, that's even better.
Yeah, and I need Alfonso to push me to try new things, and I must train Bugatti in his new ship duties.
Okay?
I told you I'm not fucking with the ship.
Mop the decks, bitch.
No.
Here's my.
I'm getting a map to do it.
You're not part of the crew.
I must. Keep,
Your first job is learning how to mop the decks.
I must keep map in tip-top shape. That's my special
By the way,
relationship.
okay. This
Okay.
Roomba, you just need to make
Bugatti.
sure the Roomba doesn't die.
Bugatti and I must break something together. Muffin must protect me from injury.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting enough, I need Meffin's skills to get me to a secret place.
Sure.
So that doesn't make sense with my. So do I do an SR as one of these?
You can if you want. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
it explicitly says you may use one of these.
Yeah,
as a
you're just
special
going to
relationship.
pick 3 of them. They can
Okay.
be any 3.
So
Alfonso will risk themselves to protect me,
Okay.
and I use map as a distraction while I do my thing.
Okay. Great.
I must ensure Bugatti keeps their word.
Interesting. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah. I need Alfonso to keep me in good repair.
Okay.
That works
Yeah.
really
that-
well.
And I
perfectly
must take
reasonable.
meth into new places,
Okay.
which
Great.
because that's my
Indeed.
core mechanic.
So the only other thing on the back that I do want to mention real quick, but we're actually going to deal with it a little bit later, are the drives. So the drives, once we
You know
start
what?
playing,
Can I change something? Actually?
yes, totally.
I want to use Alfonso as a distraction.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Exploding beetle is a much better
Yeah,
distraction.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to get something. I guess map. Can I get map to?
So the nice thing about this is you can't we change relationships after each?
No, those
Those
are
are
drives.
drives.
Those are
Oh,
drives,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, you can change relationships, but usually you don't.
Should I?
Unless someone leaves the group or something weird happens.
Should I try to get map to abandon their strict morals? Because then there'll be complete conflict.
Because he's a robot.
Hey, he's a robot. You think he has strict morals?
He can reprogram
He has
his morals.
Yeah, he has programs and stuff.
Okay, sure. If you want to. I mean, the
No, I'm
thing
saying, like,
is that
He's got to
So
keep
you
me
get
from
more
lying,
ex-
and I got to be like,
you get an
no, stop
experience
lying.
point every
and
time
that's how
you-
they're in.
well, I mean, so you want to make these things happen as often as possible. So if you're going to do something like that, you guys should probably talk about whether that's true. Because if he doesn't have strict morals, you'll never be able to trigger that.
Okay,
But if he does,
I don't have any morals actually. I just do whatever you tell
you're
me.
immoral. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm holy.
but
So-
you could get him to betray the pilot, and then that would trigger that
What? So
if you wanted to. That might
could
be-
you, like, is he disposable? Will you risk him? How much does it matter to you?
It's not me.
Okay.
Thanks, dude.
I mean,
So theoretically,
I mean, like I
Theoretically,
like
I
and
can
value
get
him,
that.
but at the end of the day, he's a fucking trash can that navigates me to a
theoretically,
next
I should be able to get him to protect me easier, even if it's through you, like vis-a-vis you.
You know, you certainly can try.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to try and pick things that are easier to do.
Okay.
Because every time when you're within a scene and you trigger one of these, you'll get an experience point, and then the next scene, the next time you trigger it, you get another experience point. So the
Yeah.
easier these are to trigger,
Yeah.
the more experience you're going to get, which allows you to level up faster, which
Yeah.
gives you more stuff to do.
That's more
cool.
fun when you get to trigger them too. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
How good are you with money, Map?
he's a
counting.
robot.
On the calculator,
He can count
basically.
stuff.
So that makes sense that he
let's
would
be clear. We don't give him any of the money
Okay.
I don't start with any money.
because he doesn't spend money.
Well, it's
He
advises.
just sits on it and lets it accrue interest.
Map
like a
advises me
good
when it
robot
comes to
should.
money.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Is that something that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah, because I can totally do that. Because
And again, I mean, when you pick these things,
Matt forgets
you
the
want
password
to try to
the game page all the
make
time.
them happen in the game. So just keep that in mind. So like, if you want to pick a relationship like that, you guys at some point need to have a conversation or some situation where that comes up. Otherwise, you're never going to get the XP from it.
Yeah.
So just keep
Yeah.
that.
I have an extensive amount of knowledge about pricing and stuff like
Financial
that.
systems,
Yeah,
yes.
financial systems, the galactic.
He does, actually.
Is this a good price for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Yeah, the
right.
galactic
See, that
pricing.
would be that'd be a reasonable way to trigger that. Sure.
It's like how much if we steal this, how much is it worth?
Exactly.
Well, currently it's
It doesn't have to be your money either. It doesn't say your money. This is when it comes to money, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be
Right.
your
Okay,
money. It
cool.
could be someone else's money. It could be exactly
gonna-
a price on something.
You're gonna be fucking doing a lot of weird shit. By the way.
So,
I heard
We're going to be doing a
Weird
lot of weird
shit.
shit. So currently our cargo is cows, and we're smuggling explosives inside the cows. Also, the cows are yummy to beat.
space cows.
space cows.
Space cows.
Sure. Anyway,
Blue is 6
all right. So the last thing I want to talk
20
about is the
tips.
drives.
You needed
Yes.
explosives.
So, stop talking. All right, so we're gonna talk about drives. So you're not gonna do anything with the drives yet, but I want to explain what they are. So they work similar to relationships in that you're gonna get experience for triggering them. So these are things that you're going to be able to do fairly often. So during the game, I'll introduce what's called a milestone, and I'm gonna use one of the index cards for that. So let's say that I introduce a milestone like rescue the princess from the pirates or whatever, right? So when I introduce a milestone, then you're gonna pick 2 of your drives. And then when you trigger those during the course of resolving that milestone, you're going to get XP for that as well.
Okay.
So you can change the drives every time I introduce a milestone. So you may go from rescue the princess to, infiltrate the bad guy's base as a separate milestone. Well, you may want to pick different drives.
Yeah.
If you think one's more combat oriented and the next one's more investigative, you may want to have different drives. So that's what Max was talking about. So you can change those every time there's a new milestone.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's basically it. So the experience system works as such. So we're going to be, because this is kind of a one-shot, we're going to be giving out double XP, which will allow you guys to level up a little bit faster. So every time I tell you to...
Twice as fast.
Right. So every time I tell you guys to mark XP, you're going to mark 2.
10 times as fast.
Look, you can do your own math.
Right. So you're going to mark 2. So typically you're going to be getting XP from triggering relationships and triggering drives.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to, I'll remind you a few times to check, but you'll need to make sure that you're marking that stuff when you do it. You can always, if you're not sure, just ask me. I'll let you know whether I think you did or not.
Hi,
Yes.
Captain.
How do you experience advance the ship?
It has an experience
Has-
tracker on the back.
Yes, it does, but how, like
Oh,
it doesn't have drives and stuff like that.
Right. So there's two. So the ship only gains XP from milestones. So
Gotcha.
when you guys resolve a milestone, the ship gets XP. Otherwise, you guys have to give it XP.
Okay.
It doesn't get XP on its
But
own.
we can just erase it off our sheet and give it to the ship.
Yes, and it can get advanced just like a character.
Yep.
So it
Okay.
can get more vitality. It can get new cool things. It can, yeah.
Can we make map and the ship into one being?
Yes.
At some point, just implant
Maybe,
my.
sure.
Map's head's just on the front.
There's a hood
This
ornament.
is so fast!
Why
Bowsprit.
did you do this to me?
So cold!
Hey,
Why did you give me the ability to feel cold if you're going to
Cruel bastards!
hey, there are only so many spots on the ship for things that we can feed. The robot doesn't need.
I
Those
don't
can go
eat.
on the outside.
Doesn't he?
That way we have plenty of space for the cows.
Doesn't it have fuel?
Yes.
But I'm not going in the gas tank.
Does Muffin and myself, do we need translators of some sort? Because since we're insects,
If you want to.
yeah,
Yes, that's what we have map for.
might as well we'll just have them over our mouths
Yeah, that's fine. You can have like a device or something. That's fine.
or down below.
The human mouth that fits over
I mean,
your
in
mandibles.
terms
That's my last game.
In
The
terms of the
human mouth
game,
that goes over my mandibles.
you're being an alien shouldn't be a detriment necessarily. So
Yeah.
we'll just say you have an
Stop it.
item or something that lets you do that.
Universal translator.
But you could lose, right?
So-
you could lose it, and then that'd be a problem.
Is it feasible that I'm able to understand them without the translators?
Yes.
Is that fine?
Oh, without their little translators? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think understand yes, talk no.
I can't say it, but I can hear what you guys
You
are
guys
saying.
can understand him.
Yeah, we can
Right,
understand
right,
him.
but
It's a Chewy Han
to make
relationship.
the clickety
Yeah,
clacks,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Like
he
I can't
can
do
say hi Bob, meaning like hi, my name is Bob, but he can't get past
But that's
like
you guys to him.
like him talking to us in insect.
I can
It's just
understand.
hard for him to
It's
make
like
all of
I
the
like
sounds.
this. It's like a Chewy Han
Right.
thing. You guys
So
are
you-
Chewy. I can hear everything you guys are saying.
Right.
I talk back in English. You understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
that
like
makes more
everyone
sense.
else doesn't kind of know what's going on, which will help us out in the future.
Yeah.
That I can talk to you guys in front of them.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
And we can speak English just as much as we want. We just
Yeah,
generally
that's what the
choose not
translator
to.
But
things
look,
for.
when we're talking
Yeah.
space bugs, it doesn't make sense for, or it's
Space
not,
bugs?
it's not realistic for him to be able to make all your
Space
noises.
vermin.
I can make some quick clacks, but
Right.
that's it.
They prefer the term
Me
space
Bob,
vermin.
me smash rock.
And let's not even get into him trying to do the pheromones.
Oh, no.
I mean, he can
My
produce
fart,
pheromones.
my fart reminds you of back home.
Only reason why you're allowed aboard the ship.
My fart reminds you.
Glorious smelling farts.
I fucking ripped one, and you're like, hey, that smells like my unpronounceable hometown.
I'm picking something up.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
What is that?
Okay, so you
That's
are.
celery?
All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. Do we have any questions from the chat people?
No, I don't know if we have anyone viewing right now, actually.
Nah.
Oh, lovely. All right.
There's 3 of us viewing, which I think it's just us 3.
No, I'm not on it anymore.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I think there was 3. Let me
Oh,
see.
we're playing Magic the Gathering. We should be on a talk show or something like that, shouldn't it?
There are 3 viewers.
They come and expecting Magic the Gathering. Just a bunch of people playing
Not
some
quite.
weird space game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna update that actually right now.
Okay.
Not
Well,
Magic
that's fine.
the
We can take a short.
Yeah, I'm gonna. My mom just called, so I'm gonna call.
That's
her
fine.
Put her on.
Yeah. Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
Mom.
We're
back. You guys don't need to talk to my mom.
we're summoning demons.
Yeah. So for the stream out there, my last character, I also played an Insectoid once, and one of my devices I created were a pair of human lips that go over my mandibles. That looked exactly like Eugene's lips.
Why? Is that what you use?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how I talk to people. I had these human lips that went over my mandibles.
But why did it look like my lip?
I don't think you described them as looking like Eugene because he wasn't in the game.
I don't
No,
remember
that's
that.
what I imagined.
Oh,
I said they were
in your
large.
mind.
They were
Remember-
like large plush lips.
Oh, okay. Plush. I see. All right. All right.
It's not wrong.
Yeah. Luxurious.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, just for our viewers, they could see
pillow.
Eugene's. Yeah, pillowy,
Pillow.
pillowy lips.
So the translation error is transporting cows, space cows. Okay.
Yes, they're space cows, and we're smuggling things inside their.
So the space cows themselves aren't what you're smuggling. Like they're not illegal.
No, they're the things in the cargo bay pooping,
Gotcha.
and that he is responsible for cleaning and feeding as the new member of our crew.
Now, how many head of space cow do you have on board?
I have no idea. How many can fit in a cargo?
Well, it's a small ship, so I mean, are they the size of a regular cow? Are
No,
they
they're all like mini
no,
cows.
because we need to have
mini
enough
cows.
explosives. What do you
They're all
think?
the
Should we have
size
little
of
mini
bugs.
cows?
Yes,
They're
we
like-
have-
They're all the size of
They're all
bugs.
mini
They're like the
cows
size of a
packed full
Shetland
with
pony.
plastic explosives.
They're like the size of a Shetland pony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
All right. I see.
Yep.
So you're smuggling explosives
Are they-
in their innards.
Okay, can we at least like have like decent conditions for them though, or they're just all?
Oh no.
Oh, can we please?
They don't have
So
to
just to
live,
be
I
clear,
don't
we
think.
have a few that are clearly marked as not being filled with explosives, and they're dinner every night,
Well, that's,
raw and fresh.
We still keep them in.
Actually, you might want to not eat those in case someone inspects your ship for some reason, because then you can just give them these and say, "See,
Yeah.
here's some cows." It's up to you.
I didn't say we were going to eat all of them.
Well, we
How many
can
do you
keep them in
have?
decent condition.
I mean,
You
let's
probably have 24 if they're small.
Yeah, let's say at least 24.
Oh, we'll say I have 24. All right.
Yeah. So half of them are marked and half of them are
space
unmarked.
cows.
That's fine.
and how are they marked? Do I know they're marked?
I don't know
I
if you know.
spray
them
painted them with X's.
See that X?
What? What?
There are girl cows and boy cows, and it's up to you to figure out which ones are filled with explosives, or
Yo,
if there
you
are
guys
even
know these aren't cows; they're fucking dogs, right?
They don't know they're insects.
They don't know. They're clearly dogs, and they have no idea. And I try to convince them they're fucking dogs. You
They're
idiot.
Shetland pony-sized basset hounds with explosives. Yes.
Hey,
Those ears.
if it
those
looks
not
like a
cows.
dog and it moves like
Yeah.
a dog, it's definitely a cat.
It's definitely a cow.
A cat? Sure. Why not? All right.
We don't care.
So, why are you transporting these explosives? What are you hoping to do with it?
He likes blowing shit up. So he's our.
Why are you
he's-
trying to sell the explosives? Why are you hiding them inside the cows?
We're gonna go blow up an abandoned space station.
For the hell of it?
Well, I'm gonna
So
scavenge the
it's
part of
parts.
the mission that he's got.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
okay.
like-
he's the operative of the noble or merchant house,
Okay.
and we're the smuggling ship.
So you're not
the-
so much smugglers as salvage.
I'm
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're not always
we
if you're just
smuggle,
using
we
it to-
salvage.
It's illegal salvaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, gotcha. Okay. But you're not like trying to sell the explosives to somebody, is what I was
No.
getting at. Okay.
No,
gotcha.
we're just
Okay.
making sure nobody notices that we're
Yeah, we're not
carrying-
supposed to have that much on our.
And so, right now, I see
They're
you
highly
asking a lot of
I mean,
questions.
even if they were
Yeah.
legal, we're still smuggling them out of general. We like to smuggle shit.
Putting explosives in
cows.
cows is highly illegal.
Correct. All right.
Something I'm noticing that's going on that I kind of want to inform the audience or anyone in YouTube who's watching this later on. I'm hearing a lot of questions that you're asking as a game master,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of back and forth. And I'm guessing this is all to construct the narrative later
Correct.
on, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, are there certain, like, for someone who's like a neophyte to being a game master, are there specific kind of groups or categories of questions that you always ask?
Well, so the first thing you want to know is, so the characters are going to start off in a situation. And so as the game master, I need to decide what that is. That's one of my jobs, is to decide how the game starts.
Mhm.
So you typically don't want to start the game in some passive situation where like you're all in a tavern or something, or you're all wandering some road for no reason. I mean, you want to give somebody a situation where they can start making decisions.
It's in the you're in the middle of something.
Exactly. So
Okay.
it could be a situation like the beginning of Star Wars where you're being chased by some giant cruiser. It could be you're being, some gangsters want to steal your stuff. I mean, it could be whatever situation. So what I need to find out is what you guys are trying to do, and then how I can weave that into a bit of narrative that I have ready for this.
Okay.
So I have, basically, I created some notes that may or may not come into play. We'll see. But this gives me a basis to start off with. So what I've done is created a situation, and then I just have to figure out how you guys fit into it.
Okay.
So that's how that works.
That is a critical thing about this type of system too, is that when you do, as a GM, when you create notes and stuff like that, you have to be very willing to ignore them completely,
Yeah.
based on what the players actually want to do. So, and you'll see that, like in D&D, or some of the more traditional role-playing games, you plan everything out, and you plan it out way ahead of time, and there's a lot of what's called lonely fun work, where you're building dungeons, and you're building all this stuff, you're creating all these monsters ahead of time, and you've spent hours doing this,
Yeah.
right? In a game like this, you're spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
I
to come up with
probably spent an hour just because I wanted to look some stuff up on the internet. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to do that much work. You can do no work at all. When I was on this podcast with one of our friends, Zach, I did zero prep. I did no prep at all. I just showed up, they made their characters, and I made up something on the fly. And you can totally do that. That's legit.
I've zero prepped this game a number of times.
Yep. So, I actually, this is the prep that I did for the cast one. I'm just reusing it because they hardly got into any of it, so I can just reuse it.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so what I want to do first is determine the situation that you guys are in. So you're traveling through space. You're looking for some ships to salvage for money. Is that the idea?
A space
Well, we're going
station
to
that we're
an
doing.
abandoned space station.
Okay.
It was abandoned for some reason. We don't know why, but we know it's
Right.
there.
But it's an imperial ship or an imperial station.
Yeah.
But it's
We're
some
not
space
supposed to
station.
do
Yeah.
What do you mean by Imperial?
Well, it's not.
Or some
It's
government
a
owns it.
ex-military space station that
We
we
don't
shouldn't
own
be
it.
screwing around with.
We're technically not supposed to salvage it.
Basically,
but we
you
can.
guys heard about it before the game begins. There's some abandoned space station in System X. Let's go get it before someone else.
And do we have the
does.
cows already, or is that what?
You guys have it. It's on there.
We bought some cows and
So
we
one of
bought
the-
some explosives and other utilities that we shoved up
How'd you-
inside the cows.
How'd you put them in the cows?
He just
Surgery.
Did. He just did.
Scientist.
It doesn't matter.
Science.
So the
We
important
leave
thing.
that. Yeah.
Science, bitch.
So the important thing about this kind of a game is that you guys
For narrative.
establish things. As long as they don't contradict each other, then they're true. Before the game begins. So if you guys say you're insectoids, then you are. If you say you're transporting explosives, then you're transporting. If you say that you're going after his sister or whatever, who's in the merchant house, then you are. And it doesn't interfere with anything I have, and even if it does, I'll just throw it out. Because it's more important that your guys' stuff is true than the stuff that I prepared ahead of time. So luckily, it doesn't interfere with anything I have, so that's beautiful. But if it did, that's not a problem.
And also for newer GMs, could you, anyone who's going to watch this later on, what I'm wondering is, could you highlight some times that it would be useful to, hey, this is probably when you should use the cue card if you're new at this. Does that make sense?
A cue card. What
Well,
do you mean?
I mean that.
Oh, the
what I'm
index
saying-
cards?
So the
Yeah.
the index cards are like kind of
No,
the goal.
he's saying the stuff you've
My
prepped.
prep, you mean?
Well, I'm saying like the bigger picture. You mentioned at the very beginning that there are sometimes people who write stuff on the index cards.
Right.
I just want you to make that very blatant
Yeah.
throughout the process. Like, hey, I'm writing this
Well,
down. Why?
I can do this.
Why? Right. Maybe.
The camera's. Oh, that's one extra. We can
Oh
see
no,
this.
you can still see it. It's
Okay.
just
I can't see anything.
we don't have it on
That's fine.
maximized.
Yeah, I'll just. These are colored, so I'll just hold them up and you can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
just-
what I'm doing with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because for someone who's like new or wanting to be a GM,
Yeah.
they may be able to emulate or like kind of know this is why I'm writing this down.
Yeah. So if you're, I'll do that. So if you were brand new at running the game, but you've run other games, what I would suggest is that a lot of what you've done before running other games will translate to this. So what you're going to be doing, what I've done is I've set up a situation. So just like if you're running D&D, you say, well, there's this kingdom and there's orcs threatening it, and the king's evil, and you're trying to do X, Y, and Z. Like that stuff translates perfectly. The things like Steve was talking about, where you have to do a bunch of extra prep, like dungeons and stuff, I don't really have to do that because a lot of the action in this game is abstract, and so I don't need maps, I don't need figures, I don't need that stuff. You can, if you really want to, you can bring those into the game. I haven't needed to, but if you want visual aids like that, that's fine. There aren't rules about movement and that kind of stuff, so you don't
like,
need to have that stuff.
Doing a dungeon crawl or something like
If
that.
you
is that
wanted to,
something
you
that's-
could, but I would recommend if you're using a location, do a location that only has a couple of really interesting locations within it. So like I ran a game where they were in a space station and it was getting ready to explode and they had to get out of it. So I named a bunch of interesting locations they might want to deal with, but I didn't draw out every little closet and every little supply room, and there's no reason for that. Like I only care about the stuff you guys are going to be interested in. So like the control room, engineering, life support system, that stuff you guys care about.
Right, the areas of interest as
Escape
opposed to
pods,
the
right.
math of how to get there,
Yeah.
and how many
How to get there.
And
5-foot cubes. And,
Yeah, and throughout the narrative here, it's like, so he came up to the space station, right? When I say, okay, well, I'm going to run to the supply closet to grab a broom.
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to push
That's
something
called the cow
higher.
poop.
Yeah. That just exists now.
Yeah.
Like when we come,
Yeah,
this
right.
stuff that throughout the narrative,
non-mechanical,
when you're
basic
throwing
narrative
stuff out, like
just happens,
you
and
can't
that's
say
it.
I immediately killed that guy because trying to kill that guy is a move. So
Well, and
it
there's risk
triggers
involved
something,
too.
right?
Him grabbing a broom, unless the closet's filled with explosives, is not
Yeah.
dangerous.
Which it probably is.
Or the door's locked.
for
Or
that
there's
Yeah.
a
closet.
bad
Yeah,
guy
but
in there.
yeah,
right.
Yeah, if
Broom
there's
closet is also the engine.
if,
Wait, does he understand you chippering too? Then I guess
Oh
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just fine.
Can he chip her back?
yeah,
Okay.
because I can
Fully
You
programmed.
can emulate those.
yeah,
to
because
service
it's all emulation.
Beetles.
Okay, cool.
Another important aspect is time. So Rory can say there's trade-offs in this game in time. So Rory can say, all right, if you're going to run the control room, then this is going to happen.
Okay.
Like you don't have enough time to do both of these things. Run the
Right, you may
control
have to
room
make
and
a
run to the
decision.
cargo bay.
Yeah.
And he can use time to.
Yeah. Especially on a partial success. So a lot of times you'll be like, what's going on right now? And you roll, maybe you got a partial success. You'll be like, well, these two things are both happening simultaneously. You can't really fix both unless you split up.
Yeah.
Or you dedicate resources
Right.
to one or the other. So there will be a lot of that because that's one of the fun parts about the game is making you guys make decisions.
Okay.
So, okay. So anyway, so let's get started. So you guys are on board your ship, which is the translation error. So you guys do know about an abandoned space station in this system called Zeta Hydrus. Zeta Hydrus is a star system and is located about 280 light years from Earth. It's composed of a white subgiant star, 4 rocky planets, 2 gas planets, and 2 asteroid belts. So that's the physical composition of the system. It is a known system. It's on the fringes of human-controlled space. It's an political area known as the Terran Alliance. I should probably point out, so there's a default setting in the game called Star Patrol, and we'll be using that just for kind of the basics of the setting.
And that'll come with the game manual when you finish it.
Yes, so the core rules
Yeah,
does
fix
come
that.
with a setting called Star Patrol. It is not heavily enforced in the rules, but there are examples and there's technology and alien species and stuff that is from that setting. If you really love the setting, can't live without it, at some point I'm going to produce that as a supplement, like an actual setting guide. But in terms of the core rules, it's just there for ease of use. If you decide you want to use the Star Trek universe or whatever, you can replace all that stuff. There's nothing in there that, oh my god, it's going to break the game. You may have to tinker with it a bit, but that's cool. Anyway, so Zeta Hydrus is a real star system in our real universe. So Star Patrol exists in our real universe. Zeta Hydrus, like I said, 280 light years from Earth. The rocky planets that you need to worry about are Hydra Major, Hydra Minor, Lagos, and Honora Major. You don't need to write those down because I'll tell you if you
Are
forget.
those inhabited?
No, none of these are inhabited. Well, let me back up a minute. The rocky planets, only one of them has an atmosphere that you would want to live on. Even though they're rocky planets, they're not necessarily inhabitable.
Right.
But they may have orbital space stations, or they could have like little domes or something on the surface. So yeah, I mean, there's no native humanoid species that lives in the star system, but there's a number of places that are inhabited. Okay. In fact, Honora Major is a water planet, and it has a landmass on it, but it's small. So there's a city on it that you guys could go to. So your characters would know that Zeta Hydrus was the site of some very prolonged and protracted space battles in the past. There was a civilization that lived here, and they were driven out. During the course of these wars, the number of things were left behind, like space stations that are abandoned. So there you go. So you know of one
How long
of these.
ago were they abandoned?
We'll say less than 50 years.
Okay, so there's a good chance that there could still be stuff.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if nothing has damaged them, they could totally still be there, right? So you guys have decided to go to Zeta Hydrus, and you know approximately where this abandoned space station is, assuming it hasn't moved since the last time somebody pinpointed its coordinates. You may have to look around a little bit for it, but that's what you know. So why don't we have our robot use the navigation system to enter the system
Okay.
from wherever you were. I don't know, it doesn't matter where you were.
So are we
before.
other navving in?
Correct.
Okay.
We'll say that you were somewhere near Earth, and so you're using the other nav. So the other nav is cool. So what this does is
Some miniature cows on Earth.
yeah. So you have a matter and an antimatter chamber, and what it does is they combine to create a black hole inside the ship. It collapses the ship into the black hole. It goes through this other dimension called other space, and then you appear on the other side.
Yeah.
So you don't physically travel the distance. You just go through this weird thing and come out on the other side. So that's what he's doing. He's rolling to see if he can successfully do this.
Don't fuck up.
Yes, that would be bad.
And is this a robot move?
9, 10, 11
Yeah,
with my
so-
plus.
Yeah, so there's an other nav move in
Yeah.
the special
Special
moves,
moves.
Oh, okay.
but the robot gets an upgraded version of that in his. So it works just like that, but it has better options. So what'd you get total?
11.
So he's rolling and adding his intelligence, right?
Yeah, actually 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12.
Okay. So he got a complete success, as you'll see on the little chart there.
My man.
So what happens on a complete success?
We didn't die.
No.
We arrive on time without issues.
Okay. So if you had gotten a partial...
And if someone's there, we get the drop on them.
Okay.
But we also burn one of our uses of the other nav, which
Yes.
only has 3.
Right. So those can
Until
be
we get more
replenished,
fuel.
though. It doesn't burn out. It just... When you run out of uses, you have to...
Go buy
replenish
some more
it.
gas.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Which hopefully doesn't
Items-
cost full 4.
Yeah, so items that have uses can always be replenished. If it says consumable, that means it's gone once you use it. So like there's like a healing potion sort of thing in the game, and that's just used up as soon as you use it. So, all right, so you successfully got there. Now, just for funds, what would have happened if you gotten a partial success on that move?
So in a partial, you arrive at your destination, but you choose one, and you get 3 choices. It takes twice as long as planned. Someone at the destination has a drop on you. The main must be repaired at a cost of 1 credit or 1 barter.
So what would happen was if he'd gotten a partial, he would have had to pick.
So that's a 6 to 9 on the
So
dice.
your move allows you to do what?
It just adds a +1.
Oh, okay. I think it used to be different, and I changed it because it was too wordy. But anyway, yeah. So he gets a +1 to that move all the time, which is nice. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys arrive in Zeta Hydrus. You notice that you are within visual of this space station. What's the space station called?
Alpha 1.
Alpha 1? That's kind of boring.
Alpha 2. No,
The boring station.
The boring.
It used to be used to
Give it a
bore
cool
into
name.
planets.
yeah, it was literally boarding the plane.
The Doom Cube.
The Doom Cube, sure. All right. fine.
Which, I like
That's
the
more
idea.
interesting.
What about Fort Thort?
No. Let's go with the Doom Cube.
I like the
All
idea
usual.
that the designer named it that, but there's nothing Doom or any, and it's not
Yeah,
even a
it's
cube.
not a
It's not a
cube.
cube.
Not a cube,
And-
it's like a
and-
sphere.
yeah, they're just like, why did you name it this? He's like, I just thought it sounded cool.
Original
Alright.
design was a cube.
So you
Yeah, they
can
changed
Cut corners.
all right. So you can physically
Literally.
So you can physically see that the Doom Cube is there. You can see it. There's some other space debris around, but nothing that you can't probably just steer around.
I scuttle over to the sensors.
Okay.
I pushed
Start
hold on
pushing
just a second.
buttons.
I am gonna tinker with the sensors to reroute some systems.
Oh, one more thing real quick about the mechanics that I forgot to mention. So scenes. So this game uses a mechanic called scenes. So each scene is defined as you guys are doing a particular thing in a particular place in a certain amount of time. So it's kind of nebulous, but it makes sense. So right now you guys are in a scene. You're investigating this
I can't
Doom
tinker
Cube.
with the sensors.
So if you guys go into the Doom Cube, or you go somewhere else, or some long period of time passes, you'll be in a new scene. There are things in the game that change when scenes end or new scenes begin. So just keep that in mind. Okay.
I can't tinker with the sensor, so go right ahead. You get we get a sensor +1.
While he is
Well, he's already doing something. So you
Yeah,
have
he's
to wait.
doing the scan.
This is actually a move, so it's a ship
Yeah.
move.
So he's
Vessel move.
using a basic vessel move called sensor scan. So it uses the ship's sensors, which are what?
+1.
+1. Okay. So he's gonna roll and just add 1.
8.
Okay.
So
Very
I
solid partial
let's
success.
see. When you scan something, location, ship, etc., using your vessel's sensors, roll plus sensor. Let me see. Any success, you have to reveal something interesting on one item.
So
from
you're
the
I
list
assume you're
below.
scanning the Doom Cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to scan for hazards
Okay.
on the Doom Cube.
So because he got a partial success, he gets to choose one option on the list. If you've gotten a complete success, I think you get to choose 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're doing hazards. Okay. The Doom Cube, the hazards, you do notice that it does not have any power, which is probably reasonable if it's been sitting there for 50 years. You think it does have a reactor in it, but it may just be powered off or ran out of fuel or whatever. But you do notice that there's some kind of anomaly in space near it. There's something unusual happening nearby, but you can't. Your sensors are having a hard time locking onto what that is.
Okay.
So again, you're within visual of the Doom Cube. It's far away because you don't want to warp in right next to the damn thing. So you're
Right.
you can see it, but it's like I
pretty
said,
far.
there's debris of space battles and stuff all over the place.
I'm gonna scan my database to see if I know about that anomaly.
Sure. So you're using a move called Database of Places and Things? Okay. Now, here's the thing. So you don't know what the anomaly is, so that move may not make sense for that, because that's more of like, oh, we found this new piece of technology. What is it? Like, you don't know what the anomaly is. What you may want to use is Analyze, because that allows you to ask
Okay.
questions about the situation that may make more sense in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. And you can
roll
use
plus
understand.
race.
Once you know what it is, you can roll understand. Oh, that's a blah blah blah.
All right, so that's 8 then.
Okay, so you got an 8. That's a partial success. So on analyze, that allows you to ask a question. There's a list of specific questions you can ask.
If we don't deal with, like, if I don't act, what will happen?
On act about the anomaly.
Yes.
So you using your sensors and stuff, you determine that the Doom Cube is moving towards the anomaly. Slowly, but not that slowly. Like if you guys sit here for some period of time, it will move closer to the anomaly. You think it's picking up speed slightly too.
Okay, so it's being sucked. So if I don't do anything, it'll be sucked into the anomaly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we only got so much
Whatever
time
that
to go in there
does.
and
Like you don't know
explore.
what the consequences of that
So
are.
Doom Cube, I assume, is a very, very large ship, and we can't slow it down
it's
with
a
our
space
little wee
station.
engines.
No, it's a space station,
Yeah.
so it's huge
Right.
compared to you guys.
Yeah, so we can't do something
could
like
go into
drive
it
up to it
yourself,
and
yeah.
try and slow it down just with our engines.
Do
Because
we
we
have
got this
maps of
wee
this?
little ship.
Maps of.
Do we have maps of the Doom Cube?
That's a good question. So that would be an understand. I think that'd be a good thing for our robot to see. Why don't you roll understand to see if you have a map of it, or you have your database. Your database move is basically understand, right?
Yeah, effectively.
So that'd be.
And this would be a placer piece of
Totally,
technology.
yeah.
8, 9, 10.
Okay, so on a complete success, what happens?
GM must tell me something useful and interesting. And I had +1 forward dealing with it.
Okay,
By the way, I got another +1 forward on
okay.
the anomaly.
So,
You want to explain +1 forwards?
yeah, so you got a +1 forward from Analyze about the anomaly, and then he has +1 forward with the space station. Okay. So certain moves will give you a +1 forward or a +1 ongoing. These are situational bonuses. And what happens is a +1 forward is a bonus to the next time you deal with a certain thing. So in his case, he has a +1 forward to dealing with the anomaly, and he has a +1 forward when dealing with the Doom Cube. Okay, so the two situational modifiers you're going to have are forward, which means the next time you do X. Ongoing is the other kind of bonus you might have, and that is you get a +1 or whatever the modifier is until a condition. So you might have a +1 until the end of the scene, or you might have a +1 until you take damage, or a +1 until the shields go down, or whatever it is. So those are the two kinds of modifiers that there are. You can also have minuses forward and minuses ongoing as well. So
I got a question.
yes.
Is this him getting us to this? Would that be considered a secret place?
I don't think where you are is secret. If you went into the space station, that might be secret. But right now you're just in space, so it's not secret.
So we might be able to.
But did he get us there in a hurry?
He did.
Indeed. That
Yeah.
will trigger.
He didn't do the.
A
He didn't have to
relationship.
pick the option where it was slow. So we'll say
Yep.
yes.
I needed map to get me somewhere in a hurry.
So he gets 2 XP for that because that's a relationship he had.
Oh, and I took him to a new place.
You did. You totally did. So he gets 2
Oh,
XP
yeah.
for that. So yeah, make sure you guys are occasionally checking those.
And then we
if
can
you
trigger yours once we go in the.
Yeah, I can
once
ask you how much.
Yeah, once you get in. Yeah.
Did you clean the cow poop today?
I'm like, time's running short. I scuttle off to the hold. I'm gonna prep the bovine bombs
All right.
for expulsion.
All right.
And I
That's
head
not
down
what
to
they-
the hold.
Wait.
That's not what we had planned.
All right. So anyway, he goes into
Can
the
you
hole.
lock the
So,
door?
so right
on
now,
that?
is everyone paying attention to Alfonso?
Alfonso.
I think
Is
so.
he- is he
that
going
that
off?
would be.
We are.
Yeah.
You two
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And Alfonso's okay. So I want to just pilfer something right now. Just a weird. Maybe I'm a little bit of a kleptomaniac.
Okay.
So I want to. Is
You
there
gonna steal my Roomba?
No, what do you?
I mean, what the-
What do you
something
got?
I can throw in the pocket? Something I can throw in my pocket. Like how would I go about this?
Are you stealing my coffee mug?
No, that's too personal. Something.
I mean, you could steal. I don't know what kind of stuff do you have on the ship that he could steal, like supplies
Cow's
and stuff?
coffee mug?
Well, I mean, you guys might
Roombas?
have like emergency
Lots
supplies.
of Roombas?
Yeah, probably like some,
You can
some
have like some
MRE,
emergency
Cow
supplies and
food?
stuff
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, like food, like I
Lots
don't
of
know what
kibble?
else- Yeah, I don't know what else you'd want to steal.
Because, both the beetles and the cows are eating the kibble?
Really?
Yes.
Well, you need something.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Are there any maps or anything like that? Are there? Okay,
mean,
are
they're
there
probably
any
in the
maps of
computer.
it?
They're not physical maps. They're probably on the computer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's an emergency evacuation map hanging on the wall. I mean,
No, I
it's
was trying to steal. Maybe I can steal some information about their hometown or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff in the
Family
databases
history.
you can.
Oh, do you have a diary?
Yeah.
You could like download.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you have a
like,
diary?
You could download stuff from.
you've already found out that the password for all of the not super secure parts of our computer is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you could just take their their diary or their journals or whatever from the computer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that.
So what are you trying to accomplish?
I am trying to use Alfonso as a distraction.
Oh yeah.
Because he's going off and they're occupied about him because he's scuttling off worrying about
Okay.
that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Is that too? Okay, so roll 2d6.
Well, you don't need to roll. I mean, you're not in danger. So no one's really paying attention to you because they're busy doing ship stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't have to roll.
But you did use them as a distraction.
You did.
So I get the...
So mark
You
the
get
XP.
2 XP for that. Yeah.
Yep. And you have a nice copy of the ship's log.
Yeah, there's an XP thing on the front.
on the
You
other
can
side.
just- on the bottom. Just mark the boxes.
It's filled with entries
Oh, just,
like
just one mark?
Roomba
Yeah.
failed,
Well,
two,
trying
'cause
to
you get
clean
2
up.
boxes.
Normally it'd be
house.
1, but we're doing double XP. So
And you notice that we've been carrying cows for a very long time.
You can leave
Okay,
the name of my
So do I have do I have all the
Apparently
ship
our
information or
regular-
just the diary? Or just like...
Smuggling
The diaries.
routine.
I don't know. What did you want?
I just wanted to I just wanted to know more about their family so I can sneak in and get a sister a
Sure.
little better.
You
Sure.
can find the name of my sister.
Yeah, yeah.
Her name is Maybell. That's how I refer to her.
That's the rough translation anyway.
Yeah.
Of pheromone trails and clicks.
All right.
I have to put
So-
something in the computer.
All right. So, what is your character again? Sorry.
Ma'am, the scientist.
Your character. What's his name?
Alfonso.
Alfonso. All right. So, what is Alfonso doing in the hold?
I'm prepping the cows.
How are you doing that?
I'm
Lighting.
lashing them and
Are you
arranging them up.
basically getting them to be fragmuts?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for explosion because you have to blow a hole.
So, what is the intention here? Like, you're going to load them onto the space station and they're going to blow up?
Yeah,
How are you loaded? Like, are you going to physically
Through a
push
ramp,
them
yeah.
onto the? Okay.
yeah, we're just gonna push them on.
Okay.
Let them meander around for a little while and then.
They're gonna run into all the traps for
Why
us.
do we need to do this?
Entertainment.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
it. We're just here to blow shit up.
That's a ridiculous question.
No, I think you're trying to get salvage to salvage.
Yeah.
Right. We're
yeah.
trying to salvage the engine.
we don't
So why
have-
do we need to blow it up? It's going toward an
an
anomaly.
We don't
Or
have we don't have
computer
time to
or
take it
something.
apart piece by piece. We gotta
Right.
get to the
Right. Well, that's true.
get to the
Oh,
core.
Yes. So
Okay,
this
got
allows
this-
us to.
okay.
These are our door opening frag cows.
Okay, that's good.
I'm gonna put my
How's that?
spacesuit on.
They're very good at opening doors by walking up to them.
Well, and
exploding.
the important thing is the power's off, so that
Right.
means that some of the doors may not open without something
Yeah.
like those. So that's
Yeah.
actually not a
Right.
bad idea.
And these
Okay.
are trained frag cows.
I'm not carrying all
Wow.
those bombs. You crazy?
By trained, I mean, he pokes them with a
Cows
stick.
aren't real trainable. All right, that's fine. Okay, so you're basically like getting them like lined up or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
well, I'm
okay.
arranging them so when we
Yeah,
can
somebody-
dock
You're
it
arranging
What
them
does
by
it say?
Are you arranging them by
Oh,
height?
height.
Hi,
I'm
stream.
arranging them by height,
Yes.
by
It's
explosive.
like millimeter of height difference. All right, they go.
They're all clones, so
Yeah,
we're
they're
having
all
an
very
issue.
different.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cloned cows too?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah. At
Space
this point
cows.
on Earth, we're cloning
space
midget
cows.
cows.
Sure. Okay, so now what? So you've done all that. What about
Jupiter's orbit.
what's your character's name again, Max? Mermit?
Method.
Like morphine?
Method. Like
Method.
Mephit.
M-E-P-H-I.
Method.
M-E-P-H-I.
Like muffin?
No.
M-E-P.
I'm gonna go
Spell
with
it.
muffin.
Spell it.
MEPHIN.
Muffin.
Muffin.
Yes.
Muffin.
Muffin.
Muffin man.
Muffin top.
Muffin
Hey,
top.
Kieran and Logos. We have 2 people in chat.
Yay!
Dude, no, I'm Logos.
Oh, you're Logos.
Yay!
Hi, Logos.
We have one
I
person.
forgot. Oh, it's Kieran. Sorry, we're not playing MTG. We're playing
It's
Infinite
updated
Galaxies.
already.
Galaxies.
Yeah, it's updated. It's on talk shows now.
So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to answer them.
Yeah.
I think Kieran was here for the
Yeah, he will,
recap
yeah.
at.
Yeah, I think so.
Tabletop,
I don't- yeah. Okay. So all right. So what is Muffin doing?
Watching the sensors.
Do you want to get closer to the Doom?
Yep,
cube?
just
okay.
basically working with him to get us closer, keeping on the sensors, scanning the anomaly, making sure.
Finding a docking hole we can use.
You guys want to try another sensor scan on the anomaly now that you know it's there to see what it is?
Not really.
No. Okay.
I appreciate the GM suggestion, but no.
That's
I
fine. That's
am
fine.
slowly nudging us in. We're working. He's working on getting us to a docking port, and I'm working on.
Why are you so bold? You can get us killed. Just do the scan.
I'll do it. Just,
All right.
I can.
Without his knowledge,
Well,
are
I
you?
don't
yeah.
give a shit. I
It's-
don't.
Are you?
Yeah, he doesn't care, but I do. It's part of my job
All right. That's
Right.
because
I think you need to remember that I'm the incompetent captain that's just really an engineer, and he's the guy that actually runs the ship.
Oh, so you just don't.
There's
you
a
don't
whole
see this
shtick
shit.
here.
I make up for all of his.
You're like
There's
the
an
overly
intentional
tired.
shtick that
You're
we're
like
trying
the
to pull
overly
here.
tired office manager. Like, I can't deal with this right now.
Meffin deals with the danger he knows about.
Right.
The
Nothing
major
just
he
fixes
doesn't
the
know
ship.
about-
Yeah, but I follow. I do all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I deal with all
It's
the.
like-
All I really do is fix the ship.
So are you rolling understand maybe now?
Yeah, I
Okay,
understand
that's
at this
fine.
point.
Yep.
Unless, can I use database again for this?
You
at
still
this
don't know
point?
what it is
Okay,
yet.
so I'll just understand it at this
That's
point.
fine. That's fine. Well, that's the same move. So yeah, you can use database. That's fine.
All right.
Just move things along.
And you got
10,
the ongoing
or
plus
12. No. Yeah, 12 at this point.
Okay, so complete success does what?
It doesn't matter.
11, I'm sorry.
Complete success does what?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
fine.
get. You tell me something useful and interesting, and I get a +1 on it. Forward.
Okay, so the interesting and useful thing is that the anomaly is a black hole.
I figured as much.
Yeah, that's what I figured,
Interesting. And so the Doom Cube is slowly being pulled into it.
Yeah.
When
Can
your
I
ship,
tell how longish?
Hold on. When your ship gets close enough to it, it could also get pulled into the black hole.
So how long do we have left?
Well, that's a good question. You're not 100% sure. The bigger the object is, the slower it gets pulled in.
Yeah.
So the Doom Cube will get pulled in before your guys.
But our
or
mass
after
is
your guys'
pretty
ship.
tiny.
So we need to come around the other side of the
Yeah.
Doom Cube.
You'll
We're
have to
pulled
be
into the Doom
careful.
Cube.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
going in
it's
the
not.
bunghole.
It's not so close that you're going to just get whipped right into it, but at some point you'll have to be careful. Yeah.
But if we put it behind the
Well,
Doom Cube,
we need
like
to-
right
If we-
up there.
If we dock on this side,
Yeah.
the
Right.
thing we have to worry about is that we need to get in and out as quick as possible because
Well,
At
as soon as
this
we get to
point,
a
we
safe
can
enough
still
distance,
get
we
away.
just pop the other nav and get out.
right. Yeah, well.
Well,
Right.
unless the other nav will interact with the black hole that's there.
yeah, there could be complications there.
All right. So you think that the Doom Cube has about an hour before it gets pulled in?
All right, so we have about like
15, 20 minutes.
we have about 20-30 minutes total that we can be there, and we need to get out.
Bugatti, put your spacesuit on. Get ready.
It's been on, motherfucker.
We gotta get in.
You just wear it all the time.
It's been on.
It's a velour.
It's a full-
velour spacesuit.
It's been on.
good.
Let's do this. I have no real body.
The body.
It's just a spaceship
Oh, I forgot.
and a fucking head and all goopy inside.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're gelatinous, so it doesn't matter. It's just like
So do you
blowing this shit
you
up.
gonna plot us a nice course here? Get
yeah,
you
yeah.
going
I can
faster?
get us landed. I mean, I can get us into the
Maximum speed, robot.
Okay, I'll do a safe speed to dock us.
Docking.
Okay. So I'm going to introduce the first milestone of the game, and the milestone is extricate valuables from the Doom Cube.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our first goal.
So that's your first milestone. So this is based on what you guys told me you're trying to do.
Yep.
Okay. And this serves two purposes. Number one, it's a gentle reminder in case the game goes kind of pear-shaped that this is the kind of thing you guys are trying to
What does it
do.
mean pear-shaped?
Shit, it goes
Unexpected,
Why is
goes
it
off on a
pear-shaped?
tangent. That's just what's
wrong. I don't know. It's an English thing.
I like
Yeah.
big bottoms. I don't
Well,
see
anyway.
anything wrong with it.
And the other thing, well, I don't know about that. So the other thing is the milestone is a game mechanic. When you resolve this milestone, you get XP for it. In addition, now that I've introduced a milestone, you guys can mark 2 of your drives.
Noise.
So given that you have this as a milestone, extricating valuables, you don't know what that's going to entail. You hopefully have an idea,
So
and mark 2 drives. And you can say what they are.
I'm gonna investigate new and interesting place. This place.
Yep.
And prove my innate superiority to biologicals.
Sure, why not?
I'm going to modify my vessel to improve its performance and pilot the ship through dangerous territory.
Okay.
Mine, I'm going to take a valuable commodity for future use and create a modified device critical to the team's success.
Would this
Okay.
be a dangerous place? Or is it CD and dangerous?
It's it's dangerous.
So it wouldn't proc that.
You're in it for
Because it says
CD.
It becomes seedy when you go there. Now,
explore. It says explore a CD and dangerous place.
yes, that's fine. For the
Okay.
purposes, I'm not going to be a stickler on that stuff. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
And then I'm going to steal an item critical to the mission at hand.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because no matter what, taking it from there is stealing.
Right. The important thing about that is critical. So you can't just go steal a gallon of milk. I mean, it has to be something that you guys need.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like constantly.
So I'm going to get ready and I'm going to tinker with the ship right now.
Why it's called pear-shaped. It doesn't have anything to do with big bottoms.
Hold on. Okay. So
Oh.
you guys are before you do that. You guys are getting closer to the Doom Cube, and from around the space station come 4 little ships.
Balls. Can I database them to see if I can
You
identify?
totally
it?
can.
Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so tell me something interesting and yeah, just tell me something interesting. It's up to me to use it.
Okay, hold on.
And if it triggers a drive, add
Get the
+1
fragments
ongoing to
ready.
move. To moves
Fireman
dealing with it for the
ships.
rest of the scene. But it doesn't trigger a drive, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what your drives and stuff.
Well,
are, so.
I'm investigating this new and
fragments.
interesting place, so it does trigger that.
Sure, why not? Yep. So the important thing is that
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
good
only get that
reinforced
XP
skulls.
once per scene, so we're still in the same scene. So if
Okay.
he were to try to investigate the ship 3 times, he gets
So-
XP for it.
So
once.
what did you find out about them? I'm sorry.
So what he found out was that these are fighters. There's a group of 4 of them, and they're heading towards you. These are definitely starfighters. They're combat capable ships.
Are they marked?
You don't know what their affiliation is.
Unknown affiliation.
Do you guys tell me down in the hold?
So this
yes.
is as you guys are approaching. So you're still heading towards the Doom Cube. They will probably get to you guys way before you get to the Doom Cube.
Sure.
I
Unless
will
you just
hit the
make
battle stations button.
Beep, beep, beep. Sure.
You
Okay.
know, shields up, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yo, let me talk to
I
him
have
for
an
a little bit.
idea.
You want me to talk to him?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna arrange these cows into a minefield formation.
Let me talk to him first.
Affirmative.
Let me talk to him first. See if we can do this without fucking all our cows over.
Downloading detonation codes now.
Stop it.
I just love the idea that these fighters come into this fight and then suddenly they're in a field full of cows.
Cows
One of them
flying
bumps one and it explodes.
around. Cow mines. Yeah, good.
Avoid the cows! Avoid the cows!
All right. So you're gonna try to reach these
Make
guys
sure to
on
save at least
the
6.
communicator. You wanna
Yeah.
Talk to them. Okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping to mislead them with my
Check for
charisma.
traps.
Always
find
check
out.
for traps.
We'll find out. All right.
Okay,
so
so
what do you want to do? So you.
Cow traps.
All right. So
My
you.
main idea is that I
Cow
want to
trips.
talk to them. Maybe I have no idea what they're about. I have no idea what
Oh
they're
my
doing
God.
here.
Okay.
Maybe I can tell them that we're somebody else, or
Okay.
point them to a different direction. Like, yo, I saw these other people here. Those are the people that you're looking for. That's how I'm going into this with.
Okay.
And while he's doing that, I would like to tinker with the ship and try and get the afterburners actually turning on
Should we
again.
increase the speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing 2 things at once.
Okay. So
he's doing
which
good.
one do you guys want to resolve first? I don't care. But you're
Resolve.
gonna
Go
have to
ahead. Resolve yours first.
What do I do?
You talked first.
So you're gonna. So what is it? So explain again what you're trying to accomplish, because that'll point us towards a certain.
The big picture is I want to talk to them, and through my discussion with them, figure out why they're coming at us,
Okay.
and hopefully mislead them to thinking they're not looking for us, they're looking for somebody else.
So, I mean, we
Do
could
you
just
have a
start off by
move?
hailing them.
Well, yeah. So you can do that. So do you have a move on your playbook specific to like
Like over
tricking
here?
people?
Yeah, feint. You mislead someone for your own benefit. I think it's
Possibly. What does it allow you to do?
plus charisma. Cause them to reveal a secret. Someone in danger swaps places with your target. They stand in the way. Oh, I misread that. Oh, I can cause them to reveal a secret.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
What they are, like
Yeah.
what they're really
okay.
about.
Okay. Sure. Totally. So
But do we need to roll that first, or let's just talk to them
That is
first,
what.
right?
That's his move.
Okay.
I mean, he's trying to trick them sort of into revealing a secret. That's fine. Yep.
So I rolled 2d6,
Yep. And add your charisma.
and my charisma is +2.
Okay. Yep.
So I gotta get 8 above.
7.
Well, 5 or above gets us something.
Yeah. So I
8
got
or
a
above.
9 +2. It's an 11.
So that's a complete success.
So complete success.
So what happens on that move on a complete success?
Cause them to reveal a secret. The GM will tell you.
Well,
what
the
it is.
complete success.
Oh, sorry. Complete 6 gain 3 reserve. I don't know what that is.
Okay. So reserve are like temporary uses that you can spend them as tokens on those things in that list.
Things on what list?
So that list there. So right
Here?
there. Yeah.
Okay, so I get 3 of these, so I can just boom right
You could
there.
do all 3, or you could, if you have an
Do one
ongoing
of them 3
situation.
times.
Yeah, like if you have an ongoing situation, you could use all 3 of those theoretically.
Okay,
But in your case, you're really interested in the one thing. I mean, you.
I can have them for later.
Right.
But or we could get them to reveal.
It
3
lasts
separate
for-
things.
interacting.
It lasts for
with
the
this.
rest of the scene. Those reserved. So when you
Okay.
spend them, you have 3 for the whole scene.
Okay, so I could like later on I have 3 of them, so I can put them in front of me for danger or something like that.
Yes.
For example,
Yes.
or like max. Okay.
Yes. Now, normally that you would do that like when you're in a physical combat, right? But sure, if it
Yeah.
applies, sure, why not? Okay. So they are the members of this group called the Spider Guard. They are a member of a kind of criminal organization known as the Spider Empire. And their boss is known as the Spider Empress.
They're not literal spiders, are they?
No, that's what
Glad
she
they're
looks
not
like.
miniature cows.
I hate
Oh, she's pretty
spiders.
badass.
She's pretty
They
bad.
are very pale and dressed in black, though, so they're goth.
Yeah, they're
Ah.
goth. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Goth Empire.
The Goth Empire.
Goth
So they are basically her minions, and they're here to essentially cause trouble. So that's what you find out.
So they're just here dicking around?
Well,
Or
they
they-
So then
own
they'll-
this place, or they think they own this place, so they're gonna not want you guys to take their stuff. That's
Okay.
the idea. So you've done that. You got that information.
Are they engaged? I guess the question is, are they engaging? Are they coming at us to kill us?
It looks like it there. Yeah.
They got weapons hot and everything.
Yeah. They will unless you do something about it, right? Okay. So let's go to the pilot. So what are you doing?
Maximum speed. I am messing with the ship to try and improve its speed
So you're
using
using
the
reroute power?
Tinker.
Tinker. Okay.
Yes.
Not reroute power.
I do not.
That's
Reroute power is
that's the
the
default
default
move.
move. No, Tinker allows me to modify the vessel to do something like increase the speed by 1, increase the damage die.
Oh, so that's better
add
than
hull.
reroute power.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
mean, you
not
could use
taking
both, but-
away to replace
Yeah.
one.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a
upgrade a little bit.
right.
You could do
Well, I mean,
both.
I could technically
You could do
reroute
both.
more power. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to take a -2 and get +2 or something like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
right now, it just
Okay.
let's get a little faster.
Sure.
So that is a 9, which is a partial success.
Okay. So what happens on a partial success?
Partial success. You must spend 1 credit or 1 barter 4 parts or mark a use of specialized tools. I have Starship Tools.
That's
Starship-
for.
Starship Trolls?
Trolls.
Yes.
So
So,
that's
I'm going to burn one of those.
Yeah.
And our speed goes up to +1.
Okay.
And while we're at it, if this move triggers a drive, which it does, the modification lasts until for the rest of the session.
Okay.
So for the
Session
rest
or-
of this
Session.
Bigger than C.
session.
Yeah. The whole
So the entire
we're
time
here.
we're playing today,
Right.
our ship now goes at +1
Until
speed.
we flip the table and leave.
Right.
Until we-
And that because
Right.
that
Which may
ship's a
happen.
drive, I also get some experience.
It doesn't seem good.
Which I'm going to take.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah, so that
So that
stuff
was-
all triggers together,
Yep.
which is kind of a nice little chain of events that he made happen.
Yeah.
All right. I'm also going to introduce this thing that's called a clock. Okay. And so this is for the Doom Cube, basically falling into the black hole. So the clock is going to be composed of a number of boxes. And every time you guys fail on any move, I'm going to tick one of the boxes. When the boxes
Straight
are
up fail, partial success.
any failure.
So
So
Six
no
or
one
less.
has failed yet. So
Right.
yeah.
So this is kind of an incentive to properly manage our dice.
Yeah,
And
so
get
there's
this
12
shit done.
boxes. So you have, if all 12 get ticked, it goes into the black hole. And if you guys are on the ship, then you go with it. If you resolve it, in other words, if you either blow up the Doom Cube or for some reason get it out of the black hole and you resolve this, it counts as a milestone, so you guys get XP for it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to keep this out on the table. You guys will be
How
able to
long
see
do
So
we
what
you have
have
nav and
until we
weapons,
can
and I'll
safely
take-
get out of?
Well, I told
out
him
of
an
here.
hour, but really it's this.
But I'm saying like
That's also
for,
an hour.
for our ship.
So
Get out because our ship and the Doom Cube are different.
When they dock, they're going to be linked together until you undock them.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
So right now he's not enforcing any mechanic.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting
And
at.
The
if
real-
that does,
before
you'll
we
let us
failed
know.
12 times.
Right. And the
Yeah.
real danger here for you guys is you want to resolve all of this. You want to not tick all these before you do this.
Right. Like
Right?
if-
So if you get away from the Doom Cube and it goes into the black hole, you don't care anymore. We can resolve this.
Okay.
Right.
While you still care, this is a clock. Yeah.
Right. Because and yeah, if we burn through 11 of the 12 before we even finish fighting these guys,
Oh, yeah.
it's time to click. It's time to click the other nav and get out of here.
Right. If that happens, your ship's probably destroyed. So, yeah.
We don't really have that great of rolls for weapons or anything.
So,
else.
yeah. All right. So we've dealt with that. What are you doing in the cargo hold? You've overheard all this stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, are we gonna fight these guys?
He hit the battle stations button, so it sounds
They're coming at us to fight no matter what, so
Right.
we don't get a choice.
I mean, you do know who they are now, but that
Right.
didn't really.
And we have 3 crew slots. I'm taking engineering.
All right. I'm
Want
like,
you to just
hey,
pilot or no?
Well, while I can pilot, I'm gonna be working on fixing things for
Okay,
right now.
so there's 3 crew spots. So you guys
Yeah.
decide who
pilot,
you,
weapons,
probably him.
Yeah,
And then
pilot,
which of these
sensors,
two?
weapons,
So
and
weapons.
And
engineering.
it doesn't matter which one. You
Yeah.
have 3 crew spots. So
Yep.
who's going in the third? I assume he's going in one, right?
Yep. And then, are you coming up or are you fragmenting?
I'm gonna
Well,
get in there.
well, that's part of the weapons, isn't it?
No, that's not part of our normal ship's weapons.
Yeah,
Right.
you can
So,
take
Okay, so I'll
Something
shoot.
improvisational that he's doing.
what the
Okay.
limitation
This
is
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 what my
that
dad
there's
does.
3 people that can use vessel moves right now at the same time. So one of you
Right.
guys can do other stuff. You can roll other moves. You can do your tricky thing. All that stuff. You just can't shoot the guns, raise the shields, that sort of thing.
Okay. And the guns go off dexterity.
They go off the ship's weapon stat.
Okay, so
right,
it's
which
inconsequential who does
right
it.
now is
Doesn't
plus
matter.
0.
Doesn't matter who does it.
Most of the things are naked die roll, other than evasions and sensors.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll
And I
pilot
couldn't
the
help
weapons.
weapons, so
that's fine. So all right, so he's taking the 3rd spot.
okay. So,
So-
you're in the hold fragment.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the cows ready.
You're gonna move them.
I'm like, hey, map, where's the I guess we're looking for the engine core of this thing. I'm gonna line these cows up and try to shoot them out some sort of exhaust or something. Try to blow them up one
You
at a
gonna poop
time.
them out?
Yeah, we're just gonna dig our way through the center here.
So all right.
Of
so you're
the
gonna-
ships that are
no,
coming
no,
out.
of the
Station.
Doom
So-
Cube.
We gotta
Okay.
deal
So
with
while we're doing evasive action, we're occasionally going to release a cow, trying to open up the Doom Cube.
I'm trying to modify like
You're-
our exhaust chute to shoot a cow out one at a time
Okay.
because I want to just blow. I want to blow our way.
And you
just,
can do that. You can make that happen.
Yeah, I just want to blow our way through the hole of the Doom Cube a bit
Okay.
at a time, so we can just get to.
So
the
do you have a
valuable
move that
spot.
lets you modify the ship some way?
I have service disruption with the sabotage. Let me see.
Can you not blow up?
I mean, I have create device, so
Yeah. Why don't
Okay.
you use create device for this?
Create
What?
device.
Cow launcher.
Cow launcher.
So I have to give you requirements. So
Yeah.
let me take a look at your sheet real quick, just so I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. I know what one of them's going to be, but
well, if it's barter or credit, we don't have any.
No, it's
so.
So how many
Barter
classes are there?
cows.
there's
Like pre-made.
eight.
8 pre-made classes.
But technically, because of the different variations, there's 24.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
24 subclasses.
Eventually, yeah. Okay, so
But as you
I'm just
level
going to
up,
give
you
you
can
one
start getting
requirement.
moves from
So
the
the only way that you can do this without compromising the internal life support system in the ship is to eject the escape pod and then shoot them out of that.
Don't have an escape pod.
Well, your ship has them.
Okay. Oh, we didn't take the escape pods.
Those are extra.
Okay.
Like there's default escape pods. Those are better
Okay.
escape pods.
Yeah, we're doing
The
it.
ship always has escape pods.
Gotcha.
So
Go
you're
for
gonna
it.
have to
You're gonna
basically.
raw dog it. Okay.
Wait. So you're going to stick a cow in an escape pod and just shoot the
No,
escape
no,
pod?
he's gonna-
He's
he's gonna
opening
sh-
up that chamber so that he
Okay.
can then shove
He's gonna
nothing.
shoot the escape pod out with nothing and then use that hole to eject cows.
Right. So while we're getting sucked into
So
a
you'll
black
have
hole, we're
no
losing the
escape
escape
So
pod.
he's gonna
Which
Which
realize
is fine.
Yay! All right, so he failed.
So the
What'd you
escape
get?
pod jettisons.
4. All right,
Can
so
I-
I rolled 2 ones.
Okay. Here's a question.
course.
you
Are
can't
they
interrupt
shooting-
what he just did.
Okay, cannot.
No, once he fails, that's it. I mean, you can
Unless,
do stuff
like,
because of it, but
you
you
can-
can't stop him from.
There are a few
failed?
moves like
Yeah, he
interfere.
failed.
He only got like a 4. I mean, he's not even close.
Yeah, I rolled 2 ones.
Well, I mean, he could attempt to interfere, but once he rolls a die,
Yeah, you have to
can't
say
really...
you're doing that ahead of time. So, like, if you heard that plan and they're like, "Oh shit, that's really stupid," you could run and try to stop him.
No, I think that plan was really good. I was
Alright.
doing it.
It would have been if he'd rolled better. Yeah, that would have
It
sounded
would have
great.
been a fantastic plan if he didn't fuck all over himself.
All right. So, as a consequence of that, I'm going to mark one of the boxes on the Doom Cube. So we're now
Yeah.
1 out of 12. Which
Get
is,
a little closer.
so
Can we not roll any more dice like that, Elliot?
That was my first roll of the game.
my only line. All right.
Oh, Central
Here,
was
let
the
me
first.
help you.
Well,
So-
none of us had failed yet.
All right, so let me explain. So
Yeah,
when there's a failure in the game, the GM gets to introduce some kind of complication or something. That's in addition to this clock thing. So the marking the clock is just when there's a clock and there's a failure, you mark it. So typically the clock's going to have 6 or 8
Power
or
explodes
more.
inside
In
a
this
ship.
case, I put 12 on
not.
there.
I
So
really hope not.
so I had a game where the entire game was them escaping a crashing space cruiser, and I made a clock with 20
We
boxes on
might
it.
just lose this.
Because it was going to be the whole game, right?
I
So
hope
in this
that's
case,
all it
it's
is.
a 12, which should be quite a bit. Anyway, so the failure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the fighters do like a strafing run on your ship. And so they're going to do a D4 plus 4 damage to your ship.
And can we attempt to evade?
You cannot. This is a
Alright,
result
so
of the
that's the
failure, so
failure.
it just happens.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yeah, we don't have that much in the way of health points.
Somebody
so-
roll. I don't roll dice.
Well, we have shields though.
You
Yeah.
do have
Oh,
some shields.
you're wrong.
You
Yeah,
said
make it
D4 plus
3.
4?
Yeah. So 7 damage. All right.
So we take
So you-
5 because we have 2 points of shields.
Correct.
I do have a
And-
quick question.
Yes.
Over here, I have this.
We might want to raise shields.
Someone
might
stands in the way of an attack
wanna never
meant
have
for
that
you.
happen.
That has to be a person. That can't be his escape ship, right?
Oh
I think
yeah,
they
can,
just shut out.
can he burn one of his? Because he has 3 of them, or he
He
still
could,
has 2
but
more.
the effect of that is it adds armor. So that would be for you. It doesn't add to the shields of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if
shields
you could
is
like.
a ship move though.
Right, but his thing is it adds plus 1 armor
Armor.
forward, so that would
armor.
affect.
I was
the
wondering if there was
person,
some loosiness to it, and there isn't, which is fine.
If you say next time you're going to use that ahead of time, then yeah. Forward means the next time something happens. So you wouldn't be able. This already happened,
Okay.
but you could say, oh, like the next time does something that might result in
okay.
it. Like if you think you're going to, I don't know. It's kind of hard to do it like in that situation, but that'd be the way you'd want to use that.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say when he was.
You could say it now.
Exactly.
You could say, okay, I'm gonna trick one of them into flying in the way of an attack. You spend the reserve now. It adds plus 1 forward. So the next time you guys get hit, it reduces
Okay.
the damage by 1. That's perfectly legit.
So yeah, let me do that then.
Okay, so just take 1 for your reserve. So you have 1 left. Right, because you start with 3. You spent the 1 to find out info. So you spent the 1 just now. So you have 1 left. So yeah, we'll have a little wiggle room there. So sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry guys.
So that'll be in addition if you guys
Stop
have
it.
shields.
Try
So
it again.
right now, technically, your shields are 3 the next time you get hit.
Okay.
Because of that. And they go back down
Yeah.
to 2.
Don't worry. I'm gonna fool them into
So,
banging into each other.
The way the shields work is that you can temporarily increase them, and then when you get hit, they go back down to normal. Now, if you make a failure on something like raised shields, your shields might go down to 0. And then they have to be fixed.
Let's roll.
That could legit happen. So,
So,
all right.
so we're gonna try and use the smuggling move. It's an old code, but it checks out. When your ship attempts to bypass a security checkpoint, use trickery to fool them.
That's not what this is.
Can it?
That's not what
No,
this
I
is.
can't try and fool them into thinking that
They've
we're
already seen you.
a smuggler for them effectively.
You could try. I'll give you a -1 though, because I mean they're already attacking you.
Yeah.
That'd be a stretch. So you can add situational modifiers as the game master too, which is what I'm doing here. So you don't ever really want to say absolutely not. You always want to let people try to do something else that's impossible. In this case, sure it's possible, but I'm going to give them -1 because it's kind
and
of a
it's
stretch.
just a straight die roll.
Okay, beautiful.
Prepare for fail. Tip.
I'm ready. I've got the pen.
Oh yeah.
Fails. Fail.
Zap.
6.
All right. So I'm marking another box in the Doom Cube. So we're down to 2 out of 12. All right.
Tried.
So, all right. So there is.
You guys would have just let me mark us as inconspicuous instead of just
You
driving
guys
in and
are
going, hey guys.
kind of watching. We'll say that the robot's kind of paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
on,
trying.
on the Doom Cube. You notice that there's an explosion on the far side of the Doom Cube, and you're not quite sure what that did. But it's not in relation to these fighters. The fighters are between you and the Doom Cube now.
It looks like because it's being drug into the.
Maybe you're not sure. It might be more worth
Well,
doing a sensor scan to find
sensor,
out what's
yeah.
happening or analyze maybe.
I'll
Bad.
analyze.
Dice roll bad. Dice roll bad.
Let's not analyze ourselves by
Don't
analyze.
analyze.
Well, we have to make dice rolls. to speed
Well,
this up so
I
we
get a
can
plus
actually do
forward for the station work.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Yeah, you're
7,
fine. 8. Okay. So you get to ask one question off analyze.
8. What happened here recently?
So you detect the presence of another larger ship on the far side of the Doom Cube, and it is. You think it's attacking it or doing something to it.
In between the anomaly and
Yes,
the Doom
it
Cube?
is. It's on the black hole side of the Doom Cube.
Huh.
'Cause remember, you guys are trying to go the other way.
How
so-
large is large?
Bigger than your ship,
Are there scavengers?
but not like a cruiser. I mean, like maybe one size.
Like
bigger
a
than your ship.
mid-size,
Yeah.
A mid-size.
A mid-size, a luxury.
So I'm assuming at
Luxury
this
model.
point
It's a
we,
Lexus.
we can't attempt
it's
to
one of
use
those old
like,
ships from the '70s. It's really long.
we can't really
Fans.
use
The gas goes
inconspicuous at this point to try and like turn on a cloaking device or something of that nature.
What does the move say?
When you attempt to conceal your ship's existence, roll plus int, power off your shields, you get to add their value to the roll.
Do we have anything that would do that?
Well, I mean, you have the move, so it lets you
Okay.
do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can, and now, yeah, you can do
So
that.
basically, like, we
Okay.
disappear from the spider people.
Well, from those fighters. Now, you
Yeah.
don't know what the other ships
But we
do.
take the risk. All right, so I'm
Take
going.
the risk of, are you turning off the shields?
Yeah,
This
so
is-
I'm sitting down in engineering. I'm turning off the shields.
Map, is this
like,
a good idea?
It's as good
engines
as
to
any.
minimum, or like engines off. We're going on thrusters. Life support to bottles. Like we're just running on bottled air at this point.
Okay.
Oh, I'll aid you.
Okay. So,
Why would you age me?
no, aid.
Age. I'm going to age you one
I'm
year.
going to
Oh.
aid you.
Right. So I'm at a +4 already.
Yep, so let me explain how.
And you automatically get a success.
A partial.
At minimum
Right.
a partial.
Complete.
Complete success?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm his personal assistant.
Once per session?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, that was a 12 without your help.
Alright. Anyway.
But we won.
Okay, so let me back up a little bit for the people that are
Okay.
watching this.
Then we don't need to turn down the shields if you've got an
Well, you
auto-
already said you did it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah.
If we do this again, we wouldn't have
You
needed to
had
turn down the shields.
Right. But once you
do
say
that.
something, it
Yeah,
happens. You
it's-
can't. Yeah. So, all right. So the idea here, I want to talk about the aid move real quick. So, the robot Map tried to aid Method. Or he did aid him. So the aid move does not require a roll. What he does, he just says, "I'm helping." If he has
I'm
a
helping.
regular relationship with Method, he would give Method a +1 to his roll. If he has a special relationship with Method, he would give him +2. So that's what the difference is between those two types of relationships. That's really all it is. The difference, the thing about the aid move is when you're aiding somebody and they fail or get a partial success, then the person aiding also shares in whatever happens. So
Yeah.
obviously you guys are all on the same ship, so if the ship blows up, right?
We all
But if you're
blow
in
up.
like a regular combat or something, let's say that the heavy girder was about to fall onto Methan, and Map runs over to try to save him and aids him in escaping. Well, if he fails, they both get hit by the girder.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
you don't always want to aid. Sometimes you're like,
Yeah, sorry, dude. Your fault.
Yeah. So in some of these games, there's no downside to aiding, which I thought was stupid. So the +1, you don't have to roll, and you just get the +1. Anyway, So you are cloaked,
We are now.
but you're also not moving.
No. We're still ballistic,
Slowly.
continuing along our course, and thrusters work, but turning on the engines. So like we can do minor course corrections.
Okay.
And basically, when we get close, we turn on the burners, we burn a hole in the hull, and we stick in there. And
Okay.
hopefully make it really hard for them to shoot us.
Can they see the cows? Are the cows camouflaged?
I don't know that the cows have done anything.
Cows are inside
I think
the cargo
cows are still
bay.
inside.
He was modifying.
Well, no, there's
he
one.
was modifying the poop chute and
They
screwed it
fit.
up, and no cows came out.
There's one cow stuck in the chute, and that's the failure. That was the failure. It's
Yeah,
just
your
down
job
there.
right now is to get the
Get that
cows.
one stuck cow
I'm
out.
pulling the cow
So
out.
just to let you know, I use the word poop shoot in front of Max's kids. Poor choice.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so when we tried the cow thing, did that count as trying something new?
That
My
sounds like something.
My
new.
relationship is Alfonso must push me to try new things.
Well, you didn't do anything. He's the one
Yeah.
doing it. Maybe if you do something.
Well,
Well, I
his,
mean, it was on my
his
shit.
failure
That's-
did push him to try the.
What about
Yeah.
To try something a
Matthew
little more
protecting me
conservative.
from injury with that move he just did?
Yeah, I did just.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I can argue that.
That makes
I can
sense.
see it
Yeah,
going.
that makes sense. Yeah. Because you guys could have got attacked again and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still could.
We're
but-
still not in a secret place.
Stock us up!
So
Quickly,
so
they're
the
trying to steal
fighters
our loot.
are like flying around trying to figure out where you guys are.
Yeah,
So they're
and,
still
and
around.
we're trying to figure out how to slow down without them killing us. And
So
Burning
do you
nice
want to
hole.
try? So what happened was with the escape pod is
Does that move say we have to turn off our engines?
no,
Oh, then
It
it
says
does. Then our
power
engines
down,
are on.
right?
if you power off your shields, then you get to add to the roll.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just
Power
the
off.
shield. So we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
I
shields
guess
are
we can't
powered
slow
off.
these
So
engines.
I'll dock us.
Okay. Well, all right. So do you want to do anything about? So what happened was the escape pod partially ejected and it's like stuck because of the way you tried to do it. So do you want to try to dislodge it, or what do you want to do? Or
If
just
you don't
leave it
feel
how it
comfortable,
is?
I feel pretty
You
good.
can leave it how it is.
I can
you just won't be
restore
able to use it.
I can.
You could fix it, right?
I have engineering skills for fixing things like that. But you are you.
No, let's get this out of here. I'm gonna try to shoot some more cows out.
All right.
We
so
don't need to
what
shoot
I'm
more
gonna have
cows
you
out.
do?
No! It's gonna give us away.
Are we
Stop.
docking? Oh, we'll give us away.
Yeah, we're hidden.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Shooting the cow out probably won't do anything.
Shooting the escape pod.
At most, they would
Yeah,
know.
they'd see the escape pod. That's true.
All right, we'll just keep the escape pod stuck.
Okay.
I will
Uh,
attempt to repair that as long as we've got dice. Or no, we don't.
Do you
really
want to
have
spend
the
time on that? I mean, it's up to you.
No,
Okay.
we can
We'll deal
repair
with
that
it
later.
later.
Okay.
As we all look around and go, but that's our only escape pod.
All right. So somebody is going to have to carefully do this without.
I can survive in the vacuum of space. I don't care about you.
Yeah. So somebody will have to carefully pilot the transmission error or translation error into docking with this thing because this doesn't have any. Because there's no power on the Doom Cube, you can't do the normal docking procedure, which would be if they would, little lights would show up, hey, dock here, and then you go over there and opens doors. Like, there's nothing of that's happening, so you'll have to figure out how to make this happen.
So this
I can-
is.
Can we
what kind
push
of
him?
move would you
I
call
can
that?
go-
Justify
Yeah,
danger?
Yeah, can we push
or-
him out and like make him modify that sort of thing?
So
Yeah,
so the,
somebody could. So there's an emergency release on the outside. Somebody could go out and do that in a spacesuit, or he could do it.
so I can take over
Alternately-
piloting the ship while you do
Yes.
that.
Alternately, you guys could maybe figure out some way to broadcast some kind of signal to make it remotely open. Potentially, these are things you'll
Yeah.
have to figure out how to do. Meanwhile, these ships are still buzzing around
yeah.
trying to figure out where you're at.
So I'm worried. Like we have the code. Potentially might have the codes to bypass the security checkpoint and open it. But I'm concerned with broadcasting those. Like unless we can laser beam them over, which I assume like tight beams wouldn't be used to open the.
I'll take a cow out into space with me.
No.
I'll go blow the
Send
door
him
open.
out. Send him out.
You just know how to activate a cow.
You
You stick
moron.
your rod up. The,
You moron.
No, isn't it like just impact activated?
Moran.
What's that? No, I have well
Like
programs.
a remote detonator?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't impact. They like stampede, they all explode.
yeah. Don't
I
forget
think
the
you send them
adamantium
towards the
balls
door
that are
and they'll just
inside.
explode.
Did you remember to feed them the adamantium balls?
Yeah, so they have shrapnel.
No.
Flechette.
All right. So, all
But
right.
I thought the adamant.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
You guys shed a tear because all that good food's going.
No, we still have some that aren't.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't need-
bombs.
So, what do you guys do?
You're not
Yeah.
many will need.
All right, so you want me to go outside and?
Apparently he's cow bombing the entrance
I
open.
mean, I can just try and pilot. I can
Yeah,
get a +1
I mean,
already with my +1 forward.
so the engines produce heat, right?
Yeah, there would be a signature.
So
but
as we
they
come
might
in-
not necessarily see you.
So as we come in,
Depends on how good their
no,
sensors are.
no. What I'm just trying to think about is,
Yeah.
as we come in, we can do a big blast of the engines to slow us down and park us basically really close.
Yeah.
But that would also generate a lot of heat to basically open the door by burning a hole in the
I
ship.
mean, like you're gonna turn around backwards?
Right. So,
Okay.
like, as we're coming in to decelerate, the proper move for deceleration is going the opposite direction and pushing with the engines.
Why don't you roll understand to see if that's a good idea?
Yeah, because our
I don't think
our
it is.
exit's not on not.
I
on
don't
our
think
engine.
that's
11.
You do not think that would be sufficient heat to do anything to the doors.
that's what I was.
These are exterior doors that open to space, so
Yeah.
they're pretty solid.
Is there some sort of
Besides,
If
we'd
you
have
had
to.
like a
Manual
space cruiser,
override?
that might work, but this little ship
is there a manual
doesn't.
override on the outside?
Yes.
I'm gonna go towards that.
You don't necessarily like. They're all maybe a little bit different.
Right.
So once you get there, you'll have to.
So
figure
we're
out how
going
do
to
it.
park
Yeah.
outside the door.
Let's
You
just
can totally
dock
do that.
with it, and then we can open it.
yeah,
I'm gonna go do the manual
we're-
override. I just
You do know, being a pilot, that there are ways you can broadcast codes to get them to open, but your concern is since there's no power, it may not respond.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
And broadcasting codes
Right, that could
allows
also be
people
it.
to.
It could be.
Yeah, but I think
you
if we
don't
just
think
dock,
the
then we
fighters
can-
have very good sensors. Just starfighters usually don't.
Yeah.
But you don't know what that other ship is doing. That thing could be.
Right.
You don't
Like,
know.
the more radio silent we stay,
totally.
I'd rather have the ship literally park here, dock,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
the other ship's trying to steal our loot.
It's possible. You don't know what they're doing.
it's trying
All
to break our loot.
I know
It
what
might
they're
be
doing.
trying to steal
So
it.
you are in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in a spacesuit.
Okay, and you
I
go
mean,
out.
he's got a nice hard shell. He just needs a
the
different
vacuum might be.
Yeah,
better
the
for him.
vacuum might suck out all the
That might be a
oxygen.
problem. Yeah.
just
Okay.
need a good
I have
Plus,
an
it's really cold
exoskeleton.
too, and I don't think insects like cold.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head out to the ship. What are the rest of you doing while he's doing this? I don't know,
manning
you're pocketing
sensors
things,
and piloting.
Yeah, I'll
and,
pilot.
He's pocketing things.
Or, do you have a plusage to
It's a
pilot?
cheese wheel. Biscuits.
No. What?
Is it any of your?
Is it
He's
in
just
for
like loaded
piloting?
down, like one of those people trying to steal a turkey out of the supermarket. He's just like
Got
all this
the,
shit.
Fix it shit.
This random
Adjust
crap.
my drive based off.
I love it.
Or
It's got a
that,
raincoat
but
on
at
with
the
like
same time, my drives kind of suck.
My spacesuit's always on.
Yeah.
I
He
go
gained a
poo-poo
lot
in
of
it.
weight.
I go poo-poo in it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call the intercom in my spacesuit.
Okay.
Bugatti, I need you to package up a cow in some sort of crate here. Crate.
In a crate? Do I have to
You
roll
know,
for that?
A vacuum
I'll
seal
help you.
crate.
I don't know. We'll see.
What if
I'll
I
help
steal
them.
a cow?
Bugatti,
You steal a cow. You just put
Does
it in your
that
pocket.
count as like stealing a critical item?
No, I'll help him. You
maybe.
keep an eye on the sensors and the. So I have a relationship for helping him do
But
his crew duties.
Okay.
So
you're gonna help him.
I'm going to instruct him in the fine art of packaging cows for deployment.
Is
Okay.
this a secret place where the
No,
cows
this,
are?
this is the
It's
cargo
your cargo
bag.
hold. It's not
So there's literally pens inside here.
But
They've
I
got
need-
bottle
We may need to
feeders.
shoot
and,
it. We may need
like
to
a big,
shoot
like a guinea pig thing.
Yeah, yeah.
cow out.
Looks
with
like a giant one
vacuum
on the
sealed
wall.
Oh
crate.
no,
like a
there's like
two-
one for each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in little itty bitty crates. There's a giant cargo hold for the
All right.
small ship,
All right.
and they're in these little crates, and there's
Okay.
plenty of space left. In
Not
the
anymore. I
cargo
took them all out.
Well, yeah.
You know, we're
You
good.
put them back in.
They've been decrated.
hold. All right, so let's crate this one up,
All
and
right.
you need
All right, so you're gonna prep
What's
a
its
cow.
name?
I don't care what his name is.
dinner.
Number one.
They're
All right.
all named dinner.
Boom boom.
Okay,
Boom, boom.
so you're gonna aid him.
Yes, I'm going to aid him in learning his crew duties of
All right.
packaging up this
So
cow.
what you're gonna need to do is handle this thing with care, so that it doesn't blow up in your face.
Okay, so I have dexterity,
So you're gonna roll with your int.
which is negative.
Int's being careful. So Dex would be.
Oh,
quite
plus
great.
one actually.
and I'm giving you a plus
And
one
he's
by
giving you a
aiding
plus
you.
one by aiding you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna have plus 2 total.
7.
So that's a
Partial
7.
success.
All right. So that's good. So you. All right.
so
So.
I blow off one of my hands.
Right. You only blow up half your body.
It's a
so-
partial success, so it's in the crate.
Right. So you get it into the crate.
Just might take twice as long
Let's
or something of
see.
that nature.
It's not
Are you in a
sealed.
spacesuit?
We're in the cargo hold. Why would I be in the
Yes.
spacesuit?
So what happens is he pushes it out, and the explosion happens while it's going through the hole, and so the door is now damaged, which means the cargo hold is exposed
Is
to
open to
space.
vacuum.
Right. So
How
you're
is that a partial success?
because you got it out.
I need it to come to me. Oh, it hits the door of the spaceship?
Yeah. Like
Okay, I thought it was just like exploding on the way out of the ship. I'm like, that sounds like a failure to me.
No, no,
Oh,
it-
yeah,
It
that's
damaged the. Yeah. That's all right.
So it
Okay.
blew up
Damages
both.
the
We-
door.
yeah.
No,
It didn't
but
blow
you-
up both. It just like it like smacked into the way I'm out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
He still
damaged.
has it, but now you've got basically.
So does that at least trigger the relationship of helping him?
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
the
you
ship?
helped him,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't matter whether
And
he
now I'm
succeeds
dying.
or not. Wow, already? All right, cool. All right. So
I need
you
oxygen.
are in danger, though. So you
Yes.
will need to get out of danger. So either you or someone else can get you to a
Hold on a
broadcast
second.
spacesuit, etc.
I will.
It says someone in danger swaps places with your target, and I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense in this situation
Yeah.
because your target is the starfighters. So that, unless you want to put him out there and bring a starfighter into the cargo.
Yes.
Somehow matches
Somehow.
Dex to go. Dex roll to go find a
Yeah.
breather mask.
Yeah.
All right. Plus
Can
one.
Can I help
So-
him at all with anything?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you can aid me
let
in
me
that.
explain how this works. So,
But if you screw
when
up,
a
you might
character
screw up
is
your
put
own
in danger,
equipment.
this is a specific mechanic in the rules. So he or someone else has one chance to get him out of danger. If they fail, then something bad happens to the pilot. So that's how the in danger mechanic works. Okay, so he's going to use Defy Danger using Dex to quickly run.
Do you have a
for
plus one for Dex?
I have +1. Are you going to aid me? Because that gives me another +1. So you're trying to help me get to the.
Yeah, I can give him a plus one.
Okay, now the danger is
That
if,
might
you,
screw up
if
your
he
equipment.
fails, you guys
Bullshit.
might both get sucked into space.
I'm in a space shoot.
All right, that's fine.
That's a partial. 8.
Okay. Okay, so we'll say that you do get to a suit in time, and you just put like the mask on, so you don't
Yeah.
have a full suit on. If you want to spend time, you can, but you just grab the helmet part of it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And
And
now I'm trying to get to somewhere that is a nice, normal, oxygenated environment.
Well, you can spit. Yeah, you can
Close
close
the
off.
door.
You can close off the cargo bay. And
Yeah,
then
now
just
we
put
can-
on the suit
yep.
normally if you want. Okay.
So how does that? So I
You
know this
fuckers
person,
are
but how does
wrecking
that
my
like?
shit.
Like how does that really negatively affect us?
We gotta hurry.
The only negative effect is that he doesn't have the full spacesuit on. So if something had happened, like he didn't
Right.
have time to, like if he got sucked down into space, all he'd have on was the helmet part.
Yeah, but he still has. But now he's like fixing it, right?
Yeah, now he
Yeah.
has to spend time.
Right,
to
so I have to
do-
spend time to get out of danger.
Which is the next on the box.
So if there,
Well,
no,
it
not
could be
necessarily.
if he failed. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not going to make him roll for that. He
Right.
just does it.
So if somebody else does something stupid
Right.
that
I'm getting it.
results in,
I'm trying.
and while I'm putting on the suit,
Yeah.
I could be negatively
If
affected.
a hole
by
gets
that.
blown in the hole while he's doing this, he gets sucked out.
Okay.
Right.
So,
And hopefully the fighter sensors didn't detect behind them that something went boom.
Okay.
It was a very small fragment with 30 pounds of C4 in it.
Right. Okay. So all right. So now you've got this cow floating towards you.
Why does he need the cow? I thought he was just gonna like.
I thought that cow
I'm
just
not sure
exploded.
why
It
you
was
wanted the
floating
cow.
in through.
No,
Nah,
it's
just
floating
damage
towards
No,
the-
I need it if I
Oh.
can get the door open.
It's floating towards you.
Oh, the
This
the
was
crate
just in case.
jammed the door.
Damage the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
But you're gonna try to open it like normally first. Right?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so you're
shove
gonna
this
def-
cow inside.
So you're gonna defy danger using int to figure out how to work the
Using
controls.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't sabotage it?
Well, would sabotage work for this? It's fine
Which
if
is
it's
when you carefully sabotage a computer, vehicle, or other complex device, state what you plan for it
okay.
to
That's
do.
fine.
Sabotaging the
Yeah, you
door.
can do that. Yeah, yeah.
He's trying
So
to blow it
you're-
open with a frag
So,
cow.
well, what are you trying to do? Because you have to state what your
Cow trap.
intention is with this.
Well, what's the manual release? Do I have to...
It will just open the door. Like it's just like a code you have to do on the outside to get it to open.
Yeah.
Request declined. Code is cow.
Well, if you fail, yeah.
You just tape the cow to the panel.
Right, that's your backup. That's your backup if this isn't working.
It's my backup, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yep.
Well, that's a 12.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Super.
And now you have a fragment to open any other door.
Now there's
So on a
a
complete
cow-shaped
success-
hole in the door.
Well, no. He didn't use the cow. So, is there anything?
A
on success?
success is the device acts as you intended.
Okay. So the partial just makes you pick something. Is that how
A
it works?
change in the device's behavior draws unwanted attention, and you mark use of a relevant specialized tool.
Those are partials.
That's a partial.
Okay, so just to explain for people watching. Okay, so some moves on a complete success, you just get what you're trying to do, and there's nothing else. Sometimes you'll have additional options. It'll say on a complete success, you can also choose to do blah. In this case, it doesn't. But he doesn't have to pick a bad thing. So if he got in a partial, he would have done it. But pick a bad thing off this list. Okay, so you have the door open now.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna go inside.
Can I?
What do you do with the cow? It's just kind of floating.
Dragging it in.
You're picking it with you? Okay.
This is floating along.
Can we bring
beside
the
you.
ship in now?
It's got a handle.
There's no gravity.
The ship will not fit in this door. This isn't like the cargo bay. It's just like a door for people.
Is there like a tether or something we can actually dock around here?
Oh, I thought we were docked.
No, he just went out on his own. Like on
Yeah.
his own.
We had to open the docking doors.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Yes,
thought
you,
this was
you
the-
can't go inside, but you can dock. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
Okay, so we can ship the ship.
Yeah.
Atmosphere inside or
Yes.
There was.
Yeah.
Until you opened the door.
did it just evacuate the entire ship's
Then
atmosphere? Or
evacuated.
just...
Nah, not that quickly. I mean, this is a big
Mm-hmm.
place. You'll need your suits on for a bit until you get
Right.
into.
Suit on always.
But the important part is we
ostensibly,
can hard seal and make it a hermetic seal and flush oxygen back in.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. Mhm. But ostensibly, you probably should put your spacesuits on just for the first bit,
Mhm.
because you don't know what the environment's like inside.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause-
Where's the good stuff?
Suit up.
hey,
Over here.
hey, can you take me to where the
Voice
good stuff
says-
is?
I just run
Because
towards
I don't know
it.
where, because it's pretty.
Trying to get this cow behind me.
You're the one who has the plan.
Oh
Back
no,
in
but
the space
you're
you
to a
hear,
new
"Over
secret
here."
place.
Huh?
I'm
You're
not
to
sure
a
if you're aware.
You're to a hidden place. This place.
Am I to a hidden place right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I assume you go in there. Do you go in there?
Oh yeah. I'm
Okay,
going in.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get the gravity.
Actually, can I get some
turned
water?
on.
Yes. They
Do
want
you
some
mind?
water?
Yeah,
I'll take
please.
some.
Two,
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. What
okay,
was your
water.
question?
4.
I was going to say, can I, is there a computer system I can try to access to see if there's any power?
Well, there's no power in the space station, so computers
all.
wouldn't do
Okay.
anything. Yeah. I
So
mean, you,
there's
you
no-
see where they are, but they're.
I didn't know if it was
they're
just
dead.
everything was shut off or there's no power.
Well,
period.
that you don't know. You know from your scan earlier there's no power right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the reactor's dead. It means there's no power.
So when I'm inside,
It could be turned off for some reason. It could be damaged. Who knows?
right. Where's the here?
Thanks.
You do also know, by the way, hopefully this won't change what you decided to do, but if you dock with the ship, your cloaking device will be nullified. So they'll see
Oh
that
well.
they'll
Just
see
send
that
cows out. Bugatti,
Oh,
package
if we
up more
dock with the
cows.
ship, it will.
Yeah, because it'll mess up because you're connected to this big. It won't.
I'm
They'll be able to see. I mean, it
gonna
won't
call for more cows.
turn off, but they'll be able to see that you're there.
Okay. So we should just. Can we keep the ship on like autopilot or something? Just station keep it.
Yeah, it's docked. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere.
But no, we have, like. Sorry, we wouldn't have docked if we knew that. If
Okay.
docking turns on the cloak,
Okay,
or turns
what
off the
would you
cloak.
rather have done then?
Can we like
It's fine. We're just gonna
station
send,
keep the ship and walk across?
Yeah, just put it in synchronous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
yeah. Just tell the ship to station keep until we come back aboard.
Yeah, totally.
It
Yeah.
needs voice authorization from one of us 3, not him.
Not him. Okay.
Why not me?
Because they
Crew?
don't trust you.
Don't trust you.
Some bullshit.
Send over more cows, Bugatti.
You keep trying to
I don't
bang
need
their
to know.
sisters.
Well, you need- you
One
need more
thing
cows.
that you should be aware of in this situation is that if you do not dock with the Doom Cube, then your ship is susceptible to being pulled into the black hole faster than the Doom Cube because you're smaller.
Oh, so it's gonna be further.
So you're not
Okay.
attached.
All right.
Just
I guess we
FYI,
have to.
that's-
Okay, so
you'll
we have to dock
decide.
basically.
Now you do know that you have a while before that's a concern.
Mhm.
So you could go in, say, "Hey, cool, let's go back and deal with this," and then go back in. You could totally do that too.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to do?
Maybe the
You want
fighters
to take the
will
risk of
give enough
docking or
attack
no?
you at that point. Yeah. So you guys, I assume you guys go across in your spacesuits.
Or, no, we're talking out. Do we want to dock and
Okay,
lose the
okay.
cloak or not?
So it's either dock or use the cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is the ship
We may
will be
lose the
further
ship
away.
first.
We may lose the ship, and I think
It's possible.
We have time
You have
though
time.
before that
Yeah, we have
happens.
time.
Your robot
If we-
calculations think you have about half an hour before that would happen.
All right, so we've got enough time
how
to
many
go
of
in.
those boxes then?
It's abstract.
Well, I mean,
so all of them essentially.
The ship's got its engine, so it can station keep with the cube.
It
so
can, yes.
Yeah, let's just. I say we leave the.
Yeah,
Let's not
let's
dock.
go in. we gotta go
I-
as fast as we can.
I will tell you that the gravitational pull of the black hole is such that the ship could move and not be completely sucked in. Like, I mean, if you depending on how long you
Right.
guys take, it could start drifting.
Mhm.
If it's just sitting there on its own power, it's possible. Depends how long you guys take.
Well, we
Well,
want
I
it to
could
station
connect-
keep, so it can use its own engines to
Yeah,
hold position.
it'll push harder if it starts getting pulled. That's
Okay,
the way
yeah, we'll
station
say we
keeping
can.
works.
Yeah, we'll say that you program some way to do that. Okay, that's fine.
All right. I start heading towards where we need to go.
Yeah, let's
Well,
go.
that's a question. What are you trying to do?
We are.
Let's salvage the good stuff.
What do we want to salvage? Are we here for the engine core? Or are we
Yeah.
here for the
Yeah, the
computers?
central core.
Weapon systems? Anything? What's unique about the Death Cube that
The Doom Cube?
Doom Cube that
Well-
makes it a special space station worth salvaging?
Well, I don't know. It's
Guess you
special.
can
I mean, it's
understand it.
abandoned.
Well,
Or-
space stations.
Space
period.
station
Yeah.
in general. Well, I mean, it.
What do we know that's worth salvage on here that we can fit inside the ship?
Engine core is way too big to fit in your ship.
Well, we can dismantle parts of it though.
Fuel.
Right. You could take.
We can't use it.
I mean, you could take the reactor core out of it. I guess.
And
That's
there's
small
got to
enough.
be some parts that are extremely expensive.
Yeah, there's shield generators. There's navigation systems, computer systems you could take.
I mean,
there's,
just stuff that we know we would salvage, that we've
Yeah.
salvaged from other places.
Yeah.
Can I take the data on it?
Computers are off right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you can power them on, you
Yeah.
could.
Well, let's just go to the engine core.
Or if
first.
you could just
See what's
take like the storage.
Are we
crystals
bringing
or
over the
whatever.
fragments?
Yeah, yeah. I can take
yeah,
it. I
one of
can.
I mean, you
Do you,
at
no,
this
no.
point,
Do,
you
do we
guys
have
can
like
just,
a tube that we can bring?
Tube.
Soft dock.
you guys can just make up something that you want. I'm not
Yeah.
really, as long as it's reasonable. That's fine.
We're gonna get the data crystals because those
Sure,
are
why not?
expensive, and then
Sure.
the
Yeah.
Okay.
engine core.
The core,
The-
whatever's powering.
Yeah.
The reactor.
Yeah.
yeah,
It might be depleted.
whatever fits in.
Okay, sure.
Well, the reactor.
Fuel, anything from
Yeah,
the
the fuel.
anything from the engine that
Fuel
we could
rods,
fit.
you just
Yeah,
carry them with you.
yeah.
Just
It's fine.
burning our hands with radiation.
We're just going to take a nice
put 'em
big
in-
handful of
we put 'em in
antimatter,
cows.
and nothing bad would happen when you mix our matter hand
Totally not.
in a big old fistful of antimatter.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure they
Okay.
have something to package it in.
Sure. So data crystals.
Yeah,
Totally.
we go.
Something from the reactor room. Okay. So you're entering in about the middle of this thing. We'll say that it is. We said it wasn't really a cube.
Yeah.
So we'll say it's kind of hourglass shaped. So there's like a big top and a big bottom and kind of a skinny middle part. So you guys are about in the middle. So you know that the reactor is that way. The data crystals would be the other way. So which way do you guys want to go?
Reactor.
Which one's worth more?
The data crystals.
Sure.
Probably.
Data crystals first.
Reactor.
In terms of what you could take, because you can't take the whole reactor.
But we
So,
can
yeah.
take a
Yeah.
ton of those crystals.
Yeah, let's go get the data crystals
Okay.
first.
All right.
All right.
So you.
Plus any
now
information
how do you
we
want to
strip
do this?
from them
Because normally you would be using elevators to go up and down, and you can't.
We can go in the elevator shaft, and it's
can.
0G, right?
Yep.
So all we have to do is,
Just push up.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, we're
So Bugatti
semi-experienced 0G.
Pushing up.
loves best. So yeah, Bugatti loves pushing up.
So you guys are all going together doing this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring some more cows.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not
Fuck
taking
you
any
and
more
your goddamn
cows.
cows. You got one and that's it.
All right.
That's all you got.
He's got that cow tethered
So are you
to
pushing
him.
the cow
One
with you?
motherfucking
It's in
cow.
a box. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've got at least one door opening cow.
Box cow. All right. Okay. So
I'm
you
strong.
go up the elevator shaft.
Wait, how many cows do you think you can hold, Elliot? Like,
Well, you just tether them all together. There's no
Zero
gravity.
G. It doesn't matter.
Right. The problem is bringing them over with no oxygen.
Well, that's what happened.
They don't have to be alive.
So they don't have to be alive.
they're vacuum
Yeah.
sealed.
What? Even if they weren't, I
They're
mean,
vacuum sealed with little plants in there.
they
Carbon
explode.
dioxide, oxygen, it's all good.
Well,
We'll bring
it's
over,
a little-
we'll bring over
it's-
2 more crates, so
it's
we have
like
3
one of
crates
those-
total.
Yeah, a little terrarium.
Yeah, and yeah.
That way we have 3
And all the crates are
sets of
terrarium.
explosives.
It's like that
Okay.
shit used to get at fucking
I'm going.
Sharper Image.
Yeah,
with
where
the
they
fucking
would-
There
brine
you
shrimp
go.
and everything.
We've got 3 cows now, Doza.
All right. So up
Yes.
you go. You get 2.
Elliot has all of them,
Yeah.
3.
They're all
Elliot-
tethered-
but
We're
Elliot's-
bringing them with, like...
but I'm not touching them. I don't got
They're all
to.
tethered
They're
They're in
together.
crates!
They're tethered to his back.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all tethered to.
You
together.
literally
It's
just have to
behind
push
you.
the crate and it just continues going until it runs into something and explodes.
Guys, do not turn the gravity on.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Duly noted.
None of you are in a position to do that, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But
Climbing as fast as I can.
Attention
so-
assholes, do not turn on
all right.
gravity.
So you get up to the top level, which is this data center level, we'll say where the crystals would be, and the door is closed.
Cow time.
Cow time.
Is
All
there-
You rigging a cow?
Is there a pad or anything? We try to pry it open.
Well, it's not powered on, so it doesn't matter.
It's just a door that's sitting there that we can...
Oh yeah.
Is there anything he can?
Close.
Does anything that looks like he can jimmy it open with his fucking saboteurs?
Possibly. You can
Is
try.
there like a pocket?
We have a standard way of doing things.
I mean, he could.
Just
or he
because
could-
you're
I'm
vegan.
worried that the loud noise could attract attention to us, and where we are.
Yeah. I'm gonna modify my laser pistol to try to weld through the door.
Okay.
With a constant beam.
Okay.
I guess. What would that be?
As we go down to 1
Is
laser
that
pistol
create
through the entire
device?
party.
Yeah,
got
modify
one.
an existing device to do something.
Yeah,
else.
that's fine. Yeah, well, we'll just say
No, I
that.
didn't think that.
So you basically have to deconstruct your laser pistol. So you can do it, but your laser pistol will be useless until you fix it.
Okay.
Don't roll poopy.
doesn't look like
That's a 9.
Okay.
Partial success.
Yep. All right. So you are able to cut a pretty decent size, kind of a. You cut through the door all the way, but you do not make a hole really big enough for anybody to fit through safely. Someone could try to squeeze through the hole, but you might risk damaging your spacesuit in the process.
Yeah, can they push me
Or you
through?
can. What's that?
Can they push me through? I'm fairly small.
I'm
about the size of
Aren't you boxy though?
Yeah, I'm a boxy trash can.
All right. Yeah, they can probably push you through. But the rest of you will either need to pry it open further using physical strength or some other way to open it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or you could risk it to try to get
It's
through
big
it.
enough to shove a cow into.
Yes.
Right. From the outside, yeah. Just
Stick the cow on the other side of the door. Splody
We
stick.
don't need to. I don't think we need to blow up an elevator door.
Why not?
We're gonna do this the good old fashioned way.
Just just
Ooh.
push
Just
it
shove
up.
a robot through.
all right. So he's in. What are the rest of you gonna do?
I'm gonna see if I can. We're in a data core, right?
But there's no power.
Yeah, but it's powered off.
Yeah. Can I find any? Or is there Now we'd have to turn the reactor on or something for that, right?
I'm gonna get out my tools.
Well, you don't
Yeah, I
even
mean,
know
we're-
why the power's off. That's part of the issue.
There's no auxiliary power we can.
No
throw
power.
Yeah, batteries were long ago burned out.
Or something. You don't know exactly, but yeah.
It's our guess.
Right.
I'm gonna use my utility belt, one of the charges, and I'm gonna get out like a, like some sort
Like
of
some thermal tape or something.
device that I can crank and it goes. Doot, 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 doot.
Yeah, like a reverse vice.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we have you roll your sabotage again, and we'll just you can mark the utility belt if it tells you to mark something instead of your tools. I don't know if that move tells you to mark tool or not. But
This one, yeah.
I have utility belt.
That is a 10.
okay. So
yeah.
yep, you do it.
Crank, crank, crank,
Okay.
crank, crank.
So now
crank.
the door's open for everybody to go through. Now it has now evacuated all the atmosphere inside of the because you have a
Right, we've made a nice hole to the outside,
this
and
tunnel all
air
the way
keeps
to
blowing.
space. The tunnel all the way to space. So now all the air is not that you care, but it's gone now. So okay. So you're now in this big data center.
Okay, there's actually one specific piece of data that I'm looking for
I
Okay.
tried the rest of
that's
it.
critical to the mission
Okay.
that I'd like to steal.
What is it?
It's more information specifically about their home planet.
Okay.
I don't know why I keep going for their home planet, but
Mm.
it's one information. It's just some additional information over there about them specifically.
So we don't have time to turn on our laptops and check every data crystal for what's valuable.
Yeah,
or
we're
not.
just gonna grab them.
No,
Literally shove them in a bag. Like I will hold open a bag and you will unplug and throw into the bag.
yeah, but there's a particular position that
advantage
I'm
of
aware
Noah.
of.
Yeah,
A particular position
you knew.
that I'm aware of
Mm-hmm.
that I think is actually very important.
Okay.
That I wanted. That
So it's
I
like a
want-
personal mission that you're trying to get.
Well, they also they're not completely
What about,
they're not
like-
completely aware of how important it is.
Yeah.
But it's
What if
pretty
it's like dirt on them that you
Yeah.
could use?
I like the idea of dirt. I was gonna say
Yeah.
something along
We
the
don't
lines
have to
of,
define what it is.
as far as like
But
it's a lot like since they're from a merchant house.
Yeah.
It's like basically
maybe some shady
a
deals
long
they
li-
did,
like some
or
shady deals have gone
bribing
on,
people
and that's like
shit. Yeah, totally.
the master list
Okay.
of what has happened. For some reason, this space station, the Doom Cube, the reason why it's called that is actually more of a data center than anything else.
Uh-huh.
It has all that information that's in there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So you guys are inside the data center. So you will notice that these crystals are kept in these plastic containers, I guess. So they're normally sealed, and so there's like these big cylinders. You can see through them; they're clear. But you see these literal, like, big shards of crystal just piled up in these tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Floor-to-ceiling tubes. So there's all over the place. And on each one of them is like a little console where you'd be able to figure out what was in them.
we
But
can
of
get-
course, they're all powered off.
Yeah,
so
like card catalog, but
yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So I go like at a normal
This
pace.
place is also very dark because you don't have any.
Yeah,
there's no
we
lights
just
in
have like
here,
the,
so
the
you have, like,
headlamps.
lamps on our.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say that you have a little light on your head. Why not?
Should we like figure out if anything else is in there?
That's probably a good
First.
idea.
If anyone else is
Yeah.
in there?
So analyze or
Or
understand,
do you
right?
want him? Since he said he was going to do it, do you want him to do it?
But I don't. That's not a good role for me though.
I'm
So?
pretty good at doing that. but-
Yeah.
No, you don't always have to roll stuff that you're good
Yeah,
at.
you
but
came in doing
You
it.
said that you wanted to do it. So
I
you
think
should
I have
roll.
this feeling that we should do it, and I want
Uh-huh.
someone else to do it
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm a scoundrel,
All right.
and I'm not going to take
Did
the
you
risk
mark your
myself.
XP for entering a secret place?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he led me to it too,
Yeah. Okay.
so I got that.
Yep. So that's
So I have
4,
6.
right? Well,
Yep.
Well, I got
four
the 2 from the
that.
diaries.
Right,
yeah,
right.
total.
Yep,
So I have
okay.
6.
Just remember to keep checking those, and you want to try to make those things happen, right? So
Yeah.
this is a new scene in case it matters for anybody. So this
It's
is
a reset.
Yeah, it's a new scene, right? So your reserve from the thing is gone, from the ships. That's gone.
Right.
Oh, okay.
We'll
But
have
then
one left
you
anyway.
don't get to reset your drives or anything.
No,
because
but
it's
I
still
did
the
No,
milestone.
because that's milestone. So this
Yeah.
milestone's still there.
Oh, okay. So the
Yeah.
drives are still there, and the relationships
Right.
are
Right.
The
Right, it's just
milestone
the
But-
things relating to your skills, except when specifically said otherwise.
Some
like
things last for a scene or whatever, but also you can now re-trigger your drives and relationships
Yeah.
because you have a new scene.
Oh, you can't.
So the restriction is, well, the triggering, right?
Yeah.
So getting XP for them.
Yeah, you don't change
You're
them,
not
but you
changing
can
them.
trigger
Yeah.
them again.
Okay.
Like, you can't just keep spamming the same thing over and
Which,
over
by
again.
the way,
Right.
I just
Yeah.
triggered his take him to new places.
Yeah, totally, yep. So if you guys get enough XP to advance, go ahead and do it. I don't know if you guys are close to
And
that.
you got us somewhere in a hurry because you got through there.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And
what
I
did it
still
trigger
need
twice?
3 more.
One more.
Yeah, because he triggered that last time for a different thing. That was you guys getting to the star system quickly. Now he triggered it in a different scene for getting us inside that door, right?
And is
Yeah,
that so? Is that a
quickly.
relationship then?
For
For
me,
him,
it
it
is.
was, yeah.
Okay, so each relationship can happen in each scene, and we've done 2 scenes so far.
Yes, exactly. Drives the same way. Yes.
So this is
Drives the same way.
Yeah. So once per scene, unless there's extenuating circumstances like I don't know, if it was like defeat an enemy and you defeat 2 different specific enemies in the same scene, you might trigger it twice.
Okay.
So this is like the command and control center where they have all the data crystals and everything.
No, that's not what this is.
Okay.
This is just storage.
a
vault.
data center. All that stuff is down by the reactor.
Okay. Understand. See how we extract all these crystals as quickly as possible.
Okay.
where-
I thought,
yeah.
okay, so is
Hey,
someone else
look
going to look
for
around?
threats.
Because he suggested
Okay.
looking around for danger.
All right.
So do you still want to do that, though?
I'm
since
not
he's-
good at that.
Okay.
So I'm going to be focusing more on understanding what's
That's
going
fine.
on
Okay. So he
here,
does
which
that.
is a 8.
Okay. So understand. All right. So,
Like how they're organizing this. Can I figure out anything about how they organize data so I can prioritize things around like extracting crystals about their weapon systems and their anything they have like that.
so
Things that would be more
these-
valuable, like schematics.
You can't tell anything about the specific structure of their data because you can't access the
Yeah, if
console,
they're like
so-
labels or anything.
No, they're physically just like 30 of these cylinders throughout this large room, and they're just filled with these purple crystals. Like there's no obvious organization to them. You know that there is like a kind of master table somewhere, but again, it would be in one of the computers, so you would need to access that.
And then, are there any computers around here that we could see if we could turn on?
Well, they don't have power.
There's no
You'll
power.
have
Yeah,
to
there's no
restore power to
We'd
the
have to
place.
return-
Can we hook him up? Can he reconfigure him? Put him in the computer center.
I guess you could use his onboard power to try to power one of the computers. Sure,
That's what I'm
possible.
saying.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that something you're comfortable with?
I don't think we're that desperate. I mean, how long was it going to take us to loot this effectively? Take all these?
To take all of them?
Or to take as much as we
Take
can
as
carry.
many as we feel.
Like 5 minutes?
Well, you're gonna have to figure out how to break through these tubes because right now they're just
Move over.
Oh, there's no open button?
No, well, if there was, it wouldn't
You
work.
can use your laser pistol again.
Yeah.
You can
It's-
physically break
it's
through them. They're
depleted.
plastic. They're hard plastic. You can break through them.
Yeah, you've got the
I've got a
pistol
laser
that
pistol that
cuts.
can just poop, poop, poop.
Yeah, but he's got the cutting
it's
pistol.
depleted.
Yeah, he already used.
Oh,
it.
is it
It's-
depleted?
Yeah.
Well, give me your cell, energy cell from his pistol. I can take
No.
that out.
Yeah,
This
he
is
could
mine.
just do the same thing.
How about
Why
I
not?
just give you a nice multi-tool from my
Utility.
specialized... Oh, I don't have... from my utility belt.
Sure. I mean, he'll basically use the sabotage.
So
move
he
again.
can... Yeah, so...
And what I'll allow him to do is, if he gets a
Well-
partial, he can mark a utility belt.
Yeah.
Yours is
Would it be
his.
sabotage?
Yeah.
Or I have dismantle.
Oh yeah. Dismantle might work. Well, what does dismantle do?
That's break down a piece of technology for parts.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing
That's
here.
fine. Yeah.
Take it apart at the base.
Okay.
Their computers are extremely valuable. They use these special
Yeah,
data
that's,
crystals.
yeah, that's
that are
legit. Yep.
3 times faster than the average modern
Sure.
data input-output interface.
And we're all grabbing these things, right?
Nerd.
There's
Well,
no.
he's trying to figure out how to open up on them right now.
Okay.
And then if
So
he can
even
do
if we
that,
can't get what's on the
he
crystal,
won't
the
have to
crystal
roll
themselves
for
are
every
so
round.
valuable.
This is just.
And so, do I analyze right now? Is that it?
Well, let's
Yeah.
have him roll first, and then yeah.
Oh yeah, 13.
Okay.
So-
So what does the move let you do on a complete success?
On any success, you recover a usable part. This counts as 1 barter, and you have +1 forward to barter move if needed. Complete success, you can choose to create a repair module or restore use of specialized tools instead of using it for barter.
So you haven't used. Someone used tools. Oh, did you use your tools?
No, he used the tools to open the
I
front
use the
door.
utility belt.
Okay, so if you want to create a repair module, you can. What that does is you can restore, I think, 8 hull or 8 vitality to either the robot or the ship.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We already
Like a
have some
healing
repair
potion.
stuff for the ship.
I have one
With the hard
repair
plastic though.
Well, he basically like
He
takes
can.
stuff apart.
Well,
and-
Yeah.
I mean, I take apart from the bottom. Where it
yeah.
was,
So
like,
we'll say that there's
encased in-
circuitry and shit, and he just
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He knows what to do.
So it's a
with it.
nice
Again,
little
it's
bonus to the
abstract,
goods.
so we're not going to worry about it.
And the data crystals, even if there isn't anything on them, they're still useful because they're high input output, very
So-
valuable central computer core.
So all of the crystals in this cylinder would probably one person could carry all of them.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, you
So
can.
it's open. I am actually going to roll. I'm looking.
It's 0G, so
So
we can
there's
fill up
that-
a sack and toss it down, and fill up a sack
Yeah.
and toss it down.
There's one
That's the
specifically
plan.
that I'm looking for.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to use my thief move.
Right. Well, okay. So hold on. So are you going to do analyze or your thief move? Because those are different things.
Well, he already opened it up and Ruiz is scurrying around and stuff like
Well,
that.
but no one has checked to see what's going on in the room. This is a big room. You don't know.
Yeah,
what's...
we're just
Okay, I'm gonna, and that's analyze.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
Yeah. Most likely.
wisdom.
And then it gets plus to wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So I have 0 wisdom. That's gonna be pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a naked
depends on how
die
you
roll.
It's naked.
9.
Okay.
So
You got a partial success. So you get to ask one question off of the list under analyze.
You know which one to ask.
Is it what here is not what it appears to be?
That's legit. Is that the
That's
one
a
you wanna ask?
legit question you could ask. What
Yeah,
here is
there's a
useful or
couple of them.
valuable
Yeah,
to
I mean,
me
there's
is
a
also
couple
a
of
good
them
one.
that would be legit. Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, can I ask him a quick question?
What-
or is
what
it
should I
still
be-
the middle of that roll? Hey, how much do you think these crystals cost, give or take?
They're probably like 1 credit a
Like
piece.
if they were blank, not 1 credit apiece. You probably this whole cylinder would probably.
Well, you're the robot,
One
you know.
credit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
I
asking.
mean, if they're blank, if they're like brand new and they don't have any data on them, probably this whole thing would be worth 1 credit. 1 credit's a lot of money.
Yeah, 1 credit's quite a lot.
Yeah. So this
So
whole
it's like-
stack of
like
them
we
is
can
worth
probably
a
like.
credit. But the data on them is probably worth more than that. I'm just talking about if you bought a
Yeah.
brand new sleeve of these things, it'd be 1 credit. Yeah.
Yes, how much do you think the data on this costs?
Like,
The data,
depends on what's on there.
yeah, if it's valuable data, a couple of credits.
A couple of credits. All right, so he helped me with financial stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark 2 XP. All right, are you guys close to advancing?
Oh,
One away.
And I
only
analyze.
have 1
Okay.
experience point.
Oh wait,
You only have 1?
I have
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then
You
what's
have 2.
advanced?
It's-
Wait,
we're
how,
giving out
No, I
double.
mean,
How
2,
much
I
do I
only have
advance?
Experience
how much do you
points.
need to advance?
9.
9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8.
Okay. Cool.
Same here.
How do you not have that many? You're
He
not
just
doing
hasn't been triggering stuff.
Oh.
Well,
He's
I
been
mean,
doing plenty.
maybe drives to
You
get all
just
the
dismantled
commodity.
something, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's not.
I'm gonna ask,
that's not a-
what should I be
That's not a drive?
careful?
I thought you had a what?
Create or modify
Create
a device.
or modified.
You
or-
did
You
that
create a
already.
repair model.
What
So,
should I be
repair
careful
model.
to avoid?
Counter-creation.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
What should I be careful to avoid in this?
Okay,
That's
so
what my analyze, my
all right,
partial success. that's
so
what I'm asking.
you are kind of wandering around the room a little bit. Let's say you get back towards the opening to the elevator,
Yeah.
and you
I guess these are valuable commodities too.
yeah totally
I'll take that.
you see you happen to
So
look in the
actually-
elevator shaft, and you see these like red lights, like lasers, like pointing up
Sights?
towards pointing up the elevator shaft.
Yeah. Right now?
Yeah, like, and they're moving around a little bit. They look like, if you had to guess, you'd say they were targeting lasers.
Would I be able to tell him to repair the door so it looks like that there's no damage to the door?
We put a hole in it.
He could. It depends on. I mean, it's
There's
pretty
a hole in the
obvious,
door.
and
Ready
it
to
would
get
take
the
him
frag
time to
cows
do
up?
that. You don't know what the lights are coming from.
So does the whole party know that, or just
Just you right now, unless you say something about
I'm
it.
gonna let everyone know that.
Okay, there's something in the elevator shaft. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, something.
The good news is we're on helmets, so we have
Yeah,
little
you guys have. Yeah.
radio channels to.
Yeah, so I let everyone know to be cautious on the way out. We
um,
may have to take a different way out. Actually, it's
Yeah.
probably.
Are there other ways out of here?
You don't know.
that
We
maybe
can see.
You could roll analyze and find out.
I really don't.
You haven't
Roll
explored the room
close.
that much yet. Well, now it's a dangerous situation because
you want to get the fragments ready while we look around?
Yeah.
Do you want to try to do it? You could. So you don't have to roll for each cylinder. We'll just say that you know how to do it, and you just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take all those apart.
That's fine. So you're doing that while other people. What actually? Why don't we go
Partial
back
on
to
the
Matt? He hasn't done
analyze.
anything yet.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
did you roll already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
And then I'll.
let's
shut
resolve that. Okay.
up.
Yeah, partials.
Let's see. So looking to analyze. Yeah, none of these are really helpful for what here is useful or valuable to me in the context of getting away from guys with laser.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't be a genie.
So you do see that there are escape pods on this level that you could get to if you had to escape from here. Because this is the top of the space station, the elevator is pretty much the only exit out of here that you see. You
There's
do.
Jeffrey's tubes or anything to climb through.
And escape pods need power.
No. So the escape pods are designed so that you, in an emergency, you can just launch them.
Okay.
So they have like little engines.
Spring loaded.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, they have
'cause
like
they
an
have to be able
explosive bolt and then their own
Yeah, they
engines
have to
and
be able to
batteries come
operate
on.
in an emergency. So yeah, you could get out using those. Well, actually, we'll say there's a cargo lift on the other side to lift bigger stuff. So like the elevator you guys went up was a personal, like for people.
Yeah.
There's a cargo one too. But again, that would just go down into the rest of the space station.
Right.
So there's
So if
no
we
like
wanted to get out of
exit,
here.
exit.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not saying that we avoid combat. I'm just saying
Right.
that we if these guys are killing us, we know how to get out of
So
here.
that's what you find out. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and I literally there's a cargo shaft at the back if we need to escape.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we see any lasers from that, or is it too far away? to
Well,
see?
you haven't gone over that. You just
Yeah,
saw
it's
it.
too
You're
far
like,
away
oh,
to
there's a
see.
thing over here. All right.
Yeah.
What do you want to do,
Call down the shaft.
Mr. Map? Did you advance?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. So map advanced. So what did you pick?
Sweet.
One with the machine, so I can connect to computers.
And what does that mean? So,
So on the back, there's some advances on the bottom.
oh, okay.
So when you get an advance, you get to pick one of those options there.
Okay, thank you.
And so he picked one of the ones. They're all different on each sheet. So you have one specific to being a jack. He has one specific to being a robot.
So,
So he picked one called. What does your move do that you just picked up?
I can connect to a network and delve its knowledge. So basically, I can hack networks now,
Yeah.
and
so
I
that's
get
pretty cool.
additional.
Great.
I'm going to use my thief skills when this is all happening. We're all kind of collecting stuff.
Well, I wanted to give him a chance to do. He hasn't done anything in a while, so I was going to give him a chance to
sorry.
do something. If you want to, if you can't think of anything, that's fine. You haven't done anything, so I was going to give you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna plug into this computer and see if I can power it on.
Okay, sure. So why don't we go ahead and have you use the move you just got?
Okay.
That sounds good.
Why do we need to do that, though?
I just want to check to see if I can find any.
Well,
really
if he can get into the
valuable data.
system, that would actually give you guys a lot of info.
Because
right.
one, I might be
Right.
able to get sensors.
R2D
throughout
can
the
find
ship.
out all the
So
things that
basically,
are
what we're
going on in
saying
the
is
ship.
that we'll say that you've got like a little connector that's
don't
powered,
like that.
and so
I don't
it
like that.
gives it enough juice for you to turn on for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Download what you can.
Yeah.
Nice.
10,
Wow.
11, 12.
Okay.
Steve's
So what does the
rolling
move let you
house.
do on a complete success? You guys have only failed twice so far. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of partials.
Since the clock
Yeah.
came up. You may have failed before that, but
Any success, choose one.
okay.
Yeah, that's I just get to choose one. There's no negative.
Okay. What happens on a partial? You just don't.
You draw on one at a time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Or put in danger.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yay.
Location of something or someone important.
Okay. So what do you want to find?
The location of something.
Well, you have to tell me.
What's the most important data? Like, what's the most valuable data here?
Okay, all right. Now that is kind of a subjective thing. So is it valuable to like that you'd want to sell on the black
Yes,
market?
that we
Okay.
would be able to sell on the black market.
Okay, totally. Well, just for the purposes of this, we'll say you find something. So one of the little tubes he hasn't opened yet has that in it. So you know where that is now.
Okay, so cool.
So he's done that. All right, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I want to steal that valuable piece of information.
Okay.
Or the crystal. And I use my thief. So you quickly take something, an object you can hold in your hand. I'm guessing that's one of the data crystals. And I can probably swap a crystal out.
You gotta get in the tube.
You'd have to get to it first, unless it's one they've already opened. He's only opened one of those tubes so far.
Yeah.
So he's working on the second one.
He's working on the second one.
Right. So the problem is you don't know where that is in here.
Are you sure I don't?
Yeah, you haven't. You don't have any way to find it yet
Oh.
because he's the only one that's been able to do anything with the system. The system's been powered off.
Right, until
So
he
there's all
announces
these random
something
crystals.
while we're talking about escape hatches
Right.
and
There's just 30 tubes in here full of crystals. You can't identify any of them
Man,
because
get
the
ready for
power is
battle.
turned
Okay,
off.
so there's no way I know like which crystal.
They all look the same.
data is it?
Yeah, they all look
But
the
which
same.
number it is?
Yeah, you don't know. They all
Okay.
look exactly the same. So without him being able to check for stuff, you may be able to convince him to look
take the
for it
extra
for
move
you.
from the
Yeah.
combat
That's
droid.
totally legit.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't know. You don't have anything to take yet. So you want to do something else?
How would I? How would I convince him to do that? I guess.
You could just ask him.
We've got hostiles approaching. We should be getting ready.
Well, you don't know what that is. That's part of the problem. You don't know what's in the tube.
At all, but he already knows.
He doesn't know what's in there. No, I'm talking about the elevator. You don't know what's coming up or doing something those lights.
okay.
You don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to take care of the problem in front of us.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you want to do about it, if anything? Or you just ignore it.
Because he's actively fragmenting the door.
I think
You
I
just
go in and I
Let's
just
figure out.
Pop through the constricted space of the
so
door.
just the first one is open. Basically, the first.
Yes. So okay. So there's these glass cylinders. They're full of these purple crystals.
So he's got the first 10 of
opening
them.
He opened up one, and you're putting it in some kind of container, I guess.
Right,
I
it's
don't know.
a giant sack.
Sure.
Okay. Can I take one of those like without someone noticing?
You can try.
Well, yeah, I walked away from the bag. I tied it up, but I
I
walked
mean,
away
Okay.
you
from
can,
the
you can
bag.
roll.
to-
That's also what you want
to
to
go
do.
look
sure.
around.
Yeah, that's the thief
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Seven, 8.
Okay. So what happens on a partial? success on your thief move.
So we need to check out what these guys are.
The target or someone else knows you took it.
That's what I care more about. You're
If
gonna
it triggers,
explode the first guy who walks through.
if this move triggers a drive, add +1 forward.
Okay, so do you have a drive related to this?
Yes, it is steal an item critical to mission and have.
Okay. We'll say it's critical. Well, so I'm trying to figure out. So you guys are all taking these crystals. So you taking one for yourself isn't really critical to the mission, right? Because you guys are all you're taking all of them.
So I can't take all of them at once.
Well, right. I mean, critical to the mission would be like, we have to, like, the bad guy has some item and we need to take it from him,
Yeah.
right? In order to succeed at our mission.
So I'd steal
Like,
all of them.
You're all stealing them. That's what I'm trying to say. You
Yeah.
guys are all stealing these things. So you stealing one or whatever, however many you can hold in your hand, isn't really critical to the mission because you're taking as many as you can take already.
Yes.
Unless you were, like, screwing with their mission, I can see that maybe. Like, if you're...
Yeah,
intending
well,
to
data's
betray
going to
them.
be... Well, yeah, that's...
You see
what
what I'm
I'm
saying?
hoping
It has,
for.
the critical part is the sticking point here. So it has to be something that's important.
Is there any way for him to know what's on the different data arrays?
Yes, he has to basically do the same thing he did earlier. He has to power on this computer and look for that
Okay.
information.
Do you need me to
Unless
do
you
that?
guys
Yeah.
can restore power to the whole place, in which
Can you
case
do that?
You know,
Yeah, is there something
So we have to
specific?
get to
Guys,
that.
we got hostiles coming in.
right.
All right, I'm gonna push a cow.
I mean, I'm not trying to say no to what you're doing, but I don't think it's going to trigger the drive the way you're
Yeah,
trying to, because
unfortunately.
it's not critical to the mission. That's the thing.
But I have one right now in my
Sure, you
yeah.
have one. It just we still have to because you rolled, so we still have to deal
Someone
with the
noticed
fact that
it.
you rolled. So somebody knows you did it. So
Yeah.
we'll say one of them does because no one else is, as far as you know, there's no.
Well,
one
he
else
turned
that-
around, so he wouldn't know.
Well, probably
So
he
I
does.
guess-
Well, he does.
Well, he's like...
He's sitting there doing it. He would see you doing it probably.
Okay.
But does he care? Who knows?
Yeah.
But he knows. That's the only consequence. So
Okay.
Okay. Did you want to do something?
I'm gonna push a cow towards the elevator.
Okay. So
And tether it up.
Why don't we roll? Why don't you roll the
Just
five?
floating in the hallway, so they can
It's
come
in-
up and be like,
it's
"Is
in
that? Is there a? That's a
One on the
cow."
inside of the door, one on the outside of the door. Cow in a box.
Are there all the cows in here with you guys right now?
Yeah.
3 cows
Three.
inside.
I
Alright.
stacked them. They're kind of like.
So you're
bouncing
gonna
up and down.
push one towards the elevator,
Yeah.
the opening. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tether it
So are you doing it quickly or carefully?
I mean, I'll
I'm
Careful.
gonna have you defy danger basically. So
yeah.
What do you want to
I'm
roll?
gonna
Int
do
or
it
dex?
carefully.
Okay, so roll plus your int.
What you got to do it carefully is the question?
So
Max,
we're
did you want
using
water? You got water.
11.
11. Okay, so you successfully do it. So you send the cow towards the door. It blows up. It damages the door, which actually makes a bigger hole in the door.
The
Kills it,
elevator?
choke
Well, I
point.
didn't want to blow it up yet.
Oh, I thought you did.
No,
No,
it's just
no,
hanging
we're
out
trying
in the
to
hallway.
leave it as like an ambush.
Oh, I see.
A
Okay,
confusing ambush.
Okay, so it's in the way.
Oh, look, it's
Yeah.
a cow.
It's a...
Why is there a cow?
Why is there a random cow in a box?
It's our maneuver.
Are you a manu?
Yeah,
Boom,
sorry.
boom,
So
boom,
you successfully. It doesn't blow up unexpectedly.
Yeah, but it's
so
it's set to
it's-
blow.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right.
You've got these remote detonated though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now what?
Getting in position to ambush.
Yeah.
Like I've
no,
got
waiting behind
my
the
pistol
door.
out, hiding behind some of the one of the data cores by the door. And
Can he open up some of the other ones?
What? Other one wants?
The data cores?
I mean, I can
Yeah.
start working on them
Yeah.
again.
He can. Yeah. It takes
Yeah.
time.
I just
he
have
can,
to.
yeah.
Well, at least need to position some sort of.
and if I can, I'm going to throw the bag towards the cargo lift.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go.
That
start
way it's
working on
close to
them again.
the exit if we need to run
Well,
away.
just give them to me and I'll strap them on because
Okay.
I'm not a
yeah, they're
I'm
strapped
not a
onto your
fighter.
back.
I'll give
I'm
the
a lover, not a
detonator.
fighter.
I'll give the detonator to Bugatti.
Okay.
Are we just
Like-
gonna try and ambush these
This
guys and then run
button
away?
is to blow up
Yeah,
the
'cause I
cow
don't
at
even
the
have a
door.
weapon right now. So.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Is our job just to wait until they come through, blow it up, and then run away?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll see who
Okay.
they
Just
are.
as long as we're in agreement here.
I mean, I don't see what other plan. We can't fight a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a
So-
We
combat
got-
operation.
So he's going to roll.
I don't need to roll. I just need to keep working on them.
So you can keep working on
It's
him.
just time. I'm just sitting
Yeah.
there.
So
are you
like
just setting up
every-
a cow on the inside of the door and the outside of the door, basically?
Well, just on the inside. I mean, I don't know how many cows you.
And then line
So I'm
one
going
up.
to roll
got
again
three.
to see if I can...
There's only one.
I'm
door
gonna
in
roll
the
to
room
look
from the
Yeah.
elevator shaft.
and
I'm
see
assuming that's
how
what
close
comes
they are if anyone's out
So
the
you're gonna
door.
look into the shaft to see what's down there.
I'm going
Investigate
to...
it.
Someone's
Yeah,
got
I
to take
wanna
the rest of
see-
these cows the other side of the room.
Yeah, I want to see
Just throw them over.
how
It's
much...
zero
Like,
gravity.
we see the red lights and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah.
I want to see
Oh, yeah.
how long we have left.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna have you roll defy danger because something might shoot at you when you do that.
Yeah.
So you're going to roll plus your dex to like quickly look and then duck out of the way so you don't
Yeah.
get shot
So
at.
+1.
Yeah.
I can't do it plus charisma.
Nobody's aiding you.
That wouldn't make any sense. To talk your way.
Hello.
Not like the
Hey there! How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's
You
all
want to
okay.
stick your head out and say don't shoot? That's different.
You don't know what's down there.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna defy danger.
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah.
fail. I
All right.
die.
All right.
Like
now you
right
don't die.
there.
But I do mark another box, so we're now 3 out of 12.
Now, not only are you right on top of the cow, they are too.
So when you look down the shaft, you see a bunch of these. They look like giant spiders, but they're very obviously mechanical, and they're climbing up the walls of the shaft. And they try to shoot at you. Pew, pew, pew. So they just shoot like little lasers on their heads. They just... So I'm going to have them do damage to you, but they're going to do half damage since you got a... Oh, no, you failed, so they just do damage to you, yeah. So roll d6 damage.
Roll
Oh,
low.
wait, back up. Sorry, that doesn't count. It's d4 plus 4. They're a minion group books. I'll
Right.
explain here in a minute. So 5 damage.
Minus your armor.
Yeah, minus your armor.
And I have that one armor from there.
Yeah.
So you
that
take 4
effectively
off your
makes it 4
vitality.
points of damage.
Yep.
Which hurts, but isn't quite as
Where's my
deadly.
vitality? 12, so I'm at 8.
Right.
Wrong
So,
move.
so the way this works, so in the game you have singular enemies, and then you have what's called minion groups. So a singular enemy works kind of like you guys, where they have a single pool of hit points, they have armor, they have damage, etc., etc. There are also minion groups. So what you do with a minion group is you kind of combine a group of bad guys or something together, and they have one pool of hit points.
Yeah.
And as you damage them, it decreases their number. So there's 4 of them right now. So as you do damage to them or anything, their number drops. And as their number drops down, the damage they do also drops down. That shows that they're decreasing in effectiveness.
Okay.
So what the general rule of thumb is, there's 4 vitality for each creature. So their pool of hit vitality is 16. When you do 4 damage to their group, they drop down to 3 of them.
Yeah.
And when they do damage, they do d4 plus 3.
So how much? So his thing probably does a lot of damage, right?
We'll find out.
If it works.
So they're basically in the doorway now, right? They're climbing.
They're in the
quickly.
doorway?
They're about to. Yeah, they're at
They're
the point
about
where
to
you
do the
can,
hallway.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Get
you
out
can-
of there,
So
Bugatti.
blow them up.
your answer should be to push away and use the zero
If
gravity.
he
to-
blows up right
get as
now, you're
fast
right
as
next to
you're-
the bomb.
No, he has a detonator.
Oh, you
Oh,
have
I-
the detonator. I thought you had it.
No,
I gave it
you
to
gave
him.
it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're right next to them. You would be hit by it if you did it right now.
I thought. Okay, so I thought they were still kind of coming up.
Well,
out
they're
of the
quicker
back.
than you thought.
Okay.
Spiders run fast.
They're like.
Climbing
That's
Fine
part of your
faster.
failure.
So can I
is
use
that
my
they-
dexterity to try to bounce out of that?
Totally. You
So
probably
you're going to
should.
defy
danger when
danger
you're
to,
right.
You
to
probably should.
Yeah, you probably should.
Use your
duck out
charisma.
and make it explode.
I can't talk to them, right?
I mean, you could try, but they'll bypass the cow and then you won't be able to use it. I mean, they're moving very fast.
Trust me, you want the cow.
6.
I think
He
you
has
failed
7
again.
still, right?
No,
What's your
that's
dex?
6 total.
Dex is, I think, plus
Plus
1.
1.
Okay, so you failed again.
I'm dead.
No, you're
I'm
not dead.
I'll get hit.
You're not dead. I'm not going to do that much damage to you, number 1. All right. So, but I did mark another clock, so we're now a third of the way through the clock. So we're at 4 out of 12. Okay, so the robots overwhelm you. You're not able to get away in time to safely use the bomb.
Yeah.
And they shoot this goo at you.
Override.
Kind of like a spider web.
Yeah.
And it traps you. So now you're stuck under this goo and you can't move. So you guys see this happening.
He got gooed.
Basically, yeah. And they're now coming into the room. There's 4 of
Ah,
them. They're just
shit.
kind of into the room.
Override explode.
He's right next to the cow.
Yeah, but
He's
we
got-
barely know
he's
that
got
guy.
armor. He's got armor.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He does have armor.
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, these bombs.
Would I be able to faint at this point in response to...
No, you failed already. See, when you fail, the consequence is the thing happens.
Yeah.
You can do that in response to it, you being webbed.
Yeah. In response to me being
Theoretically.
webbed,
You could roll that,
because I'm thinking someone in danger swells.
but you can't move.
Place it with your... Oh, I can't move.
You can't move when you're webbed like this. Unless you
Okay.
can figure out a way to get out of it. That's probably not going to get you out of the situation you're in. You could do something else. You could try
Do you have
to
any weapons?
You can
break
defy
it with
with
your
strength
strength.
or
You could try to
something?
break out of it.
So
I have negative
I've
1
got the
strength.
only laser
That's okay.
pistol active.
Just
Just,
roll
I'm
10.
melee with
I can't
melee
talk my
weapons.
way out of
I'm
the
a
web.
beetle.
No, unfortunately. And the
I'm
robots
gonna
probably
try to
don't
roll
care what you
dexterity
say
again.
either. Well,
To try to slink out of the web.
it'd be strength probably because you're stuck. Like you have to physically break out of it.
All right. I guess I'm going to have to try it.
Zap says,
Well, you
don't
know, someone
die,
else could get
Yuji.
you out. Let's just
Yeah.
let someone.
Yeah,
Maybe someone
let's-
else will get you out.
Let's
of it.
take it easy on the dice rolling that you're
All
going
right.
to fail.
What do you? Let's
Zap's
go
in the
back.
chat says, don't
What
die.
does Map want to do?
Zap, really?
Yeah. Kieran and Zap's are watching.
If you know the command word override, I'd go for it and blow it up.
I'm going to die.
Oh, the
Don't blow up the cow.
cow.
Don't blow
I
up
don't
the
think
cow.
I do. Would I know it?
No, I mean he has.
It's
I
a physical
programmed
like a
them all.
button, right?
Yeah, I programmed them all. I just reprogrammed before I came over.
It's
Right
very
away.
1950s. There's only one button for one cow, and that's it.
I tried to make it
all
simple.
these detonators. Which button am I supposed to know? This is number 3.
No, it's like the like a
There's a-
fireworks.
There's a
Like
cow
a
with blue
bell
spots, a
curve.
cow with red spots, and a cow with green spots. The problem is you're
Blue.
colorblind.
Blue 3. All right. Wait, you don't have to do anything, but
I guess I'll try and go free him.
okay. How do you want to do that? You could aid him in his eventual
Encouragement.
strength roll to get out. You could
Yeah,
do
well,
that.
I've got to get. I mean,
You can cut him. I'll give you my laser pistol.
well,
You
I've
can-
got a laser tool, so I could
you do.
cut
You have a
it.
laser
I mean,
tool.
I can't use it to attack anything, but I'm sure I could cut with it.
Well, essentially, what we'll say is you're aiding him at his
Yeah.
roll to break out.
I'll scoot over to him,
Okay.
And I get
trying
plus
to
one.
avoid the spiders. I mean, do the spiders attack me per se? Do they care
They
about the
could
fact that I'm a
attack you.
robot?
They could attack you. So if you want to
the cows
physically
explode
go
if
over
they
to
get
him, you'll
shot?
need to defy danger to avoid them.
Okay,
No,
I'll
either
defy
one.
danger,
Okay, if their life
intelligence
signs expire, do they
to
explode?
find the best
No,
path
they're in
that
crates.
guide around.
Totally. Yep.
Wait, they are in crates.
Yeah.
There's full of oxygen.
Snake
Yeah,
eyes.
Yay!
Oxygen is exploding.
Yeah.
So I'm
You run
trying.
headlong
That's
into
right.
the
Yeah,
spiders.
yeah. I'm like,
We had to move the other
I'm
cows away.
panicking.
Does not compute.
No, I'm just thinking if I can get that oxygen to explode, it'll make the cow
One
explode,
thing is out of
which
place.
will then...
Oh,
Yeah,
Throws you all
Your
off. That's it.
OCD is just thrown into complete disarray. All right, so he failed again. So we're now 5 out of 12 on the clock.
Super failed.
So
And he's over there.
He rushes towards the downed
Bugatti.
Bugatti. And the spiders just converge on him and just shoot
Shit!
their face lasers. Pew, 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 pew. So you take D4 plus 4 damage. That is
Oh.
8. Minus your armor, so
8,
6.
so 6, yeah.
Yeah, and you're a pain in the ass to repair, too.
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
Don't you have a repair module or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 of them now.
Excellent. That's good. Okay, so that was an epic failure. All right, now do you have any drives or anything or relationships that you might have triggered for that? Well, you did try to do it, so you get credit.
No, I just got to make him keep his word.
Oh no, not there.
Yeah, but I don't actually know what his word was.
Now you guys have
The
to
word
establish that.
is-
The word is Bugatti.
So no, I really
The word
didn't trigger
is
anything.
Fromage. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys can, if we have time, you guys
Yeah.
can roleplay that. Okay. What about our pilot? What do you want to do? Spiders now in the room. They've just pelted him with lasers.
Well, the plan was to run away and blow a fragment, but we blew that.
Well, he's
You
stuck
could still
under
do
the
it.
cow.
I mean,
And he also
no,
has
I
the trigger
can't. I don't
for it.
have the
the
trigger.
cows are still there. They can still be blown up. So go
And
for it.
I do have the trigger.
The cows
for it.
are just floating tranquil
I
in
can
the hallway.
manually activate
I
it.
will
Good, yeah.
start retreating towards the
The
cargo
shaft.
lift while shooting at the spiders.
Okay. So
I was gonna
just
say,
go ahead and
I
roll
have
shoot.
all the-
So
I have
I'm
everything
carefully
strapped to
like
my back.
moving in and out
Well,
of cover, slowly moving.
Let's just have you roll
backwards.
shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's more or less.
Yeah.
So that will be an 8.
Okay. So on a partial success on shoot,
Yep.
you do your damage, and then you will also pick one of the bad things. So there's 3 things listed under the shoot move that you have to pick
Yep.
as a negative consequence.
So how many shots do I get if I fire multiple shots? Is it D3 or
You do your normal damage. Is it say that you...
fire several shots, mark 1 ammo or recharge?
Right, so weapons have a thing, it's like uses,
Yeah.
it's called recharge.
It's just the fact that it says multiple shots. That's
It's just a justification
okay.
for it. So you're
You missed on
Okay.
one and hit on
yeah,
another.
yeah.
Right,
So
so
you're
I-
marking recharge. So what happens is the guns have recharge, which is
Yeah.
like ammo. You
Yeah.
don't mark that every time you shoot. You only
Yeah.
mark it when it tells you to.
Okay.
So when you mark them all, the gun's out of juice, right?
I'm gonna shoot at the thing.
Well, hold on. We're still
Yep. So there's 8 points of fiery goodness.
okay. So they have armor that is 6. After their armor, no, it's okay. You took out one of them. So you take out one of the little spider guys.
Alright.
One of them, the
There's
other
3
one's
left.
hurt.
There's 3 left, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I shoot?
You need to
At that-
cut
You
yourself
can't
out.
move. 'cause you're-
Like my hand.
I'll let you shoot with a -1. We'll say that your arm is out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or an idea.
Cut yourself out and hope.
Well,
that
he's
you
he's
get
kind of amorphous. You can kind of like.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's fair.
Well, the thing is, so your
That's
alien
really-
thing isn't
I mean-
supposed to like give
I
you
mean
all
the
the
fire to fire.
Well, I mean that's
Well, I'm
fine. He
letting
can
him
fire
do
the
it,
gun,
yeah.
but he can't see.
Right. So,
So
I'm
it's
letting
still
him
dumb.
do it with a -1.
The
instead of
eyeballs are
saying
still
he
so
can't do it at
so
all.
it's basically a raw roll because my dexterity is +1.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Wild roll.
Wild roll.
Oh,
Wow.
Fucking 11! Fucking.
What's your die roll? D8.
Here's the shoot.
Oh wait,
Are you using a pistol?
it's a damage die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
D8.
Oh, so I shouldn't have rolled
No,
that.
no,
No,
right.
that's
You gotta
your-
see if
Now
hit
you roll
first.
Yeah.
first to hit and then to damage.
and then you
Yeah,
roll that too.
you were successful, so now you roll the damage die. And then I think your
You
pistol,
plus 1 for the pistol.
I think pistol
So
has
that's
1.
6 points.
Here, flip over and look at the pistol real quick. It tells you stuff about it.
Pistols plus 1 damage.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you add 1, so you did 6, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
So there's another dead spider.
So you do 4 total. So yeah, there's 2 left now. So you took out 1 of them.
1 at half and
Right.
1 at all.
Okay, what about our scientists?
How do these crystals interact with lasers? Can I throw some, like, create, like, a...
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Refract a bunch of laser beams from one.
You just go up and
they're
eat a
pretty
spider?
fragile. You don't think they would be terribly helpful?
Go into combat.
I just want to reduce damage from the enemies.
Um,
Firing at us.
You just want to
could-
strap them on you as an armor?
We're not using that as armor.
You could take a bag
That's the
full of
loot.
them. You could take a bag full of them and count it as 1 armor. Sure.
You
No,
don't. You don't
no,
strap
no,
the loot.
no.
do you?
We
No.
already started the loot strapped to
Yeah,
his back.
actually, I have all
Well, no,
the.
but
he's
he may
glued
have,
down.
but he
No,
may
I'm
have
not.
another
I just
set
got
of them
hit.
though, because he's dismantling them as he goes.
There's
So.
How many
Bits everywhere.
how many did
Flying.
they dismantled so far?
I think 2 or 3 probably. He's
So
been doing
all of
other
them?
stuff. No, there's 30 of them.
Fragment.
Is what?
There's 30
Can't
cylinders.
blow ourselves up.
So each cylinder has how many crystals?
I know what I'm
A
going to do.
bag full, basically.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of the cylinders that
Yeah.
they were in and try to just cram it up against the spider, because they're not too big, right?
So you're just gonna slam it
You
into
could like try to damage it with it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he
Or
using
pin
it as a
I'm trying
bat?
to pin
Yeah,
it.
they're small. They're like this. They're like this big. They're not
I'm
that
gonna
big.
trying
use it
to
as a
pin it
ring.
against the wall.
Okay, so I
And
guess
some laser eyes.
Like putting a mason jar over a
roll,
spider.
like defy danger with strength, maybe to
Strength?
try to
Yeah.
trap it. Sure, why not? Muscle bound.
9.
Okay.
So parts
Strapped and it shoots you.
defy danger. So
You offer me a choice of a stalemate, placing you in different danger, damage, or the loss of a resource.
okay. All right. You do that. You manage to trap one of them underneath this thing, but the other one climbs up your back.
Okay.
And it's about to shoot you in the head. So you can either do like just think about it, or someone else can try to like destroy it or
I will
deal
attempt
with
to
it.
shoot it off.
All right. Do
Get
it.
it off!
5.
I was hoping that would happen.
yeah, boy.
You shoot
You just shot him
Elliot in the head.
Guess who
No,
you
no,
shot
no, no.
instead?
Did I shoot him right in the ass? Come
You
on.
shot
Did I
him
shoot him in the
somewhere.
ass?
It's up to you. Where's the insect's ass?
No,
I don't know, but he's gotta do
the
it.
The bottom of your abdomen. All right. So anyway,
he shot him in
So
his
am I doing-
waka.
roll your damage. Yep.
Wait, that's a bird, right?
There you go. Have 6 points of fiery goodness right in the boot cheeks.
So just FYI, I've marked
I have no
half
armor.
of the boxes now for the clock.
Oh shit. Okay.
So,
I'm pretty sure we're only getting out with the data crystals.
All right.
Someone else get it off.
well, no. So he failed to get it off of you. So
Right.
it does something to you. So I don't want to have it just damage you again because that's kind of lame. It pushes you down to the ground and you're basically pinned right now.
Oh, okay.
So all right. So do you
On
want to
your
try
back,
to get out of your
which is
weapon?
bad for me.
Are you going to get the your little
Is
zap
there any way
stick
I
out
can try to
and start?
shoot
I hate
Yeah.
eight-legged
what's
things.
going
On
on
R2D
with that
bag.
same
You
thing?
still have the -1. So yeah,
minus
totally.
one?
Until you get yourself out of the web.
Yeah, we're not about to run out of clock,
enemies.
so
I'm doing it.
All right.
I'm doing it. I'm
All
gonna
right.
try to shoot that.
yeah,
son of
you
a
roll
bitch.
good and they die.
6.
Yeah, shit, on my...
Oh.
Okay. Well, we're marking the clock again. Well, you guys are tearing through this thing now. All right. I'm glad I made 12.
Yeah, we front loaded all our success.
Yeah. Okay, so
I shoot him again. I
no.
shoot the
We'll
fucking
have
crystals
something
down.
else happen. Okay,
Fucking
so
ruined
the
crystals.
cargo bay door blows open,
No!
and a big robot comes out. So like the spider one, but a big spider. So
Oh,
like a
fuck.
person-sized spider
Fucking
robot comes
kidding
out.
me.
So this is a separate
Get
creature.
the detonator from Bugatti. We have other 2 cows kind of near the area.
Yeah, throw
They'll probably
the.
suck it into space quickly.
Yeah.
All right, this thing looks like a spider, but on its head is like a Gatling gun, and it's spinning up. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try and grab the detonator from him,
Yeah.
so that I can subsequently push a cow or push 2 cows toward the
Sure.
Gatling gun spider.
Okay. Sure.
So while he's doing that, are you announcing that you're doing that? Because I'm going to go grab a cow and throw it at the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Over
Can I
our
give it to him
radio.
willfully?
Yeah.
well, it's on your body, so you're gonna have to pull it free from the webbing. So you roll plus your strength to do that.
All right.
Am I like? Am
Or
I
you
free
could
from the
just
weapon?
free him, and then you'll have whatever.
Would it be the same?
You'd be aiding him trying to roll to free himself.
All right, I'll aid him to try and free
Because
himself.
last time you did this, you had to defy danger, run through all the robots.
Yeah, and I'm there. Yeah,
Right,
they're
yeah,
distracted. One's
Right.
on his head.
Because of
one's
my
dead.
intelligence, could I notice?
I mean, is he able to push the button while he's inside there?
He can't.
He
reach
can't
him.
move his hands.
Yeah, he really can't. Yeah,
Could I notice like?
his arm is like
Just
stuck out with the
goddamn
gun. That's
change
the only way he can.
Could I use my intelligence to just notice that there's a weak point in the web and it can be easier to get out as opposed to use my strength? because I push
Yeah,
at
can
the
you
weak,
finesse it?
because I push at the weak point as opposed to
Yeah,
just
right,
fucking
sure, why not?
he-manning it.
But he can still give you +1 from aiding
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so I get the +1 from that, and then he's aiding me.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, over here, try this out.
Yeah, and
Sure,
I'm pushing
sure.
on. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm pushing on another weak
Get
point.
for the left testicle.
6, 7, 8.
9.
Wait, I mean, I have one from Rent,
Okay, so
one.
it's
one,
8.
and then the one from Aid, so I get 8. So partial.
Okay, that's partial success. All right. So you get out. However, you don't have a utility belt thing, right?
No.
So you spend 1 from your utility belt. We'll just mark a use of it. You have like a blowtorch
Okay.
or something. He pushes the button on it. It goes, and it blows a hole big enough for you to get out.
What the fuck you doing on my utility belt?
You're lucky you didn't grab anything else.
That's what the weak point was. Hey, robot, I know it's gonna sound kind of weird. Grab my dick right now. That's the only way out of here. You gotta trust
trust me.
Trust me, man. Grab my dick. It's gonna be okay.
You have to
Grab it.
You have to
As he
defy
gets it with the
danger.
electric prod.
You have to defy danger because he is not.
I've got a lot of
touch.
syphilis.
It's
He
the
doesn't
only
have
muscle.
a lot.
I've got a lot of viri.
You
down
both
there.
have to defy danger now. He has to avoid the syphilis, and he's grabbing you really, really good. No, all right.
Throwing a cow.
So he's out. Well, hold on. So he's out now. So he can do stuff with the detonator if he wants to.
Yeah.
But do you want to wait?
Where's fucking everybody? Like, can I see where everyone is?
Yeah. So the basic layout is there's one on him. There's one running around free, the little ones. The big one just came out of the cargo. The cows are not near any of these things. There's one cow next to you. The other two are somewhere in the middle of the room, I guess.
If I push the cow, how
Probably
much?
near where you are because you were.
Can I
Throw
push
that
the
cow.
cow? Can
Yeah.
I push the cow towards the big fucker?
Yeah.
You can try. Yeah, they're not real aerodynamic, but yeah, you can try.
But
Well, I mean, they're boxes and it's 0
so
G.
you're
Well,
just
you still have to aim it. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
but you're just pushing in a direction. It's going to
Yeah.
continue in that
I
direction.
know, but he still has to aim it.
It's not going to be deflected.
He also has to get good footing and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I use
got
my-
the mag boots?
You probably just make a shoot. I'll have you roll shoot.
A shoot.
Well, yeah, because you're aiming.
You're gonna shoot a cow
Essentially, yeah.
We'll
yeah.
shoot right here,
at a
basically.
giant spider with
Roll
gatling
plus your
guns.
dex.
Okay.
Come on,
And
box
we'll say
cars.
that.
And if I detonate
you're
on the
trying to
big
detonate
gun.
it while it's.
He's got the detonator.
when
That's
it-
why I
oh,
was
you have
gonna
the
throw.
detonator. Oh, so you're pushing it.
Yeah, actually, let
Yeah.
him throw.
Yeah, he'll throw
and
it.
then you'll
And you'll
detonate.
detonate it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to roll anything. He's going to roll, and
I'm
then
gonna try
we'll
to.
assume that
Well-
when he does it, it just
well-
explodes if he's successful.
Well, can we do
Right.
this as an aid? He's aiding him.
He's
I'm
not
not
really
really
aiming
helping-
him to. He's not aiding him to
I'm
aim it,
helping
though.
him.
He's
No.
just.
All right.
He's
Yeah,
too
this
far
is
away
just
from
a
me to help him.
coordinated-
The damage component will be him just putting the button, which
Yeah.
doesn't require a roll. So
It's a team thing.
the danger is he misses or something. So
11.
7 partial.
okay,
An explosion blows you into a wall.
okay. So what happens is it explodes. So roll 2d8 and take the higher number. And you want to have him roll since he's blowing it up.
Yeah, you should be rolling the damage here.
When they throw the
3.
No, roll again.
Roll
It's
again.
the better of. Yeah, you take the higher non. So 8. All right,
Nice.
beautiful. All right.
when they try to throw the cow, I'm gonna try to throw the guy off of me, throw the Spider-Man off me, into the explosion.
I
Well, we
think
probably
that's.
should have had you do that before they rolled, but
Well,
He was trying
it's
to
at
say-
Yeah, he was
it's at
trying-
the same
yeah.
time.
okay, sure. You
Well, I
can
mean,
roll.
I see what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay, roll plus your strength to fight danger, but I have to resolve. Well, go ahead.
8 partial.
Okay, so it'll take like half damage. So that'll be enough to
Okay.
actually destroy it though, because it only has 4. Well, no, it has armor, so no, it takes 2. So actually, that does destroy it. So there's only one left, so it does destroy it.
Yes.
Because we're going to the mega robot. Like, we're trying to push it to the mega robot, right?
No. But he threw his little one onto the explosion.
When
Yeah.
you guys are pushing, I
So
tried to
it
throw
took
the little
half
one
damage,
towards
but
it.
half damage was still enough to kill it.
Great.
So it's destroyed.
So
All
we
right.
got this is the mega
All right,
robot.
but the mega.
But what happens is you throw it, it hits the big robot who is kind of near a wall, and then hits the wall and then explodes. So what it does is it damages the exterior wall going out to space.
Mhm.
And also the robot. It damages both of them.
Is there a hole
Yeah.
there?
There was already a hole.
No, there's a hole
Oh.
now. This is the exterior wall out to
Oh,
space.
okay. So it came up the cargo.
Corridor, it came out a little bit. You threw the
Okay.
thing, it came off, it kind of glanced off the robot a little bit and then blew up. So it hit both. So
Well,
the
the
robot
Timing
also
wasn't
takes damage.
ideal, but
Right, well, the robot still takes the
Time,
damage.
time to go.
The robot still
hey,
takes
we found a
damage.
different way out. But now we're getting sucked out through a black hole through a door.
Yeah, so there's
Well,
a
there's no
little,
atmosphere.
there's
Like
a
that.
there's a hole
With the
big
black door,
enough
with the black
to
hole.
cause trouble
Sure.
for you
Oh, the
guys.
black
It's
hole.
not like
Yeah.
it's not like a gaping hole, but it's enough to start.
We gotta be cognizant of it.
Well,
Yeah,
the
don't wanna be
vacuum
doing
is the
0G
trouble. It's not
things.
the oxygen part
I
because
mean,
you
we've
guys
already
are all
been in
wearing
vacuum.
suits, but you will get pulled towards it. Is the problem?
So we're all being pulled towards that door, right?
Slowly, yes. Like the hole's not that big, so it's just
I thought the room was already in vacuum. It's just the black hole that's pulling
It
us.
is, but the vacuum is coming from down a shaft and then down a hallway. I mean,
Well, it's like vacuum doesn't have a sucking effect unless there's atmosphere in there. It's literally nothing.
right.
So blowing a hole in a room that's already in a
we
vacuum
There's nothing second.
literally has no gas to suck anything out.
Like there are 2 holes there,
Right.
right.
so it just goes through. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
nothing would happen.
Yeah, nothing.
But the
would
black
happen.
hole could be
Unless you
Wow.
go free of, like, if we let go
Stuff
of our
would
mag
fly out of
boots,
the room, though.
only because
No,
of the black
there's
hole
no
effect.
vacuum.
Well,
Because of the black hole effect.
well,
if there's no
but-
atmosphere, there's nothing to get
well,
sucked
the
out.
entire time then
Well, the
something will be
explosion.
sucking out.
Right.
Right. It's just as things float around in
What I'm
LG,
thinking
now they
is-
have a hole to fall out.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is the source before of that would have been down the elevator shaft, down that hallway. It's further away. Now
Was
there's a
there
hole
ar-
in this room.
Was there still atmosphere?
Yeah,
in
You're
this
talking
room?
unless
about-
there's atmosphere, it doesn't matter where the source
Well,
of
you're
the
talking
vacuum
about
is.
the black
If
hole.
it's all a zero pressure system, it doesn't matter.
Are you talking about the black hole?
Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
But okay.
Right.
It's
If
a
there's no
pressure.
atmosphere, it doesn't
There's no
matter. If there
immediate
was
danger.
atmosphere, then it matters.
There's no immediate danger for anybody. Just
There's just the
FYI,
large
there's a
hole.
there. Okay. Okay. So that's done.
I'm
whoever wants to do
free.
something.
Let's
You
go
want-
down the elevator shaft quickly.
Well, I want to
Get outta
grab.
here.
Can I grab as many crystals as possible?
I don't think this thing
You
will fit.
can. You'll risk the robots shooting at you. There's still a little robot and a
Yeah.
big robot.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm
Get
getting out of here.
I
got a bunch of-
Get.
It's
Get-
dexterity.
Yeah, it'd be define danger using Dex.
I'm doing it.
Get down,
Yeah.
get down
Alright.
the shaft.
No, he doesn't.
And we'll
He's
blow up the
greedy.
rest of them.
Yeah, because we
He's
still have the cow at the
greedy.
entrance of the shaft.
7.
7. Okay. All right. So you so the big robot starts taking a shot at you, and you will take half damage from it, basically. So it peppers you with shots. You take roll a d8 plus 1, and then just half of that.
This is D8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So plus 1.
So
So,
6,
three.
3.
so you take 3.
So I'm at 5.
Minus armor.
Remember your armor too. So it kind of hits you in the leg or something as you're dodging around. All right. So you grab some
So I'm
crystals.
at 3. So I'm at 4 because I have 1 armor.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Wait, am I? Because I have this. I
It
have
did
the-
a total of 2 damage to
You
you.
did 2 damage.
I have this vest.
If you've got 1.
Right. It
armor.
reduces the damage by 1. So you
Right.
take
So if it did
2.
6, half would be 3, and then 1 less would be 2 total damage out of that
Right.
shot.
Okay.
Right.
So you have 6 life, I think.
Yeah. Minus 2, so I have 6. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you basically you lunge towards the middle of the room. You get hit like in the calf or something, and you grab some crystals. So you're now in the middle of the room. What do you want to do?
Oh, I stayed in the hallway. I'm going down the shaft.
Is this the first time we
All right.
fight?
So your same thing. So you can
Yeah.
defy danger using Dex to get out of the way before. They
I'm not
shoot.
in the room.
You're not. Where were you?
I'm calling that a drive.
He was in the
freed me.
hallway. I
went
freed
back
him.
in.
He wasn't in
ran
the
back
hallway.
in.
He was right in the doorway. So you can just jump. Yeah, you can just
So
jump
I'm going down the hallway.
out. The shaft, you mean? The
Yeah.
elevator
He's
shaft.
going away from the spiders.
So you just jump down.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Since you're right there, you just jump out. Okay. Cool. What about our pilot?
Getting out of dodge. If we're going down the shaft,
Okay.
we're going down the shaft.
All right. So I'm gonna have you defy danger because robots are shooting at you. Pew pew pew.
7.
Pew 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 pew.
So shoot me.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing. Why not? So D8 plus 1 and half that.
5, so half that rounding up or down.
10.
2, and
How
then
much
1
damage
armor.
did the big robot take?
So I took 1 point.
Take?
Yeah.
It took 6.
And how
Yeah.
much did I have left?
You don't know.
We don't know.
Is it infinite?
No, it's not infinite.
It's
Nah.
infinite.
There's a number, but I'm not telling because
It's probably like 20 or something for a big robot like that.
Oh, is it? Is
It
that
could
how
be,
it
yeah.
works?
Yeah. You don't know.
I don't
That's
know. but
totally
like,
meta. Like, we don't know, but yeah,
Your
it's probably,
characters wouldn't know that.
it's
so.
beefy, so it's,
It's
probably
beefy.
Gonna
It's
take a
probably has as much as you guys do. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean,
I just
what
don't
you started with, right? It's not like 100 or something.
Yeah, that's
Down the
what I'm-
shaft.
That'd be ridiculous. All right, so you do get to the shaft though, so you're good. What about scientist?
Yeah, I'm going down the shaft.
Same thing. Okay, so roll plus your dex. See if you can
Plus dex.
avoid. Yeah, if you're trying to avoid the robot.
9.
9. All right, so let's
Wait,
do
no,
something.
you got 6 plus. You don't have plus the dex.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So let me
I
think.
can't fucking use my charisma for shit.
Well,
Not against these guys.
Yeah, take that. Fucking robots.
let's see. What
Can't
I can
finagle
do.
my way into their booty holes.
Maybe the other ship.
All right,
Yeah,
so
you
here's your options. So the giant robot is going to try to get in your way.
Shields.
You can distract him by using your utility belt to, like, we'll say you have like a flashbang grenade or something in there that you can distract him with if you want. Otherwise, he'll stand in your way. He won't do damage to you, but he'll be in your way.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay, so mark a use of your utility belt, and then you distract him long enough to get into the elevator shaft. All right, so you guys are now all right. Oh, no, you're still in the room. So you're the last one in the room. So the robot now turns.
And you
sees
have the detonator
Yeah,
for after.
You do.
And there's,
However,
there's 2 more cows in here.
There's a cow kind of near him, but the other one's on the other side of the room. So
Blow them both for good
if
effect.
you
I
could
gotta leave though.
you could trick him into getting closer to it. You could blow it up.
Yeah, do that.
How could I trick him?
You could use
Walk slowly
You could
away.
use feint. Feint
Yeah.
allows you to trade positions, right?
Yeah, but I'd trade positions, and so the
You
box
get-
would be by me, and then he would
Yeah,
be
you
over
Right,
Right,
there.
and then
towards
you
the
spend the
box.
reserve to swish, and then he's by it, and then you
entice him, try to smash you. or
you're
something.
tricking him.
You
into
make
getting
him
closer
run
to
you,
it.
run towards you. You
Right, you're
flip
making
over
him.
him.
Yeah.
Someone in danger. Okay, it's they stand in the way of someone in danger. Swaps places with your target.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be.
So you put yourself in danger, and then say, "I spend this to put him there instead," and then you blow it up.
Right, so you
But
run
I'm
to
not-
the cow, you fake him
You'll
out
be
by
in danger
making...
if you run towards the cow and just go, "Ha!" You'll be in danger because he'll shoot you,
Okay.
and then you just trigger that to.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, and then he
Well, you have to
effectively
roll.
chase
Yeah. So
after
first
you.
thing is
and-
you roll to see if you can even do it.
And plus charisma. Okay.
Right. So you got to use your charisma.
It's
1,
9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. So on a partial success, what happens?
I get to use. I gain 1 reserve,
Okay.
so I'm going to use that.
Okay. Well, then we've already figured out what you want
And
to
then
do
I
with
detonate
it.
it.
So, yep. All right. So roll the damage. It's the better of 2d8s. All right, roll 2d8. Roll 8d8 twice, and then take the higher number.
I can just roll them twice.
You have 2 of them.
Well, you get to D10.
No,
One's
it's a D10.
D10.
Yeah,
What the
the
fuck
rounded
am I-
one is a D10.
Okay.
Yep.
2, 3.
Okay. So, unfortunately, it doesn't do much to the robot, but you do trick him into getting close to it, and it blows up. So you can now just
So
jump
you
down the
dove
shaft.
out of the way, and then
Yeah, we'll say you just go down. That
And I got like
shaft.
1 bag of crystals, basically.
Yeah, there's a bag of crystals strapped to his
So
back.
you guys got 2 basically.
yeah,
You guys
because
each
he
have
grabbed
1.
another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Nice.
So
No, I mean, that's some credits.
Or in the ship now?
well,
We gotta
so
get outta
You
here.
still have to get down there.
Right. So we have to determine, are we going to engineering, or are we getting the
Right,
heck
you've
out of
got
Dodge?
more than half of the
GTFO,
boxes
man.
are,
Yeah, it's
are
good.
checked. So
I vote for
Did-
getting out of Dodge.
did,
Unless we can loot some weapons, it's time to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, we just don't have
Did
time.
Bugatti and I break something together?
Well, I think, if anything, I think I
We
made
got
that hole.
sliders.
I made that hole a little bigger
Well-
that he made.
yeah, why not? Sure.
I made that hole bigger that he
Push
Yeah,
me
made.
to try
you
something
did,
new.
and you also blew up the outside of the ship a little bit too.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
put holes in things.
Sure. Why
Yeah.
not? Why not?
Breaking shit.
Hey, would you heal me?
Oh yeah.
Because then you kept me in good repair, and I.
Truth.
Yes.
And
Do
I
you spend the repair module, or do you want to use
I
it?
just spend the repair module.
Yeah, you just spend. It's
I
a
have
consumable.
robot tools. I don't know what they are. I'll spend-
Those are basically, if you have a repair move, it tells you to mark tools. You use those.
How much? What? How much does that do?
Oh.
You may not
8,
have a move
I
like
think
that, I
it's
don't-
just 8, right?
Do we
It's
have
just
enough
a flat
time to
8.
do this on the way out?
It's
Yeah,
just
he
like
just
he just
jabs
attaches
it
it
in
to
me.
you, and it just little nano boss.
I'm
So
just
it's
riding.
not even a roll.
I'm just riding on his back.
It's an item. It's just
It's just 0G. I'm just
It's
working on.
yeah. So it's a consumable item. It's basically a healing potion for robots.
I have
Yeah.
So I have this one in my
6
pocket that
items.
like no one knows what's in the data. That no one really knows is missing.
Well, you grabbed a whole bag of them.
I grabbed
No,
the bag.
Yeah,
of
but he got
we
the
know
one.
There's
that
he
it's-
one
wanted
that's
to.
like in my pocket.
He knows
that no
that it's
one,
missing. He saw
He
you.
knows it's missing.
He knows it's missing.
But
But
you
yeah,
don't know what's on it. You
So
just
that means I
grab one
leveled up.
randomly.
Then
I'm,
two.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping that something good is on it.
Right.
Because
You
I
don't
have
know.
to make
Okay.
good repair.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
Did
get
you
level.
advance?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else? You guys got any? Did you
Yeah, I
trigger anything?
advanced.
Already advanced.
Oh, you already did. You did.
Yeah, I
You
took
gotta
the,
be close.
the-
Did you get any trigger anything else?
They make I took logical defense.
What does that do?
Lets me roll into Ray Shields.
Ray shields. Oh, that's
You know
nice.
what?
For you, right? Just you. Okay. Okay, that's good.
How many times can I do this thief stuff?
I mean, you can
Is
do
that
it as
one in my
often
pocket?
as you want.
Well, how many of these crystals can I put in my pocket?
You can put them all in your pocket if you want. Well, they won't all fit in your pocket.
Well, they have.
I mean-
Well, I'm
Depends on
saying,
how big your pockets
Okay,
are.
I'm gonna,
Are you
like,
wearing
on the way out-
Jinkos or?
oh, I'm
Are
wearing
you
cargo.
trying to, well, here's the thing. Are you trying to conceal it from
Yep.
them that you're putting them in your pocket? Because
Yes.
that's all that would do. Because there's no one
Yeah.
else that can see you doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Blow the last cow just to distract him.
But I mean,
No, I blew up both.
they
cows,
know
right?
that you have a
There's
bag
3
full
of
of them, right?
Yeah, but they don't know how much is in the bag.
That's true.
And he's
You don't have to
he's
roll
been
to do that.
pilfering
I mean,
some for his
it's really not relevant. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
Because there's no danger. Like, you only roll when there's a risk. Like, oh, if they see you, they'll shoot you or something. Like, there's what's
Okay.
happening. I mean, at this point, they probably don't. You don't know what's on them. They could be blank for all you know. So they're really not,
Yeah, I'm hoping that.
There's
not.
not
Do you
a
have all the
risk,
other cows prepped?
right? There's only one cow left
Well, they're all
in the
prepped.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but
we
I
can
have
throw
one
out
that
the
only he
airlock
knows
and blow
about.
out the
Yes.
cow right by where we are.
And I'm gonna put
Yeah, I
another
don't want
one
any goddamn spiders
that no one
crawling on
knows
my
about. At
goddamn
this point, no one knows about it. I have an extra one on me right now.
That's
that,
fine.
That no one saw me take.
Right. Yeah, I'm not making a roll because it's really not a giant risk at this point. So,
Yeah.
okay. So the robots are going to try to chase you, but you have a head start on them. So
Yeah.
what do you guys want to do?
Can you blow up the cow behind them just to see if it
I thought I blew up
attracts their
both cows.
attention?
No,
There's
one left.
3.
There's a third cow.
There was 3 total.
But you don't
Right.
know where that cow is in relation to the robots.
Right, it has no
because you
chance
can't
it-
see them anymore.
It's unlikely to do damage, but it may attract their attention. Like,
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure, you-
Yeah, I'll do that.
makes them think there's
So roll
a
a
fifth
shot?
person in the room, effectively.
You don't have to roll. You're not aiming anything. You're just hitting a button. So it just blows up.
And then so do I need to like, if it sufficiently distracts them or if it hits them?
You don't need to roll for that.
Okay.
You're not really in control of anything. You're just
Yeah.
hitting the button and running. So
Yeah.
something happens.
We're trying to buy a few seconds of extra time.
Right. Okay. Okay,
And
cool.
we're going to the ship effectively as fast as we can.
Okay. Okay.
Getting out of Dodge.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you guys roll one more Dex, Defy Danger to
As a party or
successfully. Well, I'm
individually?
gonna have each one of you just to see if anybody gets stuck or something.
What's the die?
Let's do one at a time.
I'm just gonna take plus
5,
here.
6, 7.
7. Okay, so you got a partial success. So you so you're rushing through. We'll say that your utility belt gets caught on something, so you can choose to dislodge it and lose it, or you'll be stuck for a moment and they may catch you.
I'll dislodge it.
Okay, so mark off your utility belt's gone. You escape. So you're on the ship or you're in space.
4.
4. All right.
Saps.
All right. I'm marking another clock thingy.
We've
All
only
right.
got 4 more failures left before we're sucked into a black hole.
Correct. I'm not paying attention to this. They're inhaling.
I'm
the
trying to find a
smoke.
die I lost.
Okay. All right.
Important, isn't it?
It is. I don't. What's that? It's not a die.
The
Is it?
red
What's
D6.
that?
Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
I saw something
Thank you.
red. I thought
Okay,
it
I'm,
was
I'm,
helpful.
I'm gonna.
Hold on. So he failed.
Oh, he failed.
So I marked the 8th box. So there's
How
4
close
left.
are we?
There's 4 left.
Yeah, we're still done.
So he. So you guys are trundling down this elevator shaft.
Trundle.
And he tries to go through the door, and his arm gets like totally stuck
I
in
don't
this.
have arms.
Well, what do you have? You have something. Are you like R2D2? Do
Yeah.
you have feet?
Yeah.
Probisca.
Okay, his foot gets stuck.
Okay.
So he's trying to turn in weird zero-G gravity, and his programming is like kind of confused as to how he's supposed to do this. And his foot gets like totally stuck in this piece of metal that's jutting out of the... It's like a catch for the elevator to come down, so he's stuck in there now. So he's in danger. Basically, the robots are going to be able to get to him unless somebody helps him
Nope.
out.
Am I out?
You're out. You're unless you want to go back in and put yourself in danger, you're out.
Okay.
You can if you want, or someone else
I'm
can
gonna
help.
run over to him and dismantle his leg.
Okay, sure, go for it. Go for it.
And just take it with us. Make it easier that way.
This is the time.
Detach and grab. Now you got a club.
Now here's the question: do you want to do it quickly?
Well, I have
And
dismantled.
poorly.
Right. Well, I'm suggesting. Does that use int normally?
Yeah.
So you can use that if you want to kind of. So because the robots are coming on you very quickly, you can choose to use Dex instead to kind of combo like do it quickly and
Does the
get
big
him.
robot fit in the shaft too?
Yes. So you could kind of, what I'm saying is you can combine, like I was having everybody roll Defy Danger Dex to get away. So I'm going to let you, because that might take some time, I'm going to let you use Dex for that to kind of combine them into one thing instead of having you roll twice. So if you want to, it's not, you don't have to, but I'm just
Only
giving you
a
the
plus
option.
1 dex.
Yeah, but it cuts the roll.
Otherwise you'll have to roll twice, because you'll have to roll the dismantle and then to get
Can
out.
I aid him by like
Totally.
Zapping him with one of your
Well,
Probisca.
no,
You can tell him what to do.
Yeah,
He knows his,
I'm just releasing some of the bolts.
well,
that
no,
I-
he
that
knows
I
his
can
own
already
structure. He
yeah.
just tells him, oh, hit
It's
the
like
blah,
hit
blah,
that,
blah.
yeah, that.
So
So
you have a normal with him? Relationship?
Special.
I have a
Special
normal.
with
No, I have
yeah,
a normal.
yeah.
Special is with him, I think.
My
No, I don't have a
special's
special
Oh,
with
yeah, so
anybody,
plus
but
one.
I have a normal.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just do it that way then, I guess.
With Dex? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good. That is 11.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so you do it. Your leg is disabled. What is that complete success? I think it gives you a...
It gives me a barter and plus 1 forward to
Yeah, the barter is my
It's his-
leg.
It's his leg.
Does he get to carry the leg with him?
Yeah, sure.
I have this very fancy robot leg.
It's very valuable.
Hey, can I get that back? Sure.
Sure.
What do you get
Yeah,
to pay for it?
Can you give me your ass for
Can
your
you make
leg?
a repair module out of his leg?
I can't make repair modules of that move. I have to do service disruption.
Okay. All right.
To
But anyway,
sabotage
so
somebody.
yes, you have a valuable robot
Oh
leg.
no, I'm sorry. Complete says I can
And
make
does
it
he get
repair-
away with that because he did Dex?
Yes.
Yeah, I can make
Okay,
it
so
into
it's just
repair
me and the-
module, but I'll just reattach it
All
later.
right. So so you with Dex.
Running
Instead
away.
of barter, I can make it.
11 natural, 12
Okay,
box.
you're
card.
good. All right. So you guys are outside.
Nope.
Come on.
So when you get out to the outside, you see as you're about to exit, there's this big kind of a hole here, like where that door was, and you come out, and you're all wearing your spacesuits except for him, obviously, right? So you get
'Cause I'm
out, and
innately
you
better.
see. Remember how I mentioned there was a ship before?
Yeah.
It was on the other side. Well, now it's like lurking, like right there.
Oh fuck.
So
Our
it's
cloaking
a
device is still on?
it's a
No, it's off.
gunship.
No.
Well,
No, it's-
No, it's on.
It's on. It's on.
We set for
But
station keeping.
it looks like they saw the door opening and were like, huh, that's weird. So they're just parked right there.
Yeah, just waiting.
Are
The
they
gunship is like right just
the
sitting
spider people?
You think so? It looks similar to the fighters. It's just it's a big gunship instead of little fighters.
Can I analyze them and see what type of ship it is?
You can all understand to see what kind of ship it is. Yeah.
And what's that?
That uses your int. So understand is
Okay,
when
that's
you
good.
encounter a new piece of technology. That's analyze is more like what's going on in the situation. Like you kind of know what's going on. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a goddamn gun.
Okay,
ship.
right.
I'll roll with my plus.
Understand is like what kind of a ship is this and blah 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 blah. Oh man, what'd you get?
3.
3. That sounds like a box is getting checked. Okay. All right. So let me think. So you are looking at the ship.
You speed, me shields.
You notice that.
Run like.
So the event horizon for the black hole is now visible to the naked eye, which means you're very close to it. Because normally you can't see it. It's because it swallows light. Okay.
Yeah.
So normally you wouldn't be able to see it, but because it's so close, you can't. You can see stars getting like warped, like the light of a star getting warped into it. It looks like this.
Oh yeah,
streaking.
time's being distorted at this point
Yeah.
too. So.
So what's happening
Depending
is
on the frame
because
of
your ship
reference.
was set to automatically try to keep pace with the Doom cube, it's now firing off its engines constantly, which means the gunship can see that happening. So it just shoots at your ship. It just goes and shoots at it while it's just sitting there going, "Hi, I have a ship." And you turn off the shields to do the cloaking device. So we'll take a D8 for the ship.
Come on, roll like shit.
God damn it.
Oh, that's the ship.
So that's right off of the.
No, that's the
just
ship.
blew
It's
up.
gone.
Yeah.
Like it's at 0.
It just blew up.
Yeah.
No. It just goes to 0. No.
It's at -1.
No, but that just stops at 0. Remember,
Okay.
it's still got character. So your vitality drops to 0, right? So its hull
Yeah.
drops to 0. The next time it takes damage, it takes a critical, which
Yeah.
means you'd have to roll in the critical move. It's not destroyed. It's just
Okay.
it's badly damaged.
So I don't have to tear the paper.
No.
Can we remotely?
Translation error.
Yeah, it's hurting. Yeah.
Can
definitely.
map remotely command their ship? Give it commands.
And we'll say that the cloaking device is, they know where it is, so it's
Yeah, it's
Probably
off.
not. no.
right.
But we can't turn on the shields because we need to go in.
right. You have to. Yeah. Right. You can. jump
Everybody in the
across.
ship, fast!
Yep.
Can he like
We-
radio pilot it so as soon as we get in the docking door, he can start?
We'll say he can try to do that. Why don't you roll plus your int defy danger and see if you can figure out how to do that.
Can I aid him?
No, he already rolled, so no.
10.
If he had waited,
10.
Tim, he needs your help. I don't need your help. You prove your superiority to biologicals. You
I already
need-
did that
you
by
need his
being
help.
in space with
Oh,
us.
okay.
Dude.
Okay. Cool.
Is it still
Alright.
the same scene, by the way, as the?
This would be the same scene, yeah,
So
because you're
still
kind of
scene
going
two.
in and out of. the
We're
thing.
still trying to.
You're still
extricate
trying to.
it.
Well, but that's not scene.
That's a
two, but
milestone, yeah.
Right. You're still scene, yeah. Okay. So yes. So you do know how to. You have like we'll say you have a very rudimentary way to control the ship. Yes.
Yeah, I'm connected to its systems.
Right. You can't do everything with it, but you can do basic stuff with it. Yeah. What do you want to do?
Oh, what did you want me to do?
Yeah.
Go faster.
Oh, once
I
we
souped
get
up
all
the
in?
engines.
as
get-
soon as we get
You're
in,
you're right outside the opening right now.
Yeah,
you're
as
not
soon
in the
as
ship
we-
yet. You're like looking at the ship.
No, as soon as we get in the ship, like
Okay, we're not
Yeah.
in the ship yet.
maximum thrust.
I
Get
wasn't
us
sure if you wanted him to do something remotely.
no,
No.
I just got it locked so that as soon as we're all in the
like
door,
when the door shuts.
it goes.
Do
That
you-
way I don't have to go all
Do
the
you
way
want
up.
to turn the shields on remotely?
Yeah, actually, turn the
Should we
shields
do
on.
ray shields?
You could do that
Yeah.
remotely. Sure, you want to roll that?
Yeah.
It's
What's the ship's
plus
power?
power 0.
0. All right.
8.
Well, that
Okay.
gives us something.
Partial success plus 2 to shields.
All right,
so we're
so
at 4 shields.
So the 4 shields the next time you guys get hit, which actually won't help you because if you get hit, you're taking a critical, unless it's less than 4 damage. In which case, nothing happens, which actually isn't a bad idea. Okay. Okay. Now
try
what?
it again.
Okay. So
Now we're all running to the. I mean,
well,
we're
you're
diving. For
pushing
the ship.
yourself across open space to get to the ship because it's just sitting there. All right. Who wants to go first? All right. Roll push your dex.
I need to be on the ship first. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a boxcars.
All right, you're there.
I'm pretty
Boom.
sure I'm on the ship.
All right. Who's next? You.
Boxcars.
I'll go.
You're next. Okay.
2 6s.
7.
Okay.
With pips, they
All
look like
right,
train
so
boxcars.
you jump across and you clank into the ship for d6 damage, and then you're inside.
2.
So nothing. It
Yeah,
just bounces,
armor.
just bonk, and then he gets inside.
That's what I get for
Got a
only
nice
having
new
one
kit.
leg.
He doesn't have any armor, so he just bashes or arms. So he like bashes into it and rolls. into the ship. I don't know. All right,
Remember your magnet
you wanna go
proboscis.
next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay. So
The guy's gonna be
roll
left
plus your
behind.
dex.
Huh?
Leave
guy's
the
gonna
scoundrel
look
behind.
behind.
9.
Okay, so, all right, so as you're going across, you guys will see that the gunship is powering up its weapons to take another shot, but not yet, but it's about to.
Yeah.
So you're across. All right, last one.
Jump.
9.
Okay, All right, you get across. You're all on the ship.
Light speed.
Now what?
I'm
Well,
gonna.
no, well,
I'm
that's my-
pushing all the cows out
partial,
the
isn't
door.
it?
Yeah.
No.
So
Just get the engines going and then worry about the cow shit.
I'm just
The
gonna other
boat's already
nav
gone.
immediately.
all right.
I'm
So it. All right. So it shoots at the ship.
Yeah.
So roll its damage. If it does 4 or less, nothing happens.
Can we attempt to evade?
No.
Evasive action?
You have to do it before.
Yeah. This is as he's leaping across.
When piloting a vessel, you
This
can.
is his failure.
Oh.
Well, it's a
But I mean,
partial.
we could leave
It's
him
a partial.
behind.
It's
He's
a
the last
partial.
one coming
You
across.
could. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
So that's
I'll
your
give you the
choice.
That
I want
sounds
to
like a
evade.
full failure for me.
No. Well, it's actually his choice.
Okay.
He's the one that got the partial. So you can see. I'm trying to think of how do I make this something you can do.
He can
How
scream
about
at
the
me
the
to-
spider shoot him in the butt?
No. You don't have any reserve.
Can I
left.
take a little bit of damage instead?
Burn a
You get hit by the gunship.
I can get.
burn a utility belt.
He already burned
He
it.
lost his utility belt.
You burn the entire thing.
It got stuck.
Yeah, it
and
got
he
stuck
let it-
and he had to
You
like
can, do you have a bag of loot? You can dump the loot.
Yeah. Lost the
Yes,
loot.
you could get rid of that whole bag of loot. The crystals might disperse the damage that the ship would take. Or confuse its targeting sensors. Sure, why not?
If you open it up and throw it.
All of them?
What'll happen is the ship will take half damage from the attack instead of full damage, which with the shields may mean it takes
Yeah,
nothing.
that's huge because then D8
But you'll have to
is
lose the whole
meaningless.
bag of stuff. You'll still have the 2 that you hid in your butt or whatever you did. But
That's right.
I wish it took more than just 2.
I don't know how you can, I don't know how you're shoving them inside of anything.
Now
and
the
you
other
have-
thing is you have a 50-50
space.
chance of the ship taking no damage because of the shields. So you could just say fuck it and just jump across and not do that.
Fuck it.
All right.
Okay, roll D8.
Across.
roll a D8. That's you.
Yeah, we'll let you roll it.
You're blowing up my ship.
Yeah.
So a 5 or higher.
You blow out our main.
Yay! All right, so your ship takes a critical. So mark a critical. You're not on the ship. You did it.
Yeah.
At what expense, though?
There's 3 boxes left too.
We'll
You're
see.
doing good.
Brutal.
Which one is this?
So under the vessel moves, there's a move called critical.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll that, whatever it says. I think it's roll plus power.
Power.
Power. Okay.
I can't
What's the
do
power right now?
0.
All right. Fun times in the city.
6.
Well, I'm marking another box at least. 2 left. What happens on so nothing?
Either crashes or takes
You-
a debility.
Was that what it says on?
No,
the
no, that is partial success.
Yeah, that
it
you
does
get to
not say
choose.
anything on failure.
Oh.
Okay.
So this is DM
So what happens
fist
is
and rectum.
yeah. So your ship takes this huge hit and it rocks the ship, and it starts to it loses navigation.
So we just lost our main.
No, not the main. The like steering.
Oh, okay.
And so you think so there is a planet nearby that you could try to steer it towards, but you're probably going to crash. But if you don't, you're going to go into the black hole.
Can we just other nav?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
You can
turn
try.
on other nav and take the minus.
Yeah.
I assume there's a minus.
Yeah,
that'll
because
take.
you're next to that black hole, so there's a minus. Yeah, yeah. You could try it with a -1.
All right, I'm just gonna other nav.
Okay.
That'll even out with my better other nav.
Well, you're and that sucks up all energy, so we can't do any other moves, right?
You can, but I mean we got
But
to
if I
resolve
can
one
other
move at a
nav,
time.
we
so-
can get
Yeah.
the fuck out.
I'm gonna
Yep.
try to repair the one escape pod. How many people does the escape pod use? This one?
All of you guys would fit in one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Little crystals?
Sure.
Tell me that's at least a partial. You got plus int.
What do I add?
Plus your
What is-
int, right?
Other nav? Where is
It's
other
your
nav?
int, right?
Special moves. I'm not seeing
the
it.
navigation pirate.
I'm pretty sure it uses int. It's
It's
not
basic
it's called
vessel
other nav. It's in
moves.
alphabetical order. So
Special moves there. Plus int.
Okay, so that's 7.
okay.
So it's partial.
Partial. All right.
Takes twice as long as planned. Somebody at the destination has a drop on you, or the MAME must be repaired at the cost of 1 credit.
Where are
or
you
1
trying to
credit.
go? I guess is my question.
Once you go to that one place,
Uh,
how far away can we go?
Earth.
I mean,
No, to-
that's used to travel to other stars.
whatever.
So you could
Yeah,
go,
we're gonna go to our home base, like
Okay,
the
sure.
place that.
not like the merchant home base, but,
But
the
like-
usual Joe's repair shop
Yeah,
home
exactly.
base.
Where we normally hang out, where we normally hide out. I'm gonna get us there.
Okay, and do I choose the bad thing or do you choose it?
You arrive at your destination, but choose one.
Yeah, I choose
So
it.
you choose it. Okay, so which one do you want to choose?
The MAME will be down.
Okay, all right. So he blows it out.
Repair
We're
it.
doing this. So you guys escaped. So You have resolved this milestone, which is extricate valuables from the data Doom Cube. Not much, but you did. So that means you guys get 2 XP for resolving successfully the milestone. You guys also
I
successfully...
level up.
Yep, you guys also successfully avoided the clock. There was 2 left.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm sure that the thing is going to get pulled into the black hole, but it didn't
we got
affect
out.
you.
Yeah.
So you resolved it before it turned bad, so you get 2 more for that.
So I don't have. So I never got the critical thing then, right?
Yeah, there wasn't anything for you to steal that was critical of the mission.
Yeah.
There could have been, but in terms of what you guys were doing.
There were a bunch of relationships and drives that none of us triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's yeah. But, so, alright, what time is it?
5.
Okay, so that sounds like a good place to stop for now. Do you have any questions from anybody watching on the chat? I'm just curious.
No.
No?
I told them to ask questions if they had any, but
Probably bored to tears.
they,
Alright.
they already downloaded the packet, so.
Okay. Alright, so go ahead and pick an advance for your guy just so you can kind of take a look at them. Did anyone else advance again? Probably not.
No.
but-
I was 1 away.
Let's
Halfway
do
there.
end of session real quick. So that's fine.
Oh, that'll advance.
Yeah. So end of session is a special move that you use at the end of the session, and it's an opportunity for you to get some more XP. So let's go through that. Can someone give me another move packet so I can remind myself? I got it.
Haha.
Ha ha.
He likes me better.
Yeah.
He took mine.
Okay. I will point out for you guys, there is a new negotiate move. I reworded it, and the new one's on these move packets. So if you want to see what it looks like, it's here.
Cool.
If you remember what the other one looked like, I don't think you do. But anyway, all right. End of session. So at the end of the session, the GM asks the group the following questions. If you guys agree yes, you all get XP for each one of these. So 2 per. Okay. Did everyone trigger at least 1 drive?
Yes.
I
Oh,
hope
yes.
You did.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So
Explore
you all get
season
2
zero.
XP for that. Did everyone trigger at least 1 relationship?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So 2 more for that.
That'll tick me.
Cool. Did you survive despite incredible odds?
Yes.
Yeah, the black hole.
And
We had a lot.
None of us having weapons against
Yeah.
a
Until
Gatling gun spider.
when the ship started blowing up, yeah, we survived.
Yeah, I would say the ship taking a crit was pretty
Yeah.
bad too. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Crit, no life, and we blew out the main
Yeah,
cabin.
maybe the first time I've had a ship take a critical. No, I've had someone roll crash landing. So there's a crash.
Still got my
landing.
monies though.
So there's a crash landing move, which you would have had to roll, which is fun. Do you want to take a look at that? Did you see it?
No, I haven't checked it out.
Take a look at that real
Or-
quick. Yeah, read that for just funsies. It's right above the end of session,
Okay.
or I can read it out if you want.
Someone aboard takes D8 damage on a partial success. Something.
Oh, you are
is
supposed to do it when you go to zero
harmed.
hull. Oh well, that's okay. So basically, when your ship is reduced to 0 hull or otherwise directed to do so, you roll with no modifier. So it'd be a straight roll. A complete success, you're able to crash land the vessel in a safe place. No one is injured and nothing is destroyed. The vessel may be repaired normally. If you get a partial, the vessel lands but choose one. Someone aboard your vessel takes some damage. Something aboard your vessel is irrevocably harmed, or the vessel is beyond repair. So those are the complete. So you pick one of those if you had got a partial. All right. Anyhow, let's see what else we have. Oh, 2 more questions I forgot. Did any of us undergo a transformation, physical, mental, or spiritual? Well, he lost a leg, so let's count that. That's 2 more XP.
That is a physical.
Yep. Did any of us make a new
You
ally?
get it too.
What?
You
Yeah,
get it
2
too.
more XP.
We all get it.
Oh, we all
everyone
get
gets
it.
it. Yeah.
Normally
And
we
did
just
any
get
of us
one.
make a new ally or turn an enemy or friend? Probably not. I don't
No.
see any. Okay, cool. And then for each milestone that passed, for good or ill, 2 more. So that's 4 more because you guys did 2. The clock counts as a milestone, so that's 4 more.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that I dinged twice.
Beautiful.
That'll do
Double
it.
XP's nice.
Yeah.
I got 12 just off of that then.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Well,
Yes,
the double is
2
yeah,
more.
the double's. I mean, typically when I run these, you get about 1.5 advances per session on average. So you guys probably got 2 or
I got 3.
3.
3.
Well, 3 by the end.
Yeah,
with,
that's
with
fine.
the ending
Yeah.
move.
So that's basically it. So I still of my prep. Actually, I did almost none of my prep because the spider things were the only thing that were my prep. There's all kinds of crap in this 3 pages that you guys didn't. But that's the way it works. I mean,
What are
that's
some
what
other
you
things
don't.
that like you didn't
So on the
include?
water plant, there was a bunch of stuff, but you never went down there. The Spider Empress had some plots going on that you didn't get into because you didn't deal with her really, other than fighting her minions. There was another party that you never ran into that had some stuff going on. So, I mean, if you guys were continuing to play and you went back there, you could do more stuff or whatever. It's
Not
okay.
really.
That fucker's in
No,
the
no.
black hole.
No.
That's gone.
Well, that's just the space. I'm talking about the star system. There's other plots going on in the same star system
Yeah.
that you guys could get involved with. You know, but that's the reason why you don't sit here and prep a whole bunch of stuff because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You guys might have decided to say F the space station, not even gone there. Who knows, right? So you have to prepare for that possibility. So that's the game. So what do you think, Eugene?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun, actually. What I've noticed too is that like sometimes these characters are really like when you do something like the Jack, it's really hit or miss, or at least maybe I'm not playing them as properly. It's like more in social settings.
Yeah.
Is what I've realized. They really kind of come into their own. Like for instance, like a gambler.
Yeah.
Bonus over here.
Yeah.
And like there's no like I wouldn't have gambled at all throughout the whole entire thing.
Right.
I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes these like when you do something more normal, I guess, or more whatever it's called, like
an ongoing game.
With an ongoing game, this will be good because eventually he'll pop up and stuff like
Right.
that. But I think going back, I don't necessarily know if I would have picked a Jack.
Well, see, here's the thing. So remember back in the towards after you guys made your character, I was asking you guys what you were doing, right? If knowing all of this ahead of time, you might have said. You might have realized the thing you guys were trying to do wouldn't have allowed you to do your social stuff because you're going to a space station that's abandoned. There's probably
no
not
one
going to be
there,
anybody there. So your ability to use those skills would have been limited. So maybe you might have suggested a different course of action. But I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I mean, it's up to you guys to decide that. So if you're okay with that, then that's cool.
And they're like the thing that I've noticed. There are two different ways to build a party in this kind of game. One is like the traditional D&D, like everybody has a skill.
Yeah.
We're all good at it,
Yeah.
and that way everybody has something different to do. But some of the times you're kind of useless, other than just I'm gonna roll dicks and shoot a pistol.
Yeah,
which is fine. Like, I mean, you're still useful.
If you had chosen the Pistolier package,
it would have been a little better.
It would have been more combat.
But
stuff.
the
That's
flip
okay.
side was like if what we could have done was targeted something much more smuggler heavy, and like with the fact that we had such repair and sabotage and social skills.
Yeah.
Like if we would have played a smuggler type session instead of a raid session.
Yeah, it would have been.
We would have been set up like this party was built for smuggling,
Right.
and is very heavily hobbled at anything but smuggling.
Yeah.
Right. So you did the thing you set out to do, but the thing that's important about this kind of a game is that the players drive the action. So it's up to you guys to kind of push things in the direction you want them to go. So
Yeah.
I set up the situation, and I respond to what you guys want to do. But if you let Max, for example, suggest everything that they're going to do, then everything's going to be from his point of view.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but that's inherent in this kind of a game. I'm not heavy-handed in terms of what you guys want to do. I let you do it, unless it's stupid or impossible. Like I mean, you
Yeah.
know, but otherwise, if you say we want to go loot a space station, beautiful. That's what you do. But in an ongoing game, another session might have involved you guys infiltrating the Spider Empress's organization,
Yeah.
which you're really good at.
And then you're making 90%.
Well, that's what I was trying to.
Or selling the stuff next session.
I was trying to see if I can
Yeah.
communicate with the ship that was shooting at us.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
failed.
And when
Yeah.
you rolled
That was the
horribly,
issue.
that's when I'm like, all right, I've got
can't
a
do
move
anything,
that I've got +4 to. We're
Yeah.
boned, otherwise I'm going to roll +4.
But it's possible that if I didn't fail that, I'd be able to
Something-
communicate with
Right,
it.
like
The
that could
whole
have
course of
completely
it
changed
could
the
have
session.
changed. It could have
Yeah.
totally changed. On that one, it's possible. Yeah.
Because then maybe we're working with them to loot that thing.
Yeah.
Or something else completely. Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't have preset stuff in mind. I have an idea of what they're trying to do, but I can always change that. Until I announce it in the game, it's up to me, right? So if
Yeah.
I decide, yeah, okay, they'll help you, sure, for a price, that's legit. Maybe. Right?
Yeah.
So, cool. Okay. Anyone else have any? I know you guys all played lots of times, but
And I've played so many times.
No.
You know all my gripes.
just constant. Just nothing.
What are they?
Nothing but
I don't
complaints.
actually have all that many things that like mostly it was like system balance and stuff like that got fixed in versions ago.
Like not now. Like you don't have. a
Yeah,
bunch
no,
of
because I've been
complaints.
playing. I've played this.
I've
for
probably
2
run this
years
game
now.
80 times at this point.
Yeah.
Seriously, 80
And I've
times.
played in like
You've played in probably a dozen
60
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah, well, not that many, but he refuses to play at Origins with me. But yeah, so cool. All right, Max, you're cool.
Yeah.
Good. You
I
had
always
fun?
enjoy the game.
We didn't do a ton in the ship, but we did a little bit in the ship.
Yeah, that's kind of like when you start with the ace, especially in the tech side, you're very heavy on the ship. But
Yeah.
one of the things that's important to remember is you've got the ability to not only take moves from other sheets,
Yeah.
but to also take moves on here, like becoming a stunt pilot or improving the relationship with your
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
I was gonna go raiding on another sheet, but I just didn't want to
Right.
in mid-session.
Yeah, well, like you could take stuff from the Jack and be more of a Han Solo type. Like
Yeah.
you could take Pistolier and have 2 pistols.
Right.
And you could sneak and all kinds of cool
Yeah.
shit. That's the nice thing
And
about
like
having that.
once you've
an
gotten
option.
3 or 4 levels up, you really start to develop some personality with the character.
Yeah.
And
the initial roll is usually good. It's highly situational for many of the things that you can pick. But if you try to round things out, it usually works really well. Like,
Or you could even become a psi. All of a sudden, you have psionics. You could totally do that too.
Yeah.
Well, you need to take a bunch of moves for that to work.
Well, when you take something like the psionics, you get all of their you get all those moves because you need them all to be a psionic. So you get the you get all those. Most moves you just get the move, but if it requires other moves, there's some special cases like that where you get all of those moves. Yeah, it'll be in the book displaying how that works.
How did the cats thing break down? The other one that you did with the so this is that scenario you gave us.
Well, it's not. It's the same setting.
Yeah.
So you're in the same star system there. We're in the same situation with the Spider Empress.
That's what I'm getting at.
What did we do? We went to a planet to repair our...
Yeah, they had to land on that water planet, I think.
Yeah.
Why?
And...
Because their ship was damaged.
Ship got damaged in a fight with us. So they also fought the Spider people.
But they got damaged.
But their ship got damaged and they had to land.
We were looking...
Before you even got into the space station?
Yeah, but we were...
No, they weren't anything to do with the space station. That was Max made that up. That had nothing to do with...
Oh.
He made that up.
I made that.
Whoever made it up.
We were trying to find a crime lord, I think?
Well, the Spider Empress is the crime lord.
No, I mean, but we were there
searching for... You ran into Princess Axilla, and she told you that she was trying to get rid of the crime lord, and you were going to work with her. You were going to help her to get rid of the Spider Empress. But that was later.
Yeah, that was later.
I think you went into like the tavern and got into a fight there or something.
Yeah, but we went there originally to find...
We were trying to do something. I can't remember. It was in October. I don't remember that.
Yeah, we were trying.
It's all cut off on the video.
We were trying to find like a
That's all cut off in the video.
Yeah, the video only goes up to we did like part of the space battle and then it got cut off. So
really,
yeah. But all the character creation stuff's on there.
We were trying to find some sort of outlaw or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. But it was a totally different, even though it was the same setting. The what they were doing was totally different.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's good.
Did someone ask something? Or?
Nah, they were just
Fell asleep.
saying. What did he say?
Hi.
So more spiders, bigger, a Gatling gun.
Okay,
This is
yeah,
just out
that
of
was.
hand.
You guys want to go grab some dinner?
I need to go home probably.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I'm good with dinner.
I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
I'm good with dinner too.
Sure.
I have a wife that makes demands of me, so I'll have to go home.
My maid demands me to eat out.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that's a good
Yes.
demand. I don't mind those kinds.
So yeah, that was a good session.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you for
I had a
running,
lot
Rory.
of fun. Thank you for your patience. I know I don't think I went too off script or anything like that. Would you say like as far as
You got to push and do things.
So do you feel like, here's a good question for you, since you're kind of a novice RPG. Do you feel like if you played this again, you wouldn't have to get all this stuff explained to you? Like you could just jump right in?
Yeah, I feel that at this point you could literally just give me a sheet, 10 minutes, and I'm good to go.
Okay, cool. That's the whole point of it.
And
That's
I'd say
what I
even
want,
playing, even like obviously I'd have some more questions and stuff like that about certain things.
Yeah.
So probably, I'd say if anyone's played like D&D once or twice before,
Yeah.
this could be at most like a half an hour of hashing stuff out, making sure everything is correct.
If you had a brand new character who was like a weird character like the Psy or something, you'd need a little bit more time just to kind of figure out how the mechanics work. But in terms of like the die rolling and kind of the consequences of what you do, that stuff's all universal in the game.
Yeah, so I'm actually I am interested to see. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be interested to see what can, like, okay, we left, we're back at Earth. Now I'm kind of interested to see what's on those crystals, for example.
Oh yeah, totally.
Asking
Yeah.
him, what are we gonna do with what are we gonna do?
Well, the best thing
next?
to do with a game is to leave some stuff unanswered, so that if you do play again, you've got more stuff to do next time. You don't want to solve everything because then
Yeah. So I can see how D&D can go on for like months and months on end, and even something as simple as like, okay, I was definitely very what's the word for it, ballsy, by going back and trying to get even more crystals. And I did, and it kind of worked out. And
Well, here's an important difference. So I'm running a D&D game with these three guys and some other people.
Yeah.
And the amount of time I spent on this in terms of the setting is equal to about a level of the stuff that you guys are on. I've written about 7 dungeon levels total that they're on because they've gone to 2 different dungeons. So a lot more time spent on D&D. A lot more time.
Oh yeah.
It's just, this is nice because I can reuse this material over and over because you guys got in like 10% of it. So
yeah,
and that's the nice thing that can happen.
So would you include this? So would you include this universe in part of the package?
Yeah. So the core rules are going to have, well, not this specific stuff I wrote, but the core rules will have Star Patrol, which is the setting that this is in.
Yeah.
But this specific stuff I wrote, no, because it wouldn't be stuff this specific. It would just be like, It's set in the real universe. Here's some places you can go. Here's some organizations. Here's some species.
I think,
But it wouldn't be that specific.
I'd argue that probably putting that like in the appendix or something like that for your book would be useful.
Well, there's going to be a separate book that's going to be the setting, like more setting stuff. So if you
The
want to
full
use Star
fleshed
Patrol,
out.
it'll be a full, like here's each star system. Here's the cool stuff in each star system. Like that'll be a separate book.
So that would be in a separate book.
Yes.
Oh,
It's gonna be one of the stretch goals.
No.
Oh, that's
It's gonna
not
be a
gonna be
supplement.
the
It'll be later. No, I'm gonna have a psi supplement with sonic powers, more sonic powers. One for like more equipment and the setting. Those will be down the road. So
so the size seems to be very.
well, there's so many powers they can have. I can only fit so many on their friggin' playbook. There's so many that they can
Maybe
have.
you probably have to like hammer it down then, or like.
I mean, I've already cut out a lot of stuff I wanted to use, so I'm just gonna make another book for them.
Could it be possible that what could happen is that you have two types of psi?
Well, what
So
I'm thinking about doing in the psi book is having new packages. So you know how you have 3 on the main playbook, you'll have more of those.
Okay.
More starting packages. So instead of the telepath, the sonic warrior, and the telekinetic, you might have like a pyrokinetic package or like some other weird packages. Yeah,
Well,
you could use in place of those if you wanted to, and a lot more advances and organizational shit. Like maybe there's psi organizations and psi creatures and all that stuff will be 30-page book or something like that.
So you're
not huge.
Are you worried about
PDF.
I guess my question is: are you worried about paying too much attention to size?
No. Because if you don't want it, then you don't
I
buy
think
it.
it's pretty popular.
The size stuff.
Yeah, and if you don't want it, just don't
A
buy
lot
it.
of people like
I mean, that's
Yeah,
true.
everybody's played a psi except in this section.
I mean, I
all
feel
the ones
like-
I've been to.
I've hit the iconic stuff for a science fiction sort of a psi in this.
Yeah.
But there's a ton more stuff that
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
of
do in
course.
fiction than what I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of precognition. I don't have anything with that. I don't have any like long distance
yeah.
cool like communication or the kind of Jedi stuff. I don't have a lot of that stuff. So that's why I feel like it'd be good for a supplement. And I'm gonna have a supplement with equipment, like more vehicles, more guns, more whatever, more robot options, all that stuff. Because I just can't shoehorn all that stuff into the core rules.
No, you can't.
But if like someone really loves the robot and wants more options, cool.
Yeah. So.
Here's some robot stuff. Maybe even some more starting packages for robot. I don't know.
So you think sometime in January is the Kickstarter is going to
Definitely. I think I'm going to go Jan 8. I want to do the second week. I don't want to do the first week because it starts on July 1st or January 1st, which is I don't want to start it then. So I'll probably do it the next Monday.
You
Okay.
have 30 days after it.
Yeah, 30 days, right? Yeah. So I'll
And
have an
so
announcement and everything.
I guess is there any reason they don't want it to be live for like Christmas time that people can like buy each other?
People don't.
I want people to be done with
Yeah.
buying
Yeah,
gifts
yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
People
stats-
are
the
not spending
stats
their
for
disposable
Kickstarter-
income on Kickstarter.
Or Bizzle.
December is a bad day.
Well, people are just distracted from social stuff in general, social media
Right.
stuff.
You want people.
It'd be different if you were delivering like 2 weeks before Christmas so that
Oh,
people could
right.
Well,
buy
I'm
as
also
a
asking
gift
them to
for
spend money
Christmas.
too.
Yeah,
I'm
you
asking
want
them to
people
spend
to
money,
be at work
So, yeah.
Yeah.
and on the internet and
And not
dicking
spending
off
money
on a
on the
Monday and
Right.
and go looking at a new Kickstarter.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
make your. That's when you make most of your pledges.
Yep. So,
Cool.
Probably no more questions, right?
yep. Well,
What?
Zap said there's always room
Upstairs.
to grow later on. It sounds
it's a room
great.
toilet.
So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Zaps and I think Kieran's already gone, but
All right.
and
Yeah, we're
anyone
gonna
else
put this
that
up on
tunes
YouTube.
in, we'll pop this up on YouTube. So Chloe pops in at the last second there.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks guys. We'll be streaming on Wednesday as per normal for Magic, and we'll probably pick this up again sometime if people enjoyed it. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Killer.
See ya.
Yeah. Just go to the OBS and press stop streaming.
Nope.